Old man, come out. Let me see if he'll beat you or not. System, are you there? I want to check in, I want to clock in. Magic stone, turn into an empress for me to play with. The 16-year-old boy in white was delirious, always saying things that ordinary people couldn't understand. It wasn't because he was crazy, but because his unmatched appearance contained the memories of 2 lifetimes. Xiao Sanjin was originally a high-quality novel researcher from 22nd century Earth, but while studying a fight scene between the male and female leads. Between the blink of an eye, he appeared on an ancient street and turned into a 6-year-old child. New to the Nine Heavens continent, unfamiliar with the place, Xiao Sanjin wanted to ask a roadside dog about the time and place. But because he took one more look at the dog chased him for 3 streets. The 6-year-old Xiao Sanjin with thin arms and legs was naturally no match for the dog. Soon he was knocked to the ground and his pants were torn. When the dog was about to bite off Xiao Sanjin's vital part, an old man selling straw sandals happened to pass by, saved him and preserved his life. To thank the old man, Xiao Sanjin decided to stay with him for food and drink. The old man not only didn't mind, but also wanted to take him as a disciple. How could Xiao Sanjin, a transmigrator, bow to an ordinary old man? But when he heard the old man say he was the 9,525th sect leader of the Jiuxiao sect, Xiao Sanjin immediately knelt. A sect with such a long heritage, wouldn't he soar after joining? But after returning to the Jiuxiao sect, Xiao Sanjin only saw a row of shabby thatched huts. He immediately understood he had been fooled by the old man. But what else could he do? Where else could he go? From then on, a strange child appeared on Jiuxiao Mountain. Sometimes he would shout at a cave for an old grandpa ring to come out. Sometimes he would catch a fish and ask if it was a system. Sometimes, when tripped by a stone, he would hold the stone and cry for half a day, saying he had finally found the magic stone. Although Xiao Sanjin's behavior was unusual, the old man still managed to acquire a lot of money through his excellent swindling skills, feeding Xiao Sanjin well. But unfortunately, when Xiao Sanjin was 10, the old man caught a cold and died. From then on, the responsibility of earning money for the sect and taking care of Xiao Sanjin fell on his 12-year-old senior sister, Huxiener. Huxiener was quite capable, having reached the 3rd layer of chi refining at 12. She was even 1 level higher than the old man. With her excellent talent, Huxiener cultivated the back mountain while reaping plenty of grain each year. She also occasionally worked odd jobs in the city, barely sustaining the 2 of them. Years passed quickly. Xiao Sanjin had been on the Nine Heavens continent for 10 years, his body growing from a child to a handsome young man. But the golden finger of transmigration had not yet arrived. Awake, he couldn't hold power. Drunk, he couldn't lie on a bowtie slap. What was the point of living? If not for worrying that Huxiener would be alone after his death, Xiao Sanjin would immediately use the nearby thatch to end his life. Junior brother, has your empress transformed yet? If not, eat first. In front of the dining table stood a woman in white with delicate features, graceful posture, elegant figure, and a gentle smile on her face. Sister, why is today's meal so lavish? Usually they ate 3 dishes and 1 soup, but today there were 6 dishes and 2 soups. Double happiness. Junior brother, Huxiener seemed hesitant to speak. Sister, just say it. Where is the openness we had when we bathed together in the same? Junior brother, don't talk nonsense, or he'll hit you. Huxiener raised her pink fist, pretending to punch him. But bathing together was not a lie. Before they were 10, the old man made them bathe together to save resources. After all, they were just children, no inhibitions. After Huxiener turned 10, she no longer bathed with him, disappointing Xiao Sanjin, who had hoped to slowly witness his sister grow up. Sister, today is my 16th birthday. If you hit me, that wouldn't be good. Yes, junior brother is 16, coming of age today. Sister didn't prepare a gift, so Huxiener took out a golden token engraved with the bright characters Jiuxiao. Sect leader token of Jiuxiao sect. When the old man died, he passed the leader position to Huxiener. Since then, she called herself the 9,526th sect leader of Jiuxiao sect. Today, Huxiener took out the leader token. What did it mean? Was she abdicating? Junior brother, I promised the old man to take care of you until adulthood. Today you come of age, my promise is fulfilled. Sister, are you leaving the Jiuxiao sect? Yes, people have sorrows and joys, partings and reunions. The moon waxes and wanes. The world is so big, sister wants to go out and see it. Just really want to go out and see. Not because of other reasons. Xiao Sanjin knew Huxiener's personality better than she did. If not forced by circumstances, she would never leave Jiuxiao sect, nor would she rest assured leaving her foolish junior brother. Junior brother, don't ask why. Okay. Xiao Sanjin agreed readily. He only hated that after 10 years of cultivation, he was still a waste at the 2nd layer of chi refining, unable to protect Huxiener. A tear rolled down Huxiener's eye. She raised the token high and said, I, Huxiener, as the 9,526th sect leader of Jiuxiao sect, passed the position to Xiao Sanjin. Xiao Sanjin took the golden leader token solemnly, his heart aching. The sister who had accompanied him for 10 years was leaving. From now on, he would be alone again, as when he first arrived on the Nine Heavens continent. Xiao Sanjin, from this moment on, I leave the Jiuxiao sect. If you dare let the sect's heritage die out, I will never forgive you even as a ghost. Xiao, no matter what happens to you, remember to live well. Believe me, soon your foolish junior brother will come on a colorful cloud to take you back to the sect. Okay, don't make sister wait too long. As Xiao turned, tears poured down. She really didn't want to leave. Ding detected that the host has met the activation conditions for the No. 9527 polymorphic system. Activating. Activated successfully. The girlish voice in his mind instantly excited Xiao Sanjin's dormant heart. But the system came late, and he was very dissatisfied. System, what exactly is the activation condition? System activation condition. What activation condition? I just wanted to build up the atmosphere. Since there was no activation condition, why did you delay for 10 years? I just arrived late, so what? What can you do? Xiao Sanjin was stumped. Yeah, what could he do? Damn system, you're being tough. I want to complain about you. System, go ahead, complain. To be honest, in the 10 years I was late, I demolished tens of thousands of systems. I don't mind demolishing one more human. Xiao Sanjin's mind was filled with exasperation. The system had actually threatened him, but he was truly threatened. Alright, damn system, you win. First tell me what functions you have. System, I have all functions, unlike those garbage systems with only one or two. But considering your current situation, I'll first unlock the sect leader function for you. Searching for nearby genius disciples. Found a 10-star aptitude disciple at the sect gate, and the disciple has a special physique, Heavenly Fox Empress. Detected that the genius disciple is in a life-threatening situation. Please go to the rescue immediately. A disciple at the sect gate in danger. Damn, that person is likely Xiao. Xiao Sanjin ran like the wind, heading straight for the sect gate. Why are you running? You are just a measly chi refining layer 2 weakling. Do you think you can take them on? Before Xiao Sanjin could even reach the door, the system doused him with a bucket of cold water. Indeed, why was he running? Was he going to offer himself up as a lamb to the slaughter? Yet the person at the sect's gate was likely Xiao, the one who had treated him best in the 9 Heavens continent. But what could he do even if he went? No, he had to stay calm. With his pathetic level of cultivation, going would only burden Xiao, not help her. As expected of someone who had lived 2 lives, Xiao Sanjin quickly forced himself to calm down. Damned system, where's the newbie gift pack? Hand it over. Xiao Sanjin had studied countless novels. Which system didn't come with a newbie gift pack? System newbie gift pack. What newbie gift pack? There isn't one. Damn system, are you trying to cheat me? Do you want to see your host dead? System, why are you so fierce? Isn't it just a newbie gift pack? Do you think your dear system would be stingy over such trifles? Ding. As the host has successfully survived for 10 years in the 9 Heavens continent. Reward Heavens Jealousy Chaos Body 1 HE Refining Realm Layer 20. Successfully integrated for the host. System, is that it? I don't feel any different. What kind of feeling does the host want? The pain of a blooming chrysanthemum? Or the sting of a shattered egg? If the host desires it, I can grant it right away. No. I was just trying to lighten the mood. Xiao Sanjin was truly afraid this unreliable system would actually do something, making him the first eunuch in the history of transmigration. System, isn't the cultivation level in the 9 Heavens continent chi refining layer 1 layer 2? Reaching layer 10 before breaking through to foundation establishment. Why did you reward me with chi refining layer 20? Because the host is not a native of the 9 Heavens continent. To this world you are an invader of virus. If your cultivation level is too high, the heavenly Tao of this realm will detect you. For a virus like you once discovered by the heavenly Tao, you will be immediately erased. The host doesn't want to die, do you? Cold sweat broke out on Xiao Sanjin's forehead. Damn, it was a good thing he was a useless waste cultivating for 10 years only to reach chi refining layer 2. Otherwise, if the heavenly Tao had discovered him, he would have been done for. System, if I can't break through according to the 9 Heavens continents level system, how will I know what stage my cultivation has reached? Every 10 layers of the host corresponds to one major realm of the 9 Heavens continent. After the system's explanation, Xiao Sanjin understood that his cultivation of chi refining layer 22 was equivalent to a golden core early stage cultivator in the 9 Heavens continent. Wasn't this about to take off? In the 9 Heavens city at the foot of the 9 Heavens mountain, the strongest cultivator was only at the golden core stage. System, I advise the host not to get cocky. The vegetable selling auntie you bump into might be a hidden nascent soul old monster, and the manure carrying grandpa could be a divine transformation ancestor. Xiao Sanjin instantly felt that his chi refining layer 22 cultivation wasn't so impressive anymore. It turned out he was just a slightly bigger system. Why is the host still standing there dumbfounded? Go to the gate and save her. Xiao Sanjin snapped out of it and immediately sprinted out again. At the usually deserted gate, 3 burly men wielding large blades stood. One was at the foundation establishment early stage, and the other 2 were at chi refining layer 10. Facing the attacks of the 3, Xiao, who was only at chi refining layer 9, was struggling and looking quite disheveled. These 3 dared to bully his senior sister. How could Xiao Sanjin tolerate that? He pulled a dead branch from a nearby bush and strode menacingly towards the with a crack. Xiao Sanjin's hand gripped the branch so hard that it snapped. The sudden noise stopped the three men who were about to attack Huxianer, and they all turned their unfriendly gazes towards Xiao Sanjin. Gentlemen, what if I told you I'm just here to sell firewood? Xiao Sanjin opened his palm, revealing the dead branch he had crushed into splinters. Selling firewood. You do look a bit like a woodcutter. But does that stop me from wanting to cut you down? The speaker was Wang Ergu, a cultivator at the Foundation establishment early stage and a notorious local bully. Wang Ergu, your target is me. As long as you don't harm my junior brother. No, I've already left the Nine Heavens sect. As long as you don't harm Xiao Sanjin, I'll go with you. Seeing that Wang Ergu was about to attack Xiao Sanjin, Huxianer immediately begged for mercy. Huxianer, young master Wang Xiaoji has ordered that Xiao Sanjin must die. Wang Ergu raised his large blade and swung it down at Xiao Sanjin. Habitually, Xiao Sanjin shouted, "Senior sister, save me." Knowing she couldn't stop Wang Ergu, Huxianer threw herself over Xiao Sanjin. Junior brother, don't be afraid. On the road to the Yellow Springs, you won't be alone. Your senior sister will be with you. What was happening? Xiao Sanjin was stunned. Were he and Huxianer both about to die? How unwilling he was. He hadn't even fulfilled his grand ambitions yet. But something felt off. Alright. He was now at Qi Refining Layer 22. He was a powerhouse who could contend with golden core stage cultivators. How could he be killed by a mere Foundation establishment early stage nobody? It seemed he had been a waste for so long that suddenly having power felt unfamiliar. Xiao Sanjin raised his hand and effortlessly caught the blade Wang Ergu was swinging down. Want to kill me? Want to kill my senior sister? Dream on. Xiao Sanjin snatched the blade from Wang Ergu and slit his throat. Even as he fell to the ground, Wang Ergu's eyes were wide with disbelief that he had been killed by Xiao Sanjin, the known waste. With the Foundation establishment stage Wang Ergu dead, his two underlings didn't dare stay and immediately turned to flee. Xiao Sanjin understood the principle of eliminate the root, or it will grow again in spring. He naturally wouldn't let Wang Ergu's two lackeys escape. A flash of cold light, and two bloody, severed heads rolled to the ground. System, please help scatter their remains. Sure thing. Leaves flew, a gale arose, and Wang Ergu and his men returned to dust. No trace of them could be found in the world. Huxianer waited for a long time, but Wang Ergu's killing blow never fell. Could it be that Wang Ergu had a sudden change of heart? Was he going to spare the two of them? When Huxianer turned to look, there was no sign of Wang Ergu. Junior brother, where are Wang Ergu and the others? Just as Xiao Sanjin was about to answer truthfully, he heard the system's lowly-like voice. Detected a 10-star talent disciple Huxianer. Please have the host take her as a disciple as soon as possible to expand the sect and increase strength in order to unlock subsequent system functions. System, are you serious? She's my senior sister. System, Huxianer has already voluntarily left the Nine Heavens sect, so she is no longer your senior sister, but she used to be. System, shouldn't a person live in the present and look to the future rather than wallowing in the mire of the past? Take Huxianer as your disciple or remain at Qi Refining Layer 22 for the rest of your life. The choice is yours, host. As a friendly reminder, host, Huxianer's talent is extraordinary. If she doesn't die young, she will surely become an emperor with boundless lifespan. But the host at Qi Refining Layer 22 will kick the bucket in just 300 or 500 years. After the host dies, who knows who the celestial fox spirit body will become the Tao companion of. System, I choose to take Huxianer as my disciple. Thinking of all the possibilities that could befall Huxianer after his death, Xiao Sanjin couldn't bear it. Senior sister, can I ask you a favor? Huxianer blinked, her beautiful eyes wondering which screw had come loose in her junior brother's head this time, but she still said, "What is it? Senior sister, could you be my disciple?" Fox Spirit could not believe her ears. She had always regarded Xiao Sanjin as her junior brother, yet he wanted to become her master. Had he grown capable, or had Wang Ergu's fright only made him more foolish? Alas, her poor junior brother. It was all her fault as an incompetent senior sister for failing to protect him. Senior sister, please don't stay silent. As long as you become my disciple, you will surely become a great emperor in the future. Great emperor. Fox Spirit truly wanted to slap Xiao Sanjin senseless. How could he casually utter such a forbidden term? Truly, ignorance was bliss. Yet at times, she envied Xiao Sanjin. To be a fool, unburdened, and without longing meant there would be no source of suffering. Perhaps only someone with Xiao Sanjin's temperament would not stop her from leaving. Indeed, fate had its own design. Junior brother, your great emperor senior sister is leaving. In the days ahead, without your senior sister, remember not to argue with ants anymore. Stop jumping off cliffs for no reason and cease ramming your head into the big tree at the gate. Junior brother, take good care of yourself for the rest of your life. Scenes from the past flashed endlessly through Fox Spirit's mind. Tears fell one by one down her cheeks. Senior sister, can't you stay? For the rest of my life, I still need your care. Let me also spend the rest of my days taking care of you, okay? As Fox Spirit turned, a strong and powerful hand pulled her into an embrace. The embrace was so warm and familiar as she wished she could be held like this forever. But hateful Wang Xiaojia of the Wang family coveted her beauty and wanted to take her as a concubine. Falling into Wang Xiaojia's hands would be a fate worse than death, so she had to leave and refused to drag Xiao Sanjin down. Wretch, release Fox Spirit. She is my woman. A cold voice laced with murderous intent echoed from the stone steps of Jiuxiao Mountain. A sallow-faced man sprinted up accompanied by a burly giant. The sallow-faced man was Wang Xiaojia, a direct descendant of the Wang family in Jiuxiao City at the Foundation Establishment Midstitch. The burly giant was Wang Dagu, Wang Xiaojia's chief lackey. The two had been waiting at the foot of the mountain for Wang Ergu to bring Fox Spirit back, but when he failed to return they came up to search, never expecting to witness Xiao Sanjin holding Fox Spirit. Junior brother, run. Get out of here now. Recognizing the pair, Fox Spirit broke free from Xiao Sanjin's arms and urged him to flee. Fox Spirit, don't be foolish. How could a waste at the second layer of chi refining escape from me? Wang Dagu, first chop off Xiao Sanjin's hands. I want him to know that my woman is not for anyone to touch. Fox Spirit spread her arms, shielding Xiao Sanjin. Young Master Wang, please spare my junior brother. He is just a fool. Besides, I have already withdrawn from Jiuxiao sect. My matters have nothing to do with him. I beg you not to trouble him. The murderous gleam in Wang Xiaojia's eyes deepened. The woman he desired was pleading for another man. Even if that man was Xiao Sanjin, a waste of fool, he would not permit it. Wang Dagu, what are you waiting for? Cut him down. Wang Dagu's face turned ugly. Was Wang Xiaojia an idiot? Couldn't he see that Fox Spirit was still blocking Xiao Sanjin? If he injured her, the young master would accuse him of touching his woman and then kill him. Was this what they called a useless teammate? Young Master Wang, can you pull Miss Fox Spirit away first? I'm afraid of hurting her. Useless. What good are you? Though Wang Xiaojia cursed Wang Dagu, he still stepped forward. After all, his woman should not be touched by a lackey like Wang Dagu. Just as Wang Xiaojia's hand was about to grab Fox Spirit, a powerful hand seized his wrist. A crisp crack of bone breaking echoed. On my hand. You brat, you actually broke my hand. Wang Xiaojia howled. He had never imagined Xiao Sanjin possessed such strength, nor that he would suddenly strike. Didn't you say you wanted to cut off my hands? Doesn't it feel great to have your own hand broken? Xiao Sanjin's face was expressionless, as if he had done something utterly wretched. I'll kill you. I'll sever your tendons, and then rape your senior sister in front of you 10,000 times. 10,000 times. Child, you are possessed. Let me send you to hell. Before Wang Xiaojia could react, Xiao Sanjin appeared beside him like a phantom and kicked his neck, snapping it. Wang Dagu trembled in fear. Xiao Sanjin was too terrifying. But as the words fell, blood and a head dropped. System, help scatter the ashes. On the road. Run fast, don't keep him. Wang Dagu trembled in fear. Xiao Sanjin was too terrifying. But as the words fell, blood and a head dropped. System, help scatter the ashes. On the damn host, what do you take me for? A crematorium. You always ask me to scatter ashes. Though reluctant, the system still complied. J. Junior brother, where are Wang Xiaojia and the others? Fox Spirit's speech became stammering. The way Xiao Sanjin had just acted was utterly terrifying. Scattered. Fearing Fox Spirit might not understand, Xiao Sanjin added, I disposed of their bodies and erased all traces. Junior brother, were Wang Ergu and the others also scattered by you? Xiao Sanjin nodded. Junior brother, how can you kill without blinking? Have you been possessed by a demon? Yes, I've been possessed. So senior sister, if you don't agree to be my disciple, you'll what? Scatter me too. Fox Spirit reached out her delicate hand and directly grabbed Xiao Sanjin's ear. You've grown bold, daring to threaten your senior sister. Ow, ow. Senior sister, go easy. Fox Spirit dared to act so audaciously because she recalled how Xiao Sanjin had just defended her. He was still Xiao Sanjin, her junior brother. They'll go easy if you confess honestly. When did you become so powerful, Fox Spirit refused to believe his strength had come overnight. It meant he had been hiding his abilities all these years. Xiao Sanjin couldn't possibly tell Fox Spirit about the system, so he fabricated a reason. After hearing it, Fox Spirit tightened her grip. You little rascal. After Master passed away, you got your opportunity, yet you pretended to be a waste, and let a 12-year-old girl like me raise you. How could you have the— Though Fox Spirit scolded him, her face was full of smiles. So her junior brother wasn't a waste after all. Not only could he cultivate, but he was even stronger than senior sister. To make up for my shortcomings toward you, I want to take you as my disciple. Senior sister, it hurts. Go easy. Xiao Sanjin, just because you're stronger than your senior sister doesn't mean you can take me as your disciple. Dream on. I'm still your senior sister. Now hand over the cultivation technique. Senior sister, the white-bearded old man, said the technique cannot be passed on to outsiders, only to one's own disciples. I've sworn a heavenly Tao oath. You don't want your junior brother to die on the spot, do you? Senior sister, as long as you become my disciple, I can legitimately pass on everything the white-bearded old man taught me. Fox Spirit was tempted by the technique Xiao Sanjin spoke of, but the thought of calling her own junior brother master felt strange. Junior brother, can you give me some time to think it over? After all, I'm your senior sister. If I become your disciple, I'll have to call you master. Strike while the iron was hot. Xiao Sanjin decided to seize the moment while Fox Spirit's mind was in turmoil. If he missed this chance, and she regained her composure, taking her as a disciple would be much harder. Sienna, it's true you were once my senior sister, but you voluntarily withdrew from the sect. That means you're no longer a member of Jiuxiao sect, and no longer my senior. If you're not part of Jiuxiao sect, you can't stay on Jiuxiao Mountain. You don't want to be left with no one to rely on, do you? You don't want your junior brother to stay here all alone, do you? Looking at Xiao Sanjin's familiar face, Fox Spirit's heart softened. Fine, I agree to become your disciple, but you have to teach me everything you know. Deal. Xiao Sanjin was overjoyed. He hugged Fox Spirit and spun her around. Stop spinning. You're making me dizzy. Then call me master. Unable to resist, Fox Spirit obediently called him master. Ding. Detected that the host has successfully taken Fox Spirit as a disciple. Rewarding 10-star disciple recruitment gift pack. Cultivation, level 10 layers. Divine Technique, 9 transformations of the Celestial Fox, X1. Divine Protective Mountain Array, 9 bins, Yellow River Array, X1. Cultivation has been automatically integrated. Host's current cultivation, Chi Refining Layer 32. The sect array has been automatically deployed. From now on, except for the host's disciples, no one can set foot on Jiuxiao Mountain without the host's permission. Note, only the host can see and control the array. Host is requested to promptly pass the 9 transformations of the Celestial Fox to Disciple Fox Spirit to enhance her cultivation. Gazing at the great array enveloping Jiuxiao Mountain, Xiao Sanjin finally felt a sense of security. He no longer had to worry about falling asleep and never waking up the next day. With his cultivation now at Chi Refining Layer 32, capable of battling a nascent soul cultivator, shouldn't he go show off in Jiuxiao City? Sienna, I've been in Jiuxiao sect for 10 years, but never visited Jiuxiao City. Accompany me for a stroll. The reason Xiao Sanjin had not descended from Nine Heavens Mountain for a decade was that upon his first arrival in the Nine Heavens Continent, he had nearly lost a certain precious part of his anatomy to a fierce hound named Da Huang, an incident that had left him deeply traumatized. This experience convinced him that the Nine Heavens Continent was far too perilous, and he resolved to lay low until he had the strength to protect himself. Now, however, he possessed the power to contend with nascent soul cultivators. Surely it was not too much to venture to Nine Heavens City to show off a little, and along the way teach Da Huang a lesson. Perhaps he might even take on a disciple, thereby elevating his own cultivation to new heights. No, I must cultivate. Junior brother, impart your technique to me at once. Seeing that Xiao Sanjin could slay a mid-stage foundation establishment cultivator with a mere gesture, Sienna felt a surge of urgency. She was only at the 9th layer of Chi Refining. If she did not strive harder, she would fall too far behind Xiao Sanjin, and how then could she walk alongside him? What? Not going. Xiao Sanjin stood dumbfounded. He had finally gained enough strength to show off in Nine Heavens City, yet Sienna was denying him the chance. But that was not the main issue. Had Sienna just called him junior brother? This insolent disciple. Did she no longer desire the divine grade technique? Sienna, did you just address your master as junior brother? Sienna looked slightly embarrassed. The shift in their identities had been too swift for her to fully adapt. Master, please pass the technique to Sienna. Sienna was filled with anticipation. She had been cultivating for 10 years without ever having access to a proper technique. Xiao Sanjin pressed a finger to her brow, transmitting the 9 transformations of the Celestial Fox to her. Master, what is a divine grade technique? Sienna was bewildered. She had only ever heard of techniques classified into the 4 grades of Heaven, Earth, Xian, and Huang. She had never encountered a divine grade. A divine grade technique. Your master does not wish to elaborate. Just know that it ranks above the imperial grade, and that is enough. It was not that Xiao Sanjin did not want to explain. He himself had no idea what grade a divine technique actually was. Sienna rolled her eyes at Xiao Sanjin in exasperation. Was he having one of his episodes again, spouting such nonsense? Despite her doubts, she threw herself into the thatched hut and began her cultivation. Once immersed in the technique, time seemed to lose all meaning. Knowing that Sienna would not emerge from the hut for some time, Xiao Sanjin decided to descend the mountain alone. Surely a grown man like him could not get lost. As it turned out, Xiao Sanjin had overestimated himself. After wandering at the foot of the mountain for half a day, he still could not find the way to Nine Heavens City. Ding! Detected nearby a genius disciple with a 10-star aptitude by Yu reincarnation of the Nine Nether Demon Emperor, possessing the special physique of the demonic nether body. It is recommended that the host take her as a disciple. What? A demon emperor? And right nearby, Xiao Sanjin turned and fled without a second thought. The cultivation of a demon emperor was unfathomably deep, and their temperament was notoriously ruthless. What if this demon emperor near him was a murderous maniac who killed anyone on sight? He would surely end up dead. Taking on a disciple. Forget it. Saving his own skin was the priority. Only after he had dashed into the 9-bend Yellow River formation did Xiao Sanjin finally breathe a sigh of relief. Damn it, his life was safe for now. The Demon Emperor might be powerful, but surely she could not break the protective grand formation of the Nine Heavens sect. You there, stop right now? Otherwise this Emperor. Otherwise this young lady will chop you to pieces. Xiao Sanjin dared not look back, quickening his pace. Wait, why was he running? Inside the protective formation, even if she was a Demon Emperor, what could she possibly do to him? Xiao Sanjin halted decisively and turned around with a flourish, only to find a young girl in a black dress, her features pure and sweet, staring at him with wide sparkling eyes. This was the Demon Emperor. A little beauty. Was this some kind of joke? Scoundrel, what are you staring at? Keep it up, and I'll gouge your eyes out. Bai Yu detested men staring at her, considering it a form of defilement. Little girl, who are you calling a scoundrel? Even if you were a demon. Even if you are pretty, you can't be this arrogant, can you? Xiao Sanjin had almost said, even if you are a Demon Emperor, but he knew that reincarnated great emperors like her were most sensitive about having their identities discovered, so he quickly changed his words. You dare to stare at me and still think you're in the right. Watch me chop you up. Bai Yu produced a large blade from somewhere and advanced menacingly towards Xiao Sanjin. Truly worthy of a Demon Emperor, ready to kill at the slightest provocation. He wondered if the Nine-Bend Yellow River formation could actually stop Bai Yu. Bai Yu strode right up to the formation, pressing her face directly against it until her delicate nose was nearly flattened. She was startled. With her level of insight, she had not even detected the presence of a formation here. Good heavens, and it had even bumped her nose. Did they think they could push around a Demon Emperor like her? In her past life, she had been one who killed anyone who stood in her way, be they mortal or Buddha. Today, if a formation dared to block her path, she would simply smash it to pieces. After hacking at it for a good while, Bai Yu finally ran out of strength and plopped down. So this was the Demon Emperor. What a letdown. Scared me for nothing, Xiao Sanjin mused. His anxious heart finally settled. But the Demon Emperor's cultivation seemed rather low. Only the 8th layer of chi refining. What Xiao Sanjin did not know was that Bai Yu had only awakened her past lives' memories a few days ago, and had just begun cultivating again, which explained her relative. Little girls still want to chop me up. Looks like you're not up to the task, huh? Xiao Sanjin raised his right hand, extended his middle finger, and pointed it downward, a gesture that practically sealed his fate. You're infuriating me. He'll kill you. He'll chop you to pieces. Bai Yu, who had been completely drained of energy, picked up her blade again and began wildly slashing at the Nine-Bend Yellow River formation. Good form. Keep going, I'm rooting for you. Xiao Sanjin walked over to a spot 2 meters away from Bai Yu, found a rock to sit on, and studied her intently. To be honest, Bai Yu was quite beautiful. Within 2 or 3 years, she would undoubtedly become a stunning beauty capable of toppling kingdoms. But how could such a beauty be the Demon Emperor? Scoundrel, you keep staring at me. I swear I'll dig out your eyeballs and eat them with wine. Why must a girl be so fierce? Let me look at you a little, it's not like you'll lose a piece of flesh. Xiao Sanjin not only stared at Bai Yu, but also propped his chin on his hand, watching her with a shameless expression. This infuriated Bai Yu beyond measure. Yet there was nothing she could do but glare back at him. After half an hour of this standoff, unable to bear it any longer, she sat down on the stone steps and began to cultivate. Hey little girl, don't sit at the entrance of my home and cultivate. This is your home, Bai Yu stared at Xiao Sanjin in astonishment. Such a strange place already had an owner. And the owner was only at the chi refining stage. Incredible. That's right. I am the Lord of the Nine Heavens sect, the desolate, heavenly venerable. If this isn't my home, is it yours? To elevate his own prestige, Xiao Sanjin had deliberately given himself a grand title. The desolate, heavenly venerable. Bai Yu doubled over with laughter, pointing at Xiao Sanjin. A mere chi refining scrub like you dares to call yourself a venerable. You're killing me. What's so funny? You're just ignorant. Is chi refining so bad? Aren't you only at the 8th layer yourself? Bai Yu sprang up as if someone had stepped on. Scoundrel, what's wrong with my chi refining? If you've got the guts, come out here and see if I can chop you to pieces. You want to chop me? Then come on in. You bastard, you win. He'll wait right here. I don't believe you'll never come out. Oh, so you want to play the waiting game, huh? He'll play along. But little girl, I can stay indoors forever. Can you stay here forever? You don't exactly seem like a saint, and if your enemies find you with looks like yours, they'll surely drag you off to bear their children. Bearing children for your enemies, Before Xiao Sanjin could finish, he saw Bai Yu emit a shroud of black energy. Was she about to undergo demonization? Rolling black chi forced Xiao Sanjin to hastily distance himself from Bai Yu. Was this the true Demon Emperor? Was she about to unleash her ultimate move? As expected, Bai Yu's large, captivating eyes glowed red as she brandished her blade and wildly hacked at the Nine-Bend Yellow River formation. Was this the Demon Emperor's ultimate technique? Yet it seemed more like her Tao heart had been corrupted by inner demons. Fortunately, the Nine-Bend Yellow River formation remained unbreakable, not even stirring until Bai Yu collapsed unconscious. What should he do? Should he check on Bai Yu's condition? But what if she suddenly woke up while he was examining her? How would he handle that? Although Bai Yu was only at the 8th layer of Qi refining and couldn't defeat him, she was once a great emperor. Who could guarantee that a great emperor had no hidden trump cards? After much deliberation, Xiao Sanjin decided to do nothing but stand guard over Bai Yu, ensuring her body wasn't carried off by beasts during her unconscious. In the blink of an eye, a day passed. Bai Yu regained consciousness. Little lady who is heartless great emperor. In one day you said 1,888 times that you'd take revenge and kill him. A glint of murder flashed in Bai Yu's eyes. She could never let anyone know her secret. Little lady, I have no grievance with you, so can you stop glaring at me? But if you want revenge, I can help you. Everyone has a weakness. Xiao Sanjin didn't believe he couldn't handle a reincarnated demon emperor harboring deep vengeance. Hiyu, do you even know what level of powerhouse a great emperor is? With your mere Qi refining cultivation, even a single breath from one could wipe out countless like you. So you admit heartless great emperor is your enemy. Having a great emperor as an enemy, you're quite something. Bastard, you tricked me into talking. Though furious, Bai Yu didn't attack the formation again, knowing her current cultivation couldn't break this bizarre array. Trick you? How could that be? With your demonic nether heavenly body talent, having a great emperor as an enemy is perfectly reasonable. To take Bai Yu as his disciple, Xiao Sanjin decided to reveal a secret. Bai Yu's originally disdainful expression instantly turned to panic. Who exactly are you? How do you know my name? Why do you recognize my demonic nether heavenly body, eh? Didn't this master say? I am the primordial heavenly venerate of the 9 heavens sect. As for knowing your name and physique, if I wish to know, I can. What's so difficult about that? Bai Yu was speechless, only feeling that 9 heavens mountain grew stranger. Though she was once a demon emperor that was a past life, with her shallow cultivation, now she must tread carefully. This place was not one to linger. Seeing Bai Yu about to leave, Xiao Sanjin said, Bai Yu, take me as your master, and he'll help you get revenge. The great emperor realm isn't unattainable. It's merely the starting point for powerhouses. A buzz rang in Bai Yu's mind. The great emperor was just the starting point for powerhouses. This man had quite the audacity. Sir, you're only at Qi refining. How can you say such things with a straight face? Unconsciously, Bai Yu's address toward Xiao Sanjin had changed. Bai Yu, you think Qi refining is weak, yet why can't you break a mere formation I casually... This bizarre great formation was actually set up by this Qi refining cultivator. Things were growing stranger. Bai Yu eyed Xiao Sanjin warily and asked, why do you want to take me as your disciple? Because you're beautiful. Oh no, because you're fated with me. Xiao Sanjin wasn't embarrassed to speak the truth, then casually turned it into a lie. But I'm not fated with you. Farewell. Bai Yu had no desire to be stared at daily by a lecherous master, and she was too busy seeking revenge to bother with Xiao. Bai Yu, where can you go if you leave here? Aren't you afraid your enemy will find you and cut you down in the cradle before you grow strong? Bai Yu stopped staring coldly at Xiao Sanjin. If I become your disciple, can I chop you? After I kill you, can I become the sect master of 9 heavens sect? Can I control this mountain guarding formation? The reason Bai Yu came to this remote corner like 9 heavens mountain was to find a quiet place to cultivate, wait a millennium to attain the great emperor realm, and then seek revenge on heartless great emperor. You can, but I must tell you, disciple. If you fail to kill me, you'll have to accept punishment for attacking your master. Xiao Sanjin decided to gamble, believing Bai Yu couldn't surpass his breakthrough speed. Fine. Bai Yu agreed readily. Dealing with a Qi refining cultivator like Xiao Sanjin would be a snap. So what are you waiting for? Pay respects as a disciple. Bai Yu shot Xiao Sanjin a glare. This damn bastard actually dared to make her call him master. Fine, Shed, endure for now. Once inside the formation, Shed, hang him up and beat him, make him call her master 1,000 times, then finally chop him down. Disciple Bai Yu pays respects to master. Ding ding, congratulations to the host for successfully taking Bai Yu as a disciple. Reward 10-star disciple recruitment gift pack. Cultivation increased by 9 layers. Earth grade low tier martial art 1 finger shatters mountains 1. Divine grade technique Netherheart Sutra 1. 6 paths immortal wheel left eye 1 PS can locate children of fortune and see the essence of all things. Successfully fused for the host. Special reward system shop unlocked function to hunt children of fortune activated. PS suppressing or hunting children of fortune grants the host their opportunities and fortune value, which can be used to purchase items in the system shop. But the host cannot use the opportunities of children of fortune for themselves, only for their disciples. Otherwise, death and annihilation. Cultivation automatically fused for the host. Host's current cultivation is 41st layer of Qi refining. 1 finger shatters mountains automatically mastered to perfection. Host is advised to quickly hand over the Netherheart Sutra to disciple Bai Yu to enhance her system. Why can't I use the opportunities of children of fortune? Foolish host, is your head filled with mush? It's been said you're a virus in this world. The heavenly Tao will erase you once detected. What are the opportunities of children of fortune? Gifts prepared by the heavenly Tao for them. If you touch what belongs to the heavenly Tao, won't it discover you? Foolish host, now do you know who your enemy is? Xiao Sanjin probed the children of fortune. Foolish host, I really want to crack open your head and see what's inside. Children of fortune are just the heavenly Tao's enforcers. Your true enemy is the heavenly Tao itself. Got it. His enemy was the heavenly Tao. Wasn't that too terrifying? What was the heavenly Tao? The ruler of a world. System, can I avoid being an enemy of the heavenly Tao since it protects this world? Foolish host, do you know what the heavenly Tao is? Merciless, treating all beings as straw dogs means. Those who follow the heavenly Tao live, those who defy it. The heavenly Tao isn't a guardian of the world, it's a cage for it. Xiao Sanjin fell silent. Being an enemy of the heavenly Tao was a death sentence. But if he didn't oppose the heavenly Tao and offended the system, he'd die even faster. So he decided go for it. A man dies once. If he survives, it's for 10,000 years. What was so great about it? Being an enemy of children of fortune and the heavenly Tao, becoming a villain in the eyes of the world. But since he'd taken a demon emperor as a disciple, he probably wasn't a righteous person anymore. Master, what are you standing there dumbfounded for? Let me into the sect. Bai Yu, seeing Xiao Sanjin silent for so long, spoke up to remind him. At the same time, she wondered if Xiao Sanjin knew she planned to chop him upon entering the sect, and was thus keeping her out. While Bai Yu was lost and thought the barrier in front of her suddenly vanished, causing her to stumble and fall into the Nine Bends Yellow River Formation. You scoundrel, are you trying to murder me? Bai Yu pointed her large blade at Xiao Sanjin. Call me master or else I'll spank your bottom raw. Scoundrel, I only called you master begrudgingly outside the formation. Now that I'm inside, it's time to gouge out your eyes. Bai Yu swung her blade at Xiao Sanjin. Rebellious disciple, you truly need discipline. Xiao Sanjin caught the blade with 2 fingers, then unleashed his spiritual energy to subdue her. Stripped of her strength, Bai Yu was like a chick tucked under Xiao Sanjin's arm. With a sharp slap, she was stunned. She never expected him to spank her. Full of resilience, quite nice. Xiao Sanjin gave another slap. Bai Yu thought it was a nightmare, but it was only the beginning. What's this? Just after joining my sect, you want to kill your master? Is there no law? No justice? Where is your respect for your teacher? Where is your gratitude? With each word, Xiao Sanjin delivered a slap to Bai Yu's rear. Sobs echoed, and he realized he might have gone too far. Though Bai Yu was once a demon emperor in her past life, she was now just a young girl, an innocent maiden. But making her cry couldn't possibly be his fault, could it? Yu, why are you crying? When you took me as your master, I told you that attacking me would come with consequences. Today's matter is entirely your own fault, not mine. Bai Yu was speechless and stopped sobbing. Xiao Sanjin had indeed said those words. Fine, I accept this beating. Just you wait, scoundrel. Once I break through to Foundation establishment, it'll not only gouge out your eyes, but also chop off your pig trotters. Bai Yu pouted and headed straight for Jiuxiao Mountain, without looking back. Protected by the formation, she feared no sudden attacks. Xiao Sanjin felt delighted. Strolling around, he had not only picked up a demon emperor as a disciple, but one whose bottom he could spank. Marvelous. Upon reaching Jiuxiao Mountain, Bai Yu sensed intense spiritual energy fluctuations from a hut. Someone breaking through to the golden core stage. Bai Yu was surprised. This desolate mountain had more than just Xiao Sanjin. But was this person friend or foe? As she pondered, a stunningly beautiful woman in white emerged from the room, exuding a hint of allure. So beautiful. Even Bai Yu herself, a peerless beauty, had to admire her appearance. But why was she at the early Foundation establishment stage, not golden core? Could those intense fluctuations be from breaking through to Foundation establishment, not golden core? If so, her talent must be extraordinary. As Bai Yu studied Fox Immortal, the latter noticed her too. Their eyes met, but neither spoke first. Sienna, this is my new disciple Bai Yu. Yu, this is your senior sister Fox Immortal. Her talent is no less than yours. Xiao Sanjin stepped forward to introduce them. Fox Immortal was indifferent to the new junior sister, but Bai Yu felt differently. Xiao Sanjin claimed Fox Immortal's talent rivaled hers. Who was she? A reincarnated demon emperor with the demon nether physique. If Fox Immortal's talent matched hers, she must at least possess a special physique. But why would such a genius take Xiao Sanjin as her master? With that scoundrel, even the greatest talent would be wasted. After a moment of pity for Fox Immortal, Bai Yu found an empty thatched hut and shut herself in to cultivate. Junior brother, your new disciple seems quite displeased. Fox Immortal took a sip of tea, teasing Xiao Sanjin. Of course she's not happy. I just gave her a spanking, her bottom's swollen. Fox Immortal spat out her tea. Xiao Sanjin had spanked a girl's bottom. Did he know what that meant? If not as a Tao companion, it meant irreconcilable enmity. Junior brother, only you would do this. Fox Immortal gave him a thumbs up. Sienna, call me junior brother again, and he'll spank you too. Fox Immortal's fair face flushed crimson. How could he say something so embarrassing? But she still murmured, Sienna understands. Sienna, you've got a rival now. Bai Yu may seem innocent, but she's a reincarnated demon emperor with memories intact, and the demon nether physique. Breaking through is as easy as drinking water. Fox Immortal suddenly found her tea bitter. She had thought advancing from Chi Refining Layer 8 to Early Foundation Establishment in a day would let her relax, but now with such a gifted junior sister, if she fell behind in cultivation, her status as senior sister would be at stake. Master, go play with the ants. I'm going into seclusion to cultivate. Fox Immortal turned and entered the hut, leaving Xiao Sanjin standing alone in the— Hadn't she just finished cultivating? Why again? Well, with both disciples training, the master couldn't slack off either. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Xiao Sanjin couldn't continue. Absorbing spiritual energy at a snail's pace, what was the point of cultivating? System, your heaven-envied chaos physique is such a letdown. The speed of absorbing spiritual energy is dreadfully slow. Host, the heaven-envied chaos physique isn't for accelerating cultivation. Its main purpose is to shield from heavenly secrets free from the Daos interference and to ensure you never break through to Foundation Establishment. Xiao Sanjin understood. His future was clearly arranged by the system. This feeling of powerlessness was truly frustrating. Some people just can't go 3 days without trying to kill their master. As before, Xiao Sanjin caught the blade with 2 fingers and tucked Bai Yu under his arm for a— Some people just can't go 3 days without trying to kill their master. As before, Xiao Sanjin caught the blade with 2 fingers and tucked Bai Yu under his arm for a— This time Bai Yu didn't cry out but clenched her teeth, letting tears stream silently. After crying for a while, she glared at Xiao Sanjin. I've broken through to Early Foundation Establishment. Why can't I still beat you? Because I'm stronger. Bai Yu gritted her teeth. That wasn't what she asked. Scoundrel, I'll chop off your hands one day. Unable to defeat him, Bai Yu decided to return to her hut and cultivate. If Foundation Establishment couldn't win, then Golden Core. If Golden Core failed, then Nascent Soul. She refused to believe that a mere Chi refining stage cultivator could outmatch a former demon emperor. Stop. Come here. He'll teach you a technique. Despite her rebelliousness, Xiao Sanjin wouldn't be stingy. After all, she had a blood feud to avenge and couldn't afford to cultivate slowly. What grade is the technique? I usually cultivate Emperor grade once. If it's below Heaven grade, don't bother. Why so many words? Isn't your bottom sore? Bai Yu dared not argue and reluctantly approached him. Half an hour later, the technique was transmitted and Bai Yu was stunned. Scoundrel, what grade is a divine grade technique? Xiao Sanjin was shocked. Even the former demon emperor didn't know. It seemed divine grade techniques were terrifyingly high, but he feigned calm. Look at you, so pathetic. And you claim to be a reincarnated emperor. Don't even know what divine grade is. Shameful. You know I'm a reincarnated emperor. Bai Yu stared intently at Xiao Sanjin. What do you think? Before taking you as my disciple, I told you that being an emperor is just the starting point for the strong. Bai Yu pouted, but for once didn't retort. Her chief master was too mysterious. Knowing she was a reincarnated emperor and wanted to kill him, he still passed on a technique above emperor grade. What was he up to? Let's go. Before she could finish the word, Xiao Sanjin's hum of disapproval made her change her tune. Master, even though you gave me a divine grade technique, I'll still chop you up for spanking me. Chop me. Only if you have the strength. Just wait. Once I've cultivated enough, I'll hack you to death. After a beating and a divine grade technique, Bai Yu returned to her hut to cultivate. Watching her go, Xiao Sanjin could only sigh. What a mess. Had picked up a disciple who was a reincarnated demon emperor, and worse, one who wanted to kill him ever. Frustrated, he decided to stroll down the mountain, hoping to find a sweet little comfort. As he left the Nine Bends Yellow River Formation, a white crane flew overhead and dropped a load of droppings straight onto his handsome face. Horses are ridden by men, and good people are bullied by birds. Xiao Sanjin did not consider himself a good person. With a quick movement, he dodged the bird droppings. He then picked up a stone the size of a fist and hurled it at the white crane. With a loud caw, the white crane fell directly to the ground. Take that for making me your toilet. Now you're dead. Picking up the white crane, Xiao Sanjin, although he didn't find a cozy little cotton-padded jacket, finding a white crane was still quite good. In just a few moments, Xiao Sanjin processed the white crane and placed it on the barbecue rack. The fragrant aroma wafted through the air, interrupting the training of Fox Fairy and Bai Yu. Fox Fairy was the first to step out of the thatched cottage. Upon seeing the golden-brown roasted white crane, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She hadn't eaten meat in a long time, and today she had to indulge. Fairy, come here. You are weak. Eat some white crane meat to replenish your strength. Fox Fairy did not hesitate, walking over to Xiao Sanjin and directly plucking off a leg of the crane. Although she was now his disciple, they had once been senior and junior, so she felt no restraint. With one bite, she was met with a burst of fragrance and exquisite flavor. Master, where did this white crane come from? Fox Fairy asked. Caught at the foot of the mountain. Oh no, I mean found. Although Xiao Sanjin was not a good person, he didn't want Fox Fairy to think he was someone who enjoyed killing. It's pretty good. In the future, you should pick up a few more. Our sect is poor, and we can't usually afford meat. Who would have thought, Fairy, you were such a little glutton? Fox Fairy did not refute. Being greedy was a woman's nature, so what was wrong with her desire? Little by, is that you? How did you die? Just as Xiao Sanjin was about to tear off another leg of the crane, a light voice came from behind him. No need to guess, Xiao Sanjin knew it was by Yu, drawn out by the aroma of the crane's meat. But who was this little by she mentioned? The white crane. Little by, my dear, little by, my closest companion, why did you leave me alone? How would a performance? If you want to eat crane meat, just say so. As your master, am I really that stingy to not let you eat? Bai Yu's acting was superb, the tears in her eyes, the expression on her face, and her body language were all perfectly natural. If she were on Earth, she would surely acting. You dog thief, you killed my little Bai, and you think I'm acting. Watch me not kill you to avenge my little Bai. What is your bottom itching again? Do you want me to give you a good beating? Your little Bai. Do you have any evidence? I could just as easily say this is my little Bai. You dog thief, look closely at the crane's foot. Is there not a small gold plate? Does it not say by Xiao Bai? That's the name I gave the white crane. Xiao Sanjin looked at the foot of the crane with irritation. He hadn't noticed before, but there was indeed a gold plate on the crane's foot. But what was the meaning of the words by Xiao Bai on the gold plate? Dog thief, did you see it? Little Bai was raised by me with my own waist, and you actually killed it. I must avenge it. Avenge? You'd need to be able to defeat me first. Although he was in the wrong for killing the white crane raised by Yu, he could not lose face. Upon hearing this, Bai Yu immediately drooped her head, her bottom still hurt. Little Bai, I'm sorry, I can't avenge you for now, because I can't defeat the dog thief. Bai Yu put down her big knife and tore off another leg of the crane, devouring it ravenously. Xiao Sanjin stood frozen in place. This was not how the story was supposed to go. Bai Yu should have run into the thatched cottage and cried her heart out. Why was she eating so extravagantly? Yu, isn't this your little Bai? Your best companion. Dog thief, I have raised little Bai for so many years, of course I have feelings for it. But since you killed it, if I don't eat it, wouldn't that just benefit you? Bai Yu was indeed the Demon Empress. Her reasoning left Xiao Sanjin utterly baffled. She took a big bite of the crane meat and murmured, little Bai, don't worry, the day I can defeat the dog thief, I will definitely avenge you and roast him on the barbecue rack too. Are you a devil? The thought of that image sent shivers down Xiao Sanjin's spine. You know I'm the Demon Empress, not a devil. Dog thief, eat slowly, don't fight me for it. Damn it, the villain did the cooking, but he ended up with the least to eat, while the Demon Empress with a mouthful of little Bai was now burping contentedly. Where's the justice in this? Xiao Sanjin felt extremely wronged. Dog thief, I'm going home. Little Bai must have been sent by the family to find me. Bai Yu wiped the crane grease from her mouth and was about to leave. Wait, I'm your master. If you want to leave Jiuxiao Mountain, you need my permission. Master, that won't be for long, will it? The largest sect in Jiuxiao City, Qingyun sect, has opened its doors to recruit disciples, and my family wants me to join them. Qingyun sect? What kind of thing is that? Do they think they can snatch disciples from me? Qingyun sect is the only one-star sect in Jiuxiao City with over 1,000 disciples. The sect master Qinjianzi has reached the pinnacle of golden core. Do you think they are not qualified to take disciples from you at the Qi refinement stage? I thought they were so impressive, but they are just a little golden core. Come, let me go slap this Qinjianzi to death. Why should he give up a disciple he had won through his own efforts? Are you sure? Bai Yu said with a smirk. Although Xiao Sanjin was odd, his cultivation was indeed at the Qi refinement stage. If she at the foundation establishment stage couldn't defeat him, could a golden core cultivator really defeat him? What do you mean by are you sure? Hurry up and come down. If I don't slap Qinjianzi to death, right now you will no longer be surnamed Bai. If she at the foundation establishment stage couldn't defeat him, could a golden core cultivator really defeat him? What do you mean by are you sure? Hurry up and come down. Bai Yu felt speechless. Xiao Sanjin couldn't slap Qinjianzi to death, so how did that concern her? Why couldn't she keep her surname Bai? What Fox Fairy, and Bai Yu thought, didn't concern Xiao Sanjin. He was filled with anticipation for Jiuxiao City. After 10 years, he was finally going. An hour later, Xiao Sanjin and the others appeared at the entrance of Jiuxiao City. Staring at the endless city moat and towering city walls, Xiao Sanjin couldn't help but marvel at the craftsmanship. The entrance fee is 10 gold coins per person. Seeing that Xiao Sanjin and the others were dressed simply, the guard directly held out his hand. Isn't the entrance fee 1 gold coin per person? Fox Fairy was surprised. Here I say the rules. The guard greedily eyed Fox Fairy. Fox Fairy wanted to argue, but was interrupted by a loud clang sound. She saw Bai Yu's big knife already embedded in the rock on the ground. Dog thief, I allow you to reorganize your language. Upon seeing the black knife, the guard immediately knelt down. Although many people in Jiuxiao City did not recognize Bai Yu, they had certainly heard this saying. My big knife has long been thirsting for blood. Scram, or this young lady will chop you up. Every class has its own survival methods. Bai Yu merely scolded the guard and did not overly chastise him. My big knife has long been thirsting for blood. The appearance of this young girl was just like that demoness. Miss Bai, I am so sorry for not recognizing you. Please forgive me. Scram, or this young lady will chop you up. Every class has its own survival methods. Bai Yu merely scolded the guard and did not overly chastise him. With the demoness by Yu by their side, neither Xiao Sanjin nor Fox Fairy had to worry about paying an entrance fee to enter the city. Such a bustling street filled with all sorts of peculiar items made Xiao Sanjin feel as if he were Lu Lao Lao entering the Grand View Garden, touching this and looking at that. Dog. Bai Yu was about to call dog thief, but saw Xiao Sanjin staring at her, so she quickly changed her words. Master, I want to go back to the Bai family first. Wait. Xiao Sanjin rapped the knuckle on Bai Yu's head. Yu, don't you want your master and senior sister to visit your home? Bai Yu muttered, you know the answer. On my palm is suddenly a little itchy. Xiao Sanjin raised his hand, glancing at Bai Yu's pert bottom. Bai Yu understood his implication all too well, her expression changing faster than turning a page. Master, you are welcome to the Bai residence. Uttering such insincere words, Bai Yu feared lightning might strike her, but what choice did she have? After all, Xiao Sanjin's fists were bigger than hers. My good disciple, since you so earnestly invite us, it would be rude for your master and senior sister to refuse. We shall reluctantly grace your Bai residence with our presence. Bai Yu was fuming. In her 2 lifetimes, she had never encountered anyone as shameless as Xiao Sanjin. As the trio walked down the street, anyone who recognized Bai Yu's large blade kept their distance, as if fleeing from a plague. Yu, are these people afraid of you? Of course. I am the tyrant of 9 Heaven City. I usually slash my way from the east gate to the west gate, never knowing what it means to have an opponent. You're at the 8th level of Qi refining and can't find an opponent. Are all the cultivators in 9 Heaven City so weak? Have you heard the saying, my father is by Pudju and my grandfather is by leeching? Are your father and grandfather powerful? No, they are weak only at the early and middle stages of Golden Core. But they are the top combat power in 9 Heaven City. So you're a powerful 2nd generation heir, no wonder you have such a temper. Who has a bad temper? Believe me, I'll cut you. Xiao Sanjin and Bai Yu bickered all the way until they reached the Bai residence gates. As soon as the guard saw Bai Yu, he shouted into the mansion, the young lady is back. Everyone hide. Xiao Sanjin burst into laughter at this. Bai Yu's reputation was truly notorious, even her own guards feared her. What are you shouting for? Shout again and I'll cut you. Bai Yu glared at the guard, dragging her pitch-black blade into the Bai residence. Does your young lady often kill people? Asked Xiao Sanjin. The guard gave Xiao Sanjin a sympathetic look. Brother, are you new to following the young lady? Then you must be careful. Though my young lady doesn't kill, she locks those who err in the pigsty. It stinks in there. Who can stand it? Xiao Sanjin had thought Bai Yu was a merciless demon, but it turned out she just had a few more tricks for tormenting people. How could someone like her be called the Demon Emperor? Not far into the Bai residence, an elderly man with graying hair greeted Bai Yu. Young lady, you're back at last. We haven't seen you for days. The clan head and madam were worried sick. The old man was Bai Dong, the Bai family's steward, a cultivator at the Great Perfection of Foundation establishment. The clan head and madam he referred to were naturally Bai Yu's father Bai Pujuan and mother Lin Yu. Grandpa Dong, that joke isn't funny at all. Would those two worry about me, a troublemaker? They probably wish I died out there. Young lady, don't say that. If the clan head and madam hear you, they'll break your legs. They dare break my legs. Do they think my grandfather Bai leeching is just for show? Bai Yu affectionately took Bai Dong's arm, completely the picture of a good girl. Xiao Sanjin couldn't help but sigh. Family affection was a wonderful thing. It had made the Demon Emperor reborn into a new life, fall in love with the feeling of having a home. Truly, fate played strange tricks. Grandpa Dong, do you know where my parents are right now? A troubled look crossed Bai Dong's face. Wang Tung has come to press for marriage again. The clan head and madam are in the main hall dealing with the Wang family. That scoundrel Wang Tung. That vile Wang family. Watch me cleave them in two. Bai Yu grabbed her blade and rushed toward the main hall. How could Xiao Sanjin miss such a spectacle? He followed Bai Yu straight into the main hall. Ding. Detected Wang Tung, a child of fortune who cultivates the joyous art with a fortune value of 10000. Please suppress and slay him as soon as possible. So this was a child of fortune. One who kept a harem. Xiao Sanjin scanned the crowd but saw nothing unusual, so he activated his 6 Paths Immortal Eye. Using the 6 Paths Immortal Eye for the first time, Xiao Sanjin discovered many intriguing things. Each person had a different color above their head: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, or black, varying in depth and brightness. But what primarily distinguished a child of fortune from a great antagonist was the red or black light above their heads. Red signified a child of fortune. The deeper the color, the higher the fortune value. Xiao Sanjin hadn't expected that Wang Tung, with a fortune value of 100, only had a faint red glow. It seemed the heavenly Tao didn't favor him much. But how should he deal with Wang Tung? Knowing oneself and the enemy leads to 100 victories. Xiao Sanjin turned to Bai Dong beside him. Elder Dong, may I ask who this Wang Tung is? Though Bai Dong didn't know Xiao Sanjin's identity, he knew this man had returned to the Bai residence with Bai Yu, so he spoke to him courteously. Sir, you may not know, but this Wang Tung is the fiancé of Miss Yu, the son of Wang family head Wang Batian. A year ago, he was said to be only at the first level of qi refining a waste at cultivation. But after an illicit affair with his sister-in-law, he changed overnight. His breakthroughs came as easily as drinking water, and he took concubines as casually as buying vegetables. Now Wang Teng has reached the mid-stage of foundation establishment and is a renowned genius in Nine Heaven City. A child of fortune was Bai Yu's fiancée. Would the reincarnated demon emperor be added to his harem? Xiao Sanjin pondered this and couldn't rule out. Today, unexpected events were likely to unfold at the Bai residence. Bai Yu strode up to Wang Teng, her large blade cleaving straight at him. You scoundrel! You want to marry me? Are you worthy? Wang Teng was quick-eyed and nimble-handed. He raised his jade fan to block Bai Yu's attack. Then eyeing her greedily, he said, Yu, what nonsense are you talking? How am I unworthy? I am the #1 genius of Nine Heaven City, the next clan head of the Wang family, and the personal disciple of Qin Jiunzi, the sect master of Qinyan sect. If I am not worthy to marry you, then who in Nine Heaven City is? The entire hall fell silent. No one refuted him, for all knew Wang Teng spoke the truth. Bai Yu, don't say I'm throwing my weight around. How about this, we have a spar. If you win, I'll allow you to marry me 3 days later. If you lose, we'll consummate the marriage tonight. Shameless. Bai Yu had thought Xiao Sanjin was the most shameless man in the world, but here was someone even more brazen. Was this heaven's punishment for her being the demon emperor in her past life? Shameless. Bai Yu, you clearly don't see the situation. Follow me and you'll enjoy wealth and honor, a meteoric rise. Defy me and your Bai family will be drenched in blood with no peace ever again. To possess Bai Yu, Wang Teng shed his disguise and bullied her with his power. Bai Yu saw the situation clearly. She had finally found a family and didn't want her family to suffer because of her. But how could she willingly marry Wang Teng? How pathetic. She, the mighty demon emperor, was being cornered by a mere golden core family. Just as Bai Yu was caught in a dilemma, a figure in white robes stepped into everyone's view. Yu, you're getting married. Your master doesn't approve. The sudden upheaval sparked a glimmer of hope in the Bai family, but when they saw that the figure in white was merely a youth of 16 or 17, whose cultivation barely reached the qi refining stage, their hearts sank into despair once more. It wasn't that they hadn't considered confronting the Wang family, rather the Bai family's overall strength was slightly inferior. Moreover, Wang Teng had become the direct disciple of Qin Jiunzi, the supreme expert of Nine Heaven City. If they dared to make a move, the Bai family would surely perish. Thus they had no choice but to swallow their pride and endure the Wang family's relentless pressure. On the contrary, Bai Yu, who usually found Xiao Sanjin extremely disagreeable, felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. Disciple Bai Yu pays respects to master. Everyone was dumbfounded. Bai Yu had just called a qi refining stage youth her master. Was it an auditory hallucination, or had the world gone mad? Neither. It must be that Bai Yu had hired an actor. They just didn't know what act they were putting on. Boy, who are you? Wang Teng stared at Xiao Sanjin with malice. Had the latter appeared any later under his coercion, Bai Yu would have likely agreed to become his woman. You are not qualified to know my identity. A mere foundation establishment mid-stage cultivator, if not for fear of the heavenly Tao detecting his presence, Xiao Sanjin would have crushed Wang Teng with a single slap. Ha ha ha, boy, you dare say I'm unworthy. Do you know who I am? Oh, are you so formidable? Why should I care to know who you are? Ignorant brat, you're quite arrogant. Dare to fight me. Wang Teng swore he would tear Xiao Sanjin into 1,000 pieces, making everyone witness the consequences of defying him. You are not worthy to fight me. Call your father. Unable to strike at the favored son of destiny, could Xiao Sanjin not strike those close to him? Ah, I thought you were something special. Turns out you're just a poser, a pretty boy hiding behind a woman. Wang Teng grew increasingly contemptuous of Xiao Sanjin. You think I'm just posing? Then let me show you. Kneel. Everyone stared at Xiao Sanjin blankly. Was this man here to be a clown? He even said kneel. To whom? A crack sounded, the splintering of a chair, and then everyone saw Wang Batian beside Wang Teng drop heavily to his. Due to the immense impact, blood continuously seeped from Wang Baishan's knees. Everyone was stunned. Had Wang Batian also become an actor for the Bai? Impossible. Was he not Wang Teng's father, the patriarch of the Wang family? Why would he cooperate with the Bai family? Could it be that he found Bai Yu beautiful, had designs on her, and wanted to use this to frighten his own son, and then marry Bai Yu himself? Only Wang Batian was drenched in cold sweat. He could feel an overwhelming pressure upon him under which he couldn't muster a single ounce of defiance. My lord, Wang Batian admits his wrongs. The Wang family admits its wrongs. I beg you to spare me. Wang Batian kowtowed repeatedly to Xiao Sanjin, hoping to earn a chance to live. A father's fault is in failing to teach his son. Wang Baishan, you are indeed guilty, but I am willing to give you a chance. Whether you can seize it depends on you. Wang Batian understood and immediately said to Wang Teng, You unfilial wretch, kneel to my lord at once and beg for his forgiveness. Father, what are you saying? You want me to kneel to a qi refining cultivator? Have you lost your mind? Wang Teng felt as if struck by lightning. His father, who usually doted on him, was now demanding he kneel to a chi-refining cultivator and admit his mistakes. Unfilial son, are you disobeying your father? Do you still have me as your father? Wang Batian wished he could slap Wang Tung to death. This brat dared to defy him now. What would he do in the future? Father, if you want to kneel, you do it. I won't. Not only will I not kneel, I will kill this pretentious brat. Wang Tung stared at Xiao Sanjin, his murderous intent almost tangible. Moments later, Wang Tung burst into mad laughter, as if possessed. No one understood what he was laughing about. Wang Tung fixed his gaze on Xiao Sanjin and said, "Boy, I recognize you. Aren't you the fool from Nine Heavens Mountain?" Xiao Sanjin had never descended from Nine Heavens Mountain, so few recognized him. As it happened, Wang Tung had recently helped his own brother Wang Xiaoji investigate Fox Fairy. As Fox Fairy's only junior disciple, Xiao Sanjin had naturally been thoroughly investigated. "Oh, you know me." Xiao Sanjin was quite surprised. "Boy, how could I not know you? Oh, where's your senior sister? Did she come today? Or is she still rolling in the sheets with my worthless brother?" A murderous aura emanated from Xiao Sanjin. "Wang Xiaoji is your brother." "Yes, he is my brother. He's probably savoring your senior sister right now," Wang Tung taunted without restraint. "Indeed, like brother like brother. The Wang family. Quite impressive." Xiao Sanjin walked up to Wang Beishan, conjured a wisp of spiritual energy, and blew off the latter's arm. "Up!" A heart-wrenching scream echoed through the hall, sending chills down everyone's spines. What was happening? Wasn't Wang Batian an actor hired by the Bai family? Why did Xiao Sanjin cripple his arm? Why didn't Wang Batian resist? "Wang Beishan, your two sons are quite impressive. I detest them thoroughly. So today the son's debts shall be paid by the father." Another scream, and Wang Beishan's other arm exploded. "My lord, I beg you spare me. I will surely kill those two unfilial sons to atone." "Very well then, kill Wang Tung now." Xiao Sanjin released his restraint on Wang Beishan, unafraid that the latter would attack him. If he dared, a single thought would end him. "Unfilial wretch, you have ruined me. Now dot." Wang Batian advanced step by step toward Wang Tung. "Father, I am your son, Wang Tung. Will you truly harm?" The moment Wang Tung's words fell, his head was sent flying by Wang Beishan's kick. Wang Tung, the greatest genius of Nine Heavens City, had perished, killed by his own father's hand. "My lord, I have killed Wang Tung. Please wait a moment, and I will go kill Wang Xiaoji." Just as Wang Batian was about to step forward, Xiao Sanjin said, "No need. Wang Xiaoji is already dead, so it's time for you to join them." As Xiao Sanjin's words fell, Wang Batian exploded into a cloud of blood mist. Wang Beishan, patriarch of the Wang family and a golden core mid-stage expert, had perished. Having dealt with the Wang father and son, Xiao Sanjin turned to Bai Yuyu and asked, "Disciple among those present, has anyone bullied you?" Everyone broke out in cold sweat. Xiao Sanjin was too terrifying. How could such an expert exist in Nine Heaven City? They feared even more that Bai Yuyu would point at them and say, "Master, this person bullied me." But Bai Yuyu's next words brought relief to everyone. "Master, am the one who bullies them." "Oh." Xiao Sanjin seemed slightly disappointed. Then he turned his gaze to Bai Pajuan and his wife seated at the head of the hall, and said, "I heard you plan to have my disciple join the Azure Cloud sect." Beads of sweat formed on Bai Pojan's forehead. He cast a displeased glare at Bai Yuyu. This wretched girl, how could she tell such things to this mysterious powerhouse? Was she trying to doom her father? "My lord, I only spoke that foolishness about sending Yuyu to the Azure Cloud sect because I didn't know she had a master as powerful as you. Had I known, I wouldn't have dared to suggest such a thing even with 100 guts." Xiao Sanjin was quite satisfied with Bai Pojan's answer. "Had I known, I wouldn't have dared to suggest such a thing even with 100 guts." The members of the Bai family were greatly alarmed by Bai Yuyu's words. Good heavens, what was she saying? To behead this formidable figure who could effortlessly defeat Wang Batian. Was she trying to bring utter catastrophe upon the Bai family? "Your Excellency, Yuyu has been spoiled by me, her temperament wild, but her nature not evil. Many of her words are spoken in jest, please do not take them to heart." Bai Pujuan wished he could give his foolish daughter several hard slaps to stop her nonsense. "No matter, it's not the first time Yuyu has tried to cut me down." Xiao Sanjin's words struck everyone like a thunderbolt. So Bai Yuyu wasn't just talking, she had actually attempted to strike Xiao Sanjin with a blade. Bai Pujuan grabbed a bamboo pole nearby and prepared to discipline Bai Yuyu. "Old Bai, hit her hard, don't go easy or the—" Bai Pujuan grabbed a bamboo pole nearby and prepared to discipline Bai Yuyu. "Old Bai, hit her hard, don't go easy or this girl won't learn her lesson." Bai Pujuan stumbled, nearly losing his balance. For Xiao Sanjin to say such a thing, he must have been truly infuriated by Bai Yuyu. Thus Bai Pujuan grew even angrier, his strikes growing heavier. "Xiao Sanjin, you scoundrel. Since you show no mercy, don't blame me for being ruthless." Bai Yuyu dared not blame her father, so she directed her anger at Xiao Sanjin. "What other tricks do you have? Bring them on and we'll take them all." Xiao Sanjin felt immensely satisfied. After all the times Bai Yuyu wanted to cut him down, now she knew he wasn't someone to be trifled with. Father, Xiao Sanjin lied. He is not my master, but my husband, and I have already shared a bed with him. Clatter after clatter echoed through the hall as items fell, everyone stunned by Yu Yu's words. So she and Xiao Sanjin had been intimate. No wonder Xiao Sanjin had vehemently opposed Wang Teng's proposal to take her as a concubine. With Yu Yu's revelation, everything seemed to make sense. Why are you all staring at me? You believe Yu Yu's nonsense. Though Xiao Sanjin tried to explain, the Bai family paid him no heed. Even if Yu Yu were reckless, she wouldn't slander her own honor to frame Xiao Sanjin. Thus, everyone chose to believe Yu Yu. To spare Xiao Sanjin further embarrassment, Pujuan dismissed the Bai family members from the hall. Master, since this is a matter between husband and wife, I won't interfere. In any case, harmony brings prosperity to a family. Talk it out properly, and don't hold grudges. Pujuan left as well, but with a broad smile on his face. His precious daughter Yu Yu had truly found him a son-in-law to be proud of. After everyone departed, only Yu Yu, Xiao Sanjin, and Fox Fairy remained in the hall. Yu Yu, you're quite something, spouting lies that we've been intimate. How should I punish you? With no one else around, Yu Yu felt somewhat afraid of Xiao Sanjin. She scurried behind Fox Fairy and said pitifully, "Senior sister, you have to help me. Master slept with me and now refuses to acknowledge it." A surge of anger inexplicably rose in Fox Fairy's heart. She stopped addressing Xiao Sanjin as master and called him by name. "Xiao Sanjin, have you truly been intimate with you?" Xiao Sanjin felt a headache coming on. How could even Fox Fairy ask such a foolish question? "Sienna, don't you know me well enough? I've grown up under your watch. You should know my temperament well. A woman like Yu Yu with no chest and no hips. How could I possibly fancy her?" Yu Yu immediately took offense, puffing out her small chest and retorting arrogantly, "You scoundrel, who are you calling flat-chested and hipless? You've gone blind. You little witch, you really do climb the roof if you're not beaten for 3 days." Unable to contain himself any longer, Xiao Sanjin spanked Yu Yu's pert bottom right in front of Fox Fairy. The latter's pretty face flushed crimson. The confrontation ended with Yu Yu's tearful eyes. "You scoundrel, you hit my bottom again. One day you'll definitely chop you to pieces, chop you to pieces." Yu Yu bared her teeth, wishing she could devour Xiao Sanjin alive. Fox Fairy looked at Yu Yu's miserable state and shot Xiao Sanjin a helpless glare. "Master, weren't you a bit too harsh? You've swollen junior sister Yu Yu's bottom. Who told her to ruin my reputation? Now I don't even know how to explain things to the—" Even if Xiao Sanjin sought a Dao companion, it wouldn't be a capricious demon lord like Yu Yu, who knew if she'd go mad in the night, and while he slept cut off. "Master, junior sister Yu Yu is quite beautiful. Since you can't explain it away, why not turn the lie into truth?" "Impossible. I'd rather die than marry her." "Impossible. I'd rather die than marry him." Xiao Sanjin and Yu Yu spoke in unison, displaying a surprising harmony. Fox Fairy felt a twinge of envy. "Fine, you both have such strong wills. I won't disturb you too." Unable to bear it, she left the Bai family hall. "Sienna, wait for your master." Compared to Yu Yu, Xiao Sanjin far preferred to be alone with Fox Fairy. "Master, have you ever thought of finding a Dao companion?" As soon as they stepped out of the Bai family hall, Fox Fairy asked an inexplicable question. "Before I grow strong enough, I don't plan to seek a Dao companion." A trace of sorrow flickered in Xiao Sanjin's eyes. Struggling against the heavenly Dao, his fate was uncertain. Why drag others into it? "Master, how strong is strong enough? What cultivation level?" "I don't know." Fox Fairy caught the desolation and helplessness in Xiao Sanjin's eyes. She reached out her soft, delicate hand and took his. "Master, no matter what happens in the future, as long as Sienna lives, I will stay by your side." "Sienna, thank you for being here." Xiao Sanjin pulled Fox Fairy into his arms without another word, silently holding her, savoring this moment of sweetness. Fox Fairy's face flushed crimson, her heart pounding as if it would leap from her chest. She stole a glance at Xiao Sanjin's profile, her heart filled with contentment. Was this her hero? Why had she never noticed how handsome he was before? "Ahem ahem, you two, you are blocking the way. Could you please move aside?" After sobbing for a while, Yu Yu just exited the Bai family hall to find Xiao Sanjin and Fox Fairy embracing at the doorway. She couldn't help but interrupt them. Fox Fairy quickly released Xiao Sanjin and said with lowered head, "Master, I'm returning to the sect." "What about you?" Fox Fairy was only at the foundation establishment stage, so Xiao Sanjin naturally couldn't let her go back alone. "I'll accompany you back to the sect." They had barely taken a few steps when Yu Yu's voice rang out from behind. "Master, senior sister, could you help my Bai family resolve the current crisis before returning to the sect?" Xiao Sanjin agreed, without even asking what kind of predicament Yu Yu needed him to resolve, saying, "Okay." It had always been his principle that he could bully his own disciple, but no one else could. "Master, I wish to request your aid in killing Wang Jilin. He is the former patriarch of the Wang family at the latest stage Golden Core. No one in my Bai family can at the same time intimidate Qinji Yunzi, so that he dares not covet my Bai family." "Good." Xiao Sanjin already had a grudge against the Wang family. Even if Yu Yu hadn't brought it up, he would have moved against them. Hearing that Xiao Sanjin was willing to stand up for the Bai family, Bai Yuyu beamed with joy and personally led the way for him. Master, the Wang family mansion lies ahead. Bai Yuyu pointed at the magnificent building. With its green tiles, red walls, and dragon-adorned towers, the Wang family exuded grandeur. This sight stirred envy in Xiao Sanjin, who had lived in a thatched hut for 10 years. Behind vermilion gates, wine and meat were on the road bones of the frozen dead. Xiao Sanjin unleashed his finger that shatters mountains and rivers, reducing the largest buildings of the Wang family to dust. Assailed by an unknown formidable force, Wang Jilin, the strongest of the Wang family, naturally had to show himself. Yet the moment he appeared, Xiao Sanjin crushed him into powder. Yu Wang Jilin is dead. Leave the rest to your Bai family. Thank you, Master, for your intervention. My Bai family is deeply grateful. In Jiuxiao City, the Bai and Wang clans stood as equals. Now that the Wang family's golden core expert was dead and the Qingyun sect remained inactive, who else could contend with the Bai family? You're welcome. He'll make a trip to the Qingyun sect. As soon as Xiao Sanjin arrived at the Qingyun sect, he saw an old man in blue robes leading a group of people kneeling outside the gate. This old man, Qinjianzi, along with the entire Qingyun sect, pays respects to Patriarch Xiao. They had assumed such a humble posture, likely already aware of the Wang family's fate. Xiao Sanjin unleashed his finger that shatters mountains and rivers, directly sinking the Qingyun sect's training ground. He need not kill them, but he had to. Qinjianzi Bai Yuyu of the Bai family is now a disciple of my Jiuxiao sect. If the Qingyun sect dares to trouble the Bai family, you know the consequences without me spelling them out. Qinjianzi looked at the sunken training ground. How could he dare defy Xiao Sanjin's will? The latter's methods were likely beyond even a nascent soul cultivator's capabilities, were they not? With Bai Yuyu having taken such a powerful master, wouldn't the Bai family dominate Jiuxiao City from now on? The Qingyun sect heeds Patriarch Xiao's decree. Seeing that everyone had lost their will to resist, Xiao Sanjin turned to Bai Yuyu and asked, Yuyu, this matter is settled. Will you return to the mountain with me? Without a moment's hesitation, Bai Yuyu replied, Disciple will return to the mountain with you, master. Then let's go. With Xiao Sanjin's command, the three set off on the ding. Congratulations, host, for slaying the child of fortune Wang Tong. You have gained 100 luck points and acquired an imperial grade cultivation art, the joyful art. Reward cultivation increased by 5 layers, automatically integrated. Host's current cultivation is now at the 46th layer of Qi refinement. Killing a child of fortune could also boost cultivation. Xiao Sanjin was overjoyed. He would have to venture down the mountain more often. Who knew he might encounter experience giving prey? As for the joyful art, Xiao Sanjin had little interest, mainly because he couldn't touch the child of fortune's opportunities. It was quite useless. Still, gaining 100 luck points was excellent. He wondered what he could buy with them. Opening the system shop, Xiao Sanjin was greeted by a dazzling array of items. Heavenly grade art, sword control art, 300 luck points. Healing pill, 200 luck points. Golden dragon blood, 100 luck points. He couldn't afford what he needed, and what he could afford he didn't need. In the end, Xiao Sanjin spent 500 luck points to buy a large blade and a long sword. Yuyu, this mysterious grade height-tier blade is for you. But remember, you must not strike your master with it again, or he'll truly spank your bottom. Bai Yuyu took the blade, cherishing it endlessly. Although she had used heavenly grade weapons in her past life, the highest grade weapons in Jiuxiao City were only yellow grade. Now suddenly receiving a mysterious grade height-tier weapon, how could she not be excited? As for striking Xiao Sanjin again, she dared not. This man was too mysterious. Bai Yuyu swore she would not make a move against him until she had fully grasped his depths. Master, what is your true cultivation level? Qi refinement. Xiao Sanjin answered truthfully. Liar. Based on Xiao Sanjin's displayed combat prowess, Bai Yuyu would never believe he was only at Qi refinement. Believe it or not, I care not. Xiao Sanjin ignored Bai Yuyu and instead took out a long sword to hand to Husiener. Husiener, this is for you. I saw you were suited for a sword, so I picked this one out. Husiener did not ask about the sword's grade, but instead inquired, Master, does the sword have... No, it doesn't. Husiener can give it a name you like. Then let it be called Junyu. Junyu sounds quite desolate. How about another? Master, I think the name Junyu is fine. It implies you should speak, the mountains may crumble, the heavens and earth may merge, but only then will I part from you. Xiao Sanjin smiled, but his inner desire to rapidly improve his strength grew stronger. So far he had only discovered 2 methods to enhance his cultivation. One was taking disciples, but the system required the disciples' talent to reach 9 stars. Though the 9 heavens continent was vast and boundless, there were few geniuses who could achieve a 9-star talent. The second method was slaying children of fortune, but every child of fortune was a darling of the heavenly Tao. How easy could it be to kill them? Moreover, he could not act with his own hands. Difficult. Neither method was simple. Master, look. Someone is fighting at our sect's gate. As Husiener's words fell, the system's lowly-like voice echoed in Xiao Sanjin's mind. Ding. Detected a 10-star talent genius, disciple Ju Wuching near the host. Identity reincarnation of the Heartless Empress. Special Constitution Supreme Oblivion Body. It is recommended that the host take her as a disciple. What? Another Empress reincarnation? Was he so fated with Empresses? First the Nine Nether Demon Empress, now the Heartless Empress. Xiao Sanjin looked toward the crowd and saw a young girl in a green skirt at the early Foundation establishment stage being besieged by over a dozen cultivators at the late Foundation establishment stage. If no one helped her, she would likely not end well today. Xiao Sanjin did not claim to be a righteous man, he directly sought to exploit the situation. Zhu Wuqing, take me as your master, and I will help you escape. And I advise you not to meddle in my affairs. Seeing that Xiao Sanjin was only a chi refinement, yet dared to dream of taking her as a disciple, Zhu Wuqing cursed him. Aunt, in your former lofty days you indeed could call me that. But today I suggest you first consider your own predicament. My situation is dire, but yours is no better. As they spoke, several of the dozen people surrounding Zhu Wuqing broke off and approached Xiao Sanjin. Since Zhu Wuqing was not yet his disciple, Xiao Sanjin, naturally, would not share her burden. He grabbed Hu Xiener and Bai Yuyu, and with a flash entered the nine-bend yellow river formation. The scene before her made Zhu Wuqing's beautiful eyes widen in shock. If not for the massive formation blocking her path, she would never have been caught. How had Xiao Sanjin and the others passed through the formation? A flicker of fervor appeared in Zhu Wuqing's eyes. If she could also enter the formation, she would surely escape the pursuit of the Cold Ice sect's members. Ants, how did you enter the formation? Speak quickly. Zhu Wuqing addressed Xiao Sanjin in a commanding tone like an emperor on high. This greatly displeased Xiao Sanjin. Even if Zhu Wuqing had once been an empress, she was now merely a cultivator at the Foundation establishment stage. What right did she have to act so superior? Had she not suffered enough? Could she not recognize reality? Since that was the case, let her endure more hardship. Xiao Sanjin took out melon seeds he had brought from the Bai family and began to crack them open. And I command you to hand over the method to enter the grand formation. Can you not hear me? And you dare to crack melon seeds? Xiao Sanjin rolled his eyes at Zhu Wuqing. This woman must be gravely ill. Did he owe her anything? If not for her being his experience point, Xiao Sanjin would have slapped her to death. Aunt. Before Zhu Wuqing could finish, a 12 centimeter long wound appeared on her icy, beautiful face. Having missed their strike, the Cold Ice sect members immediately launched a fiercer assault, leaving Zhu Wuqing no time to reprimand Xiao Sanjin. Even though Zhu Wuqing was once an empress, her cultivation was still shallow, and she was alone. She was beaten back step by the Cold Ice sect members, leaving many wounds on her body. Ants, do you truly think I am easy to bully? Forced into a corner, Zhu Wuqing burned a wisp of her imperial soul, temporarily elevating her cultivation to the great perfection of Foundation establishment. However, the cultivation enhanced by burning her imperial soul could only last for the time it takes to burn an incense stick, and it caused immense harm to the user. Zhu Wuqing would not resort to this move unless absolutely necessary. With the cultivation of the great perfection of Foundation establishment and her rich combat experience from her past life, Zhu Wuqing overwhelmed the Cold Ice sect members. In just half the time it takes to burn an incense stick, she slaughtered all dozen or so who had surrounded her. By now, Zhu Wuqing's green dress was stained with blood, and her face was pale. Clearly, burning her imperial soul had inflicted severe damage upon her. She no longer even had the strength to leave this place. She had no choice but to look at Xiao Sanjin again and say, Aunt, tell me the method to enter the grand formation or die. Xiao Sanjin smiled and pointed to the sky, saying, I want die, but you might not be so lucky. Zhu Wuqing followed the direction of his finger and saw two figures flying toward them on swords. For a cultivator to fly on a sword, their cultivation must at least reach the golden core stage. Clearly, the two who had arrived were golden core powerhouses. Zhu Wuqing panicked. Although she could burn her imperial soul to temporarily elevate her cultivation to the great perfection of Foundation establishment, she stood no chance against golden core powerhouses. And tell me the method to enter the grand formation quickly. I will grant you a lifetime of riches and honor. If you do not care for wealth, I can also grant you earth-grade techniques, even heaven-grade techniques. And tell me the method to enter the grand formation quickly. I will grant you a lifetime of riches and honor. If you do not care for wealth, I can also grant you earth-grade techniques, and you dare to make me kneel. A delusional dream. Zhu Wuqing turned around, gripping her blood-dripping longsword, and faced the two stewards of the Cold Ice. Zhu Wuqing, you not only stole our Cold Ice sect's treasured mysterious-grade Cold Ice sword, but you also slaughtered dozens of our disciples. Today we Han Mo and Han Xian will capture you, and take you back to the sect to face punishment. As soon as they made their move, Han Mo and Han Xian blocked Zhu Wuqing's escape. Cold Ice sect, you are truly shameless. I obtained the Cold Ice sword from the Henin relics. How did it become yours? The Henin relics are the relics of our Cold Ice sect, and you, Zhu Wuqing, are also a disciple of the Cold Ice sect. Therefore the Cold Ice sword you found naturally belongs to our Cold Ice sect. For such shamelessness I can give you the Cold Ice sword, but you must let me leave. Knowing she was no match for two golden core powerhouses, Zhu Wuqing began to negotiate. Zhu Wuqing, you are already a sinner of the sect. It is impossible to let you go. You had better obediently return with us to the Cold Ice sect to avoid further suffering. Since that's the case, then let's fight. Zhu Wuqing's aura surged, as if she were no longer a Foundation establishment cultivator, but an emperor ruling the world, seeking death. Even a lion uses its full strength when hunting a rabbit. Han Mo and Han Xian fully unleashed their mid-golden core cultivation. In a single exchange, Zhu Wuqing was struck, spitting blood, her organs shattered. If heaven had not created me, Zhu Wuqing, eternity would be a long dark night. I, the merciless Empress, would rather die by my own hand. Zhu Wuqing raised her blade to slit her throat, but found herself unable to move, as if bound by some force. Panic seized her. Yet she could not find the one who had restrained her. Han Mo and Han Xin's attacks had already landed. One struck her sword-wielding right hand, severing her arm. The other struck her left leg, shattering the bone into pieces. Even suffering such severe injuries, Zhu Wuqing did not utter a single cry of pain, demonstrating the firmness of her Tao heart. Zhu Wuqing, you have lost all power to resist. Surrender now. Han Mo reached out his hand to grab Zhu Wuqing. Despair flickered across her face as she leaned against the barrier of the Nine-Bend Yellow River Formation, gasping for breath. She was so unwilling. Having been reborn, her great vengeance remained unavenged, and she did not even know who her enemy was, yet she was about to fall. Truly, heaven was unjust, denying her a brilliant future. Just as Han Mo's hand was about to seize Zhu Wuqing, her body rapidly sank into the Nine-Bend Yellow River Formation, causing Han Mo to grasp it. Boy, did you do this? Han Mo said to Xiao Sanjin. I am merely at the chi refining stage. How could I have such power? Xiao Sanjin replied with an innocent expression. Han Mo said, boy, I advise you not to seek death. Do you know that our Cold Ice sect is a 2-star sect with countless golden core powerhouses and even a few nascent soul powerhouses within? Offending our Cold Ice sect is not a wise move. So I advise you to quickly hand over Zhu Wuqing and the Cold Ice sword. I want to, but I dare not touch Zhu Wuqing. Look how fierce she is. Xiao Sanjin stepped back. Han Mo could clearly see that Xiao Sanjin was mocking him. Boy, you are courting death. I may not be able to break this shoddy formation, but others can. Han Xian, I will stay here. You go quickly and invite the sect leader and the supreme elder to come and break the formation. Han Xian flew off on his sword, leaving only Han Mo to watch Xiao Sanjin and the others. Zhu Wuqing, I never thought that you, who once stood above all untouched by worldly affairs, would end up in such a miserable state. Bai Yu walked up to Zhu Wuqing, looking down at her from a height. Who are you? Although Zhu Wuqing found Bai Yu somewhat familiar, she could not recall where yellow springs and the azure firmament, bleached bones of flowers bloom on the other shore. A solitary soul drifts. Zhu Wuqing's pupils dilated instantly. She stared at Bai Yu in disbelief and said, you are the Nine Nether Demon Emperor. Bai Yu did not confirm or deny, but a large blade appeared in her hand. Clearly she was about to make a move against Zhu Wuqing. Nine Nether Demon Emperor, we fought for thousands of years in our past life without a clear victor. To die by your hand today would not disgrace the name of the merciless Empress. Zhu Wuqing slowly closed her eyes as if finding release. Zhu Wuqing, you want to die by my hand, but I will not give you that satisfaction. I will kick you out of the Nine-Bend Yellow River Formation and let you die at the hands of the ants you despise. Bai Yu, you grant me a swift death. Even at this moment, Zhu Wuqing refused to lower her proud head. Grant you a swift death? What a fanciful notion. Seeing Bai Yu about to kick Zhu Wuqing out of the formation, Xiao Sanjin had to speak up. You do not touch her. Though Bai Yu looked displeased, she did not defy Xiao Sanjin's will. My master is merciful and does not wish to harm you. Count yourself fortunate. Zhu Wuqing stared at Xiao Sanjin in surprise, finding nothing extraordinary about him. Yet how could the proud and decisive Bai Yu address him as master so readily? Yu, do you know Zhu Wuqing? Yes. Bai Yu told Xiao Sanjin about her millennial-long conflict with Zhu Wuqing. Xiao Sanjin rubbed his forehead. Truly, enemies were bound to meet on a narrow road. This made taking Zhu Wuqing as a disciple even more difficult. Yu, I cannot interfere in your matters with Zhu Wuqing for now, but remember, never push things to the extreme, never exhaust all possibilities. Bai Yu understood Xiao Sanjin's implication perfectly and was overjoyed. Though she could not kill Zhu Wuqing, being able to torment her old rival was quite satisfying. Zhu Wuqing, oh Zhu Wuqing, to think you ruined yourself over a mere mid-grade profound rank sword, becoming neither human nor ghost. How you disgrace the title of Empress. Look at me. I can casually produce a high-grade profound rank weapon. Doesn't that infuriate you? With a sharp ring, a gleaming broadsword was drawn from its sheath and plunged into the stone steps before Zhu Wuqing. How do you have a high-grade profound rank weapon? Within Yongzhou, how could such a weapon exist? Zhu Wuqing could not believe it. She had nearly lost her life to obtain a mid-grade profound rank weapon, yet Bai Yu effortlessly produced one of a higher grade. Just because Yongzhou doesn't have one doesn't mean I don't. This is the gap between you and me. Look at yourself now. Am almost embarrassed to call you my old rival. By Yu, I admit defeat. I beg you kill me. In 2 lifetimes, Zhu Wuqing had never begged anyone. Now she was begging her enemy to end her life. How tragic was that? But she had no choice. As time passed, her pain grew worse. Her arm was destroyed, her leg bones shattered, even her once proud face was ruined. Without high-grade pills, none of her injuries could heal. Yet in Yongzhou, high-grade pills were impossible to find. Even if they existed, she could not obtain them in her current state. Kill you? No. If I did, my master would punish. How about this? I'll give you a golden bowl so you can beg on the streets. Perhaps you'll live comfortably for the rest of your days. Forcing a proud empress to beg, Bai Yu knew how to strike where it hurt most. Zhu Wuqing was overcome with rage, vomiting blood mixed with fragments of her lungs, a testament to her severe injuries. Bai Yu. Before she could finish, she fainted from the trauma. Xiao Sanjin naturally would not let Zhu Wuqing die, but even he was shocked when he examined her wounds. She was gravely injured. Without treatment, she might not survive the night. Yu, wake her up. Bai Yu raised her jade-like foot, intending to kick Zhu Wuqing's broken arm, but seeing her pitiful state, she couldn't bring herself to do it. Finally, Bai Yu shook Zhu Wuqing awake. Yu, feed her this heart-protecting pill. To temporarily stabilize Zhu Wuqing's condition, Xiao Sanjin had to spend 600 luck points in the system store to purchase a low-grade, profound-rank heart. Master, why save her? Bai Yu was puzzled. She cannot die yet. Xiao Sanjin offered no explanation. I won't feed her. I'd rather she die. Bai Yu pouted and stepped aside. Unable to persuade her, Xiao Sanjin had to administer the pill himself. As the pill entered her stomach, Zhu Wuqing's failing heart meridians stabilized, giving her a glimmer of hope. And do you have more pills? Can you save me? If you do, I'll grant you a heaven-rank cultivation method and make you the strongest in Yongzhou, no in Gantang Prefecture. Xiao Sanjin ignored her, laying her back on the ground and continuing to eat melon seeds. Ain't you dare ignore me repeatedly. Do you want to die? Annoyed, Xiao Sanjin replied. Zhu Wuqing, drop your haughty empress act, or it'll make your life a living hell. A fierce killing intent emanated from Xiao Sanjin, making Zhu Wuqing feel death's presence again. Having just glimpsed hope, she dared not extinguish it, so she fell silent. Han Mo outside the formation witnessed everything. He coveted the pills Xiao Sanjin had given Zhu Wuqing. Brat, how many of those pills do you have left? Hand them over, and the Hanbing sect will spare your life. None, just one, and Zhu Wuqing ate it. You're quite something, defying the Hanbing sect repeatedly. Once our experts break this formation, it'll make sure you suffer a fate worse than death. As Han Mo finished, a silver-haired elder flew in from the horizon. Flying through the air was a skill of nascent soul cultivators. Seeing their sect's nascent soul expert, Han Mo beamed with joy. The silver-haired elder landed before the formation, but shook his head. Even with his power, he could not break it, nor did he even recognize the formation's name. Patriarch Su, can't you even break this formation? Han Mo was crestfallen. I cannot. I've never seen nor heard of such a formation. After studying the formation for a while, Patriarch Su addressed Xiao Sanjin. Young man, if you hand over our sect's traitor Zhu Wuqing and the Hanbing sword, it'll grant you a place as a Hanbing sect disciple. How about it? The Hanbing sect was a 2-star sect requiring at least 2-star talent for entry. A cultivator like Xiao Sanjin, only at the Qi refining stage at 16, would never pass the standard assessment. Patriarch Zu's offer was clearly a backdoor. Sorry, I'm used to freedom and can't stand sect rules. Xiao Sanjin refused outright. Ungrateful brat. I don't believe you'll stay in the mountains forever. Han Mo dispatched disciples to seal this place tightly. After giving orders, Patriarch Su flew away, waiting for the day Xiao Sanjin would leave the formation. Patriarch Su waited, but so did Xiao Sanjin. Seeing the Hanbing sect's deployment outside the formation, Xiao Sanjin was delighted. This would trap Zhu Wuqing and prevent her from escaping. But Xiao Sanjin still had to warn Zhu Wuqing. Zhu Wuqing, if you want to live, don't leave the formation's range. Yu Xianer, let's go up the mountain. Bai Yu, eager to leave, Zhu Wuqing dashed up the mountain at Xiao Sanjin's words. Hu Xianer cast a deep glance at Zhu Wuqing before following Xiao Sanjin. After they left, Zhu Wuqing turned over with difficulty, gazing at the azure sky with a tumult of emotions. Once a lofty empress, now reduced to a mere ant on the verge of death. The heaven cycles are just. Who can escape fate's retribution? Truly pitiable. Time flows swiftly, and the winds and clouds are unpredictable. In the pitch-black night, thunder suddenly roared, followed by a violent storm. The blood beside Zhu Wuqing had spread far. Cold rain lashed her face. She felt herself dying, regretting that it was not in a glorious battle with an enemy, but silently in the rain. How laughable. A 1,000-year dream of an empress leaving behind only a name on cold bones. As Zhu Wuqing closed her eyes in despair, a woman in a white dress approached slowly under an oil paper umbrella. What eternal fame! What unparalleled grace! In the end, what can it bring you? Zhu Wuqing, your lofty demeanor ultimately led to your downfall. After expressing her sentiments, the woman in the white dress swiftly vanished into the rain. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. Zhu Wuqing slowly opened her vacant eyes. She was not dead. After carefully assessing her condition, Zhu Wuqing was certain that she was still alive. Furthermore, her internal organs had been restored, and a tingling sensation was emanating from her broken leg, indicating signs of recovery. You are awake. Upon noticing Zhu Wuqing's awakening, the fox spirit ceased her cultivation. Thank you for saving me. Looking at the stunning beauty before her, Zhu Wuqing felt a stirring of emotion for the first time. I merely brought you back. The one who truly saved you is my master. Instantly, a cold and enchanting face appeared in Zhu Wuqing's mind. She had never imagined that the one who saved her would be the boy she had always called an ant. Can I meet him? I want to thank him in person and also apologize for my early... My master does not wish to see you, but he asked me to convey a message. Come to see him when you have comprehended your path. My master said all beings suffer, and only through self-liberation can one find peace. Cultivation is half mundane and half serene. Life is half awareness and half acceptance. Even the gods should not only possess vast mountains and rivers, they should also harbor ephemeral beings in their hearts. Zhu Wuqing fell silent. She had only forgotten that she too was once a part of all beings. How ridiculous that she had lived 2 lives, yet could not comprehend as much as a small qi refinement stage cultivator. Thank you for your guidance, fairy. I'll please convey to your master that Zhu Wuqing has learned. My master also said the emotionless empress attained enlightenment, young, wild, and unrestrained. All things have their fate. Only life is unpredictable. Understanding life leads to freedom. Zhu Wuqing was shaken. Could Xiao Sanjin truly have anticipated her inner conflicts? Was he really just a qi refinement stage ant? Seeing Zhu Wuqing silent, the fox spirit said no more and exited the thatched cottage. In the following days, Zhu Wuqing found it hard to eat and sleep. She unexpectedly saw her old rival Bai Yu break through from early foundation establishment to the peak of foundation establishment. The woman who occasionally conversed with her had become even more terrifying, having advanced from late foundation establishment to mid-golden core stage. Even though Zhu Wuqing had lived 2 lives, she had never witnessed such a rapid breakthrough speed. Sister Xianer, may I ask a question? Zhu Wuqing ultimately could not suppress her curiosity. You may ask. The fox spirit naturally knew what Zhu Wuqing wanted to inquire, as everything was within Xiao Sanjin's calculations. Sister Xianer, why is your and Bai Yu's breakthrough speed so astonishing? As far as I know, even if one's talent is rated 10 stars and the cultivation method is of imperial grade, such a rapid breakthrough speed is unheard of, right? What if the cultivation method exceeds the imperial grade? The fox spirit retorted, leaving Zhu Wuqing momentarily bewildered. Isn't the highest grade cultivation method in the Jiuxiao Continent imperial grade? Why would there be talk of surpassing imperial grade? But if their cultivation methods did not exceed imperial grade, how could one explain the rapid breakthrough speeds of the fox spirit and Bai Yu? Sister Xianer, does he still refuse to see me? The he in Zhu Wuqing's words referred to Xiao Sanjin, who had been meticulously plotting against her. My master said he is very displeased with your behavior these days, so he does not intend to see you. A wry smile appeared on Zhu Wuqing's face. Was this how she viewed? Now wanting to see the ant had become a difficult task. Zhu Wuqing, can you stand? You seem to be recovering well. I'll come, let me practice with you. After observing Zhu Wuqing's tragic state for days, Bai Yu no longer found her as detestable. Moreover, their years of fighting were merely due to both possessing exceptional talent with neither willing to yield. It was merely a competition, not a deep-seated hatred. Evidently, there had been no clear victor in their past life, but this time she had won. Bai Yu, I did not lose to you, rather I lost to your master. Without him, you would not necessarily be stronger than me. Bai Yu smiled gracefully, saying, being able to have a good master is also my ability. Xianer, please don't bully Wuqing anymore. She is rather pitiable now, having lost an arm and marred her beauty. The fox spirit defended Zhu Wuqing. It's no big deal. Let her go, plead with master. He's so capable. Surely there are pills for rejuvenating limbs and restoring beauty. Zhu Wuqing had considered Bai Yu's proposal, but she had no chance to see Xiao Sanjin, so how could she ask for medicine? Seemingly reading Zhu Wuqing's predicament, Bai Yu added, what? You cannot meet my master. Then just kneel outside his door, perhaps he will soften and help you restore your lost limb, or even take you as a disciple. Zhu Wuqing looked at the thatched cottage where Xiao Sanjin resided, determination gleaming in her eyes. She no longer cared that her leg had not fully healed, and walked straight to Xiao Sanjin's door, kneeling down with a thud. Wuqing beseeches the senior to take her as a disciple. Zhu Wuqing knocked her head to the ground, her attitude extremely sincere. But after knocking 3 times, there was no response from inside the thatched cottage. Zhu Wuqing felt a tinge of dissatisfaction. She had already knelt, yet Xiao Sanjin still refused to see her. However, thinking about how she would have nowhere to go after leaving this place, and recalling Bai Yu and the fox spirit's rapid breakthrough speeds, she suppressed the urge to rise. Zhu Wuqing knelt for 3 days, her heart wavering. Had she truly missed the best opportunity to become a disciple? Would she ultimately perish at the hands of the people of the Hanbing sect? Could it be? During this time, every move Zhu Wuqing made was observed by Xiao Sanjin, who was quite pleased with her changes. Now that Zhu Wuqing had been kneeling for 3 days, her once sharp edges had been nearly worn away. If Xiao Sanjin did not appear soon, he truly feared that this precious experience would run away. With a creak, the door of the thatched cottage opened. Seeing Xiao Sanjin's enchanting and handsome face, Zhu Wuqing felt a long-lost sense of nervousness. Zhu Wuqing, entering my Jiuxiao sect means all beings are equal. You are no longer the aloof, emotionless empress of the past. Are you willing to abandon the identity of the empress? Wuqing is willing to abandon the past and start anew. Zhu Wuqing, entering my Jiuxiao sect means intertwining with great karma. If one day the sect faces difficulties, are you willing to lead the charge? Even if I die on the battlefield, Wuqing will uphold the glory of Jiuxiao sect. Zhu Wuqing, entering my Jiuxiao sect means that fellow disciples must not harm each other or plot against one another. Can you do this? Zhu Wuqing hesitated for a moment, saying, I cannot do that. Why? Xiao Sanjin fixed his gaze on Zhu Wuqing. If anyone betrays the sect, I will definitely eradicate them. Indeed, since you have comprehended the suffering of all beings, I shall grant you a high-grade Xianpin, small healing pill. After consuming it, not only will it restore your appearance, but it can also regenerate your lost limb. Disciple Zhu Wuqing thanks her master. Go, and once you have restored your physical form, I will teach you the cultivation method. After receiving the small healing pill, Zhu Wuqing bowed 3 times to Xiao Sanjin before returning to her thatched cottage. Seeing that she only had 200 points of fortune value left, Xiao Sanjin felt an immense heartache. To save Zhu Wuqing, he had spent a total of 4,800 points of fortune value on medicine. I really hope that the items provided by the system will not disappoint me. Ding ding, congratulations to the host for successfully accepting the disciple Zhu Wuqing, earning a 10-star disciple package. Cultivation, level 9 layers. Earth level advanced martial art, 1 finger breaks the void 1. Heaven level advanced martial art, flying to the sky 1. Divine level skill supreme, forgetting emotion technique 1. The host's cultivation has been automatically merged, and the current cultivation level is refining chi level 55. The techniques 1 finger breaks the void and flying to the sky have been automatically learned to perfection. Please pass the supreme forgetting emotion technique to the disciple Zhu Wuqing as soon as possible. Refining chi level 55. Xiao Sanjin finally felt a sense of safety. This level was enough to rival those in the mid-stage of void refinement. While he couldn't claim to be invincible within the entire Gantang County, at least he could walk confidently in Yongzhou. As Xiao Sanjin knew, within Yongzhou there were only 3 2-star sects: the Hanbing sect, the Lihua sect, and the Tianji Pavilion. The rest were either 1-star sects or 1-star families. To become a 2-star sect, there must be at least 5 nascent soul level experts within the sect. This means that the most powerful individuals in Yongzhou are openly at the nascent soul stage. Even if someone were hiding to become the 6th, their cultivation would at most be at the divine transformation stage, and compared to him, who could battle at the mid-stage of void refinement, there was still a considerable gap. Thus Xiao Sanjin felt it was time to take a walk outside Jiuxiao City. Master, those guys from the Hanbing sect are so annoying, blocking our sect's entrance every day. Bai Yuyu's dissatisfied voice interrupted Xiao Sanjin's thoughts. Having successfully accepted Zhu Wuqing as a disciple, Xiao Sanjin would not allow the Hanbing sect members to block his doorstep any longer. Don't you like to fight? Others are blocking our door, why don't you attack them? Master, they have 2 mid-stage golden core guys, and as a small foundation establishment expert, I would be at a disadvantage. It's just mid-stage golden core. Your senior sister has just broken through to the late golden core stage today. You can call her to assist you. Bai Yuyu's eyes lit up. How could she forget about Hu Xianer? After all, she was her senior sister. Who else could she rely on? With Xiao Sanjin's permission, Bai Yuyu knocked on Hu Xianer's door. Senior sister, master wants you to take me to fight. Hu Xianer looked at the bouncing Bai Yuyu, wondering if this girl was a devil. How could she phrase going to fight so smoothly? Master, this. Hu Xianer hesitated. She had never killed anyone before. Xianer, they have bullied us to our doorstep. As the senior sister, you indeed should take your junior sister to maintain our sect's reputation. Xianer accepts the mission. Having been closed off for too long without looking at the road, Xiao Sanjin worried that Hu Xianer might become detached from reality. She needed practical combat experience. Hey, you dog thieves, you dare to block the entrance of my sect. Hurry up and send your heads to me. Bai Yuyu stood with her hands on her hips, fully embodying a little dog heads. Where did the dog heads come from? The members of the Hanbing sect momentarily did not react. Oh, you foolish dogs, your intelligence is worrying. You don't even realize you are dogs. Brother Yang, this which is insulting us. A disciple from the Hanbing sect reported to the leader. The man known as Brother Yang's face turned ashen. If Bai Yuyu was speaking so directly, how could he still not understand? Little Six, you are indeed clever. Brother Yang kicked Little Six in the backside, sending him sprawling on the ground. Then he stared intently at Bai Yuyu. This girl had fair skin, long black hair, and was pure and beautiful, captivating anyone who looked at her. He had never encountered such a stunning beauty before. even her scolding was adorable. Beautiful girl, what future do you have in this broken sect? Why not follow me? I promise you will live a life of luxury. Most importantly, I will let you know what it means to desire life and death. A life is worth living. Bai did not get angry. Over the years, many had coveted her body, and while there were not 1,000, there were at least 800. All of them were now buried under towering. You fancy me, huh? Your taste is not bad. How about this? If you can withstand one of my strikes, I will personally deliver myself to your doorstep. Did you really say that? No regrets. Brother Yang was intrigued. He and Bai Yu were both at the peak of foundation establishment. Could he not withstand once a word is spoken, even 8 horses cannot chase it? Good. Brother Yang stepped aside, assuming a defensive stance. Then I will begin. Watch me. Bai Yu unleashed a blade's aura, aiming directly at Brother Yang. Is that all? Brother Yang casually released a stream of spiritual energy to intercept the blade's aura. However, the blade's aura unleashed by Bai Yu shifted its target, no longer aiming for Brother Yang's leg, but for his eyes. Oh no. Brother Yang wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. All my eyes are blind. Would you trick me? Blood streamed from his eyes. From then on, no beauty would ever catch his eye again. Would you dare to blind Brother Yang's eyes? My Hanbing sect will not let you go. Brothers, capture her alive and make her Brother Yang's plaything. With a shout from Little Six, the members of the Hanbing sect immediately surrounded Bai Yu. Onion. I love that because I can take on all of you at once, making it easier to wipe you out. A surge of black energy emanated from Bai Yu, condensing beneath her feet into a black lotus. Ethereal flower bloom. The black lotus beneath her feet transformed into countless black petals, piercing the bodies of the Hanbing sect members. Those who were lucky would die instantly, while those who were unfortunate would be cut dozens of times by the petals before finally succumbing. I am not in my past life. My killing methods have grown rusty. Looking at the members of the Hanbing sect lying in pools of blood, Bai Yu seemed somewhat unsatisfied. Would you dare to slaughter my Hanbing sect disciples? I will ensure you die a miserable death. Han Mo and Han Xin, feeling bored outside the Jiuxiao gate, went into Jiuxiao City to chat with a few courtesans about life, only to return to witness the near-total slaughter of their sect's disciples. You two just returned. How unfortunate. I am tired, so let's battle another day. Bai Yu was not foolish. She swiftly escaped into the Jiuxiao yell. Which come out. Let me kill you. If I don't kill you, how can I explain to the sect? Han Mo, a tall man, was squatting on the ground, crying uncontrollably. With the sect's disciples slaughtered, if they couldn't capture the murderer, wouldn't he be flayed alive upon returning to the sect? You want an explanation? Killing me is hopeless. Why not try her? Bai Yu stuck out her fragrant tongue, pointing at Huxiener, who had flown out of the formation on her sword. Golden Core stage. Han Mo looked at Huxiener in surprise. He clearly remembered that this girl had only reached the late foundation establishment stage not long ago. How had she become a Golden Core powerhouse? But even if Huxiener had broken through to Golden Core, how could she be their match? Han Xin didn't wait for Han Mo to signal. He immediately blocked Huxiener's escape route, as if fearing she would flee back into the formation. Little girl, if we can't catch the witch, we can only take you back to explain. If you want to catch me, feel free to try. Huxiener unleashed her full Golden Core latest stage power, scaring Han Mo and Han Xin into a daze. What the hell is this, a magic show? How did her cultivation jump so rapidly? It must be fake. How could such a young Golden Core latest stage practitioner exist in Yongzhou? Xin, don't be cowardly. This girl is definitely not a Golden Core latest stage powerhouse. Han Mo encouraged. Brother Mo, you are right. Let's just do it. Unfortunately, after just a few exchanges, Han Xin was already pinned under Huxiener's foot. Brother Mo, this girl's cultivation is real. Save me. Xin, you take a moment. I will go summon a powerful sect member. Every man for himself, and the devil takes the hindmost. Han Mo fled faster than a rabbit, leaving only Han Xin lying on the ground, utterly bewildered. Was this the good brother who had always sworn to live and die together? How could he just abandon him and run? Han Mo, come back, and save me. No matter how Han Xin called out, Han Mo did not look back. Fairy, I am a good man, please spare me. Since Han Mo would not save him, Han Xin could only beg Fox Fairy. Seeing Han Zin's pitiful and helpless gaze, Fox Fairy was about to raise her leg and let him go. But the next moment, blood splattered before Fox Fairy's eyes and Han Zin's head was severed from his body. Senior sister, mercy to an enemy is cruelty to yourself. Bai Yu sheathed her blade, as if taking Han Zin's life was merely a trivial matter. He had no strength left to resist. He was begging for mercy. Why did you still kill him? Senior sister, I am kind by nature, but the world has grown treacherous. Look what is in his hand. Fox Fairy looked at the 5-inch dagger in Han Zin's hand, and her heart turned cold. Had Bai Yu not acted in time, she would have been the one to suffer. Thank you, junior sister. Though Fox Fairy was kind, she was not foolish. Senior sister, the sky can be measured, the earth can be weighed, but only the human heart is unfathomable. On the path of cultivation, one cannot afford to be overly compassionate. Once an enemy is made, there must be no lingering threat. In her past life, Bai Yu was the Demon Emperor, so her decisiveness in killing was unmatched. Senior sister will surely remember junior sister Yu's words today. Fox Fairy humbly clasped her hands to Bai Yu. The latter refused to accept it, and immediately supported Fox Fairy's jade-like hands. Senior sister, we are family, no need for thanks. Bai Yu's words were barely spoken when her aura became turbulent, sometimes overflowing with spiritual energy, sometimes shrouded in demonic chi. Senior sister, I am about to form my core. Quickly fetch master. Bai Yu knew that forming her core would bring a tribulation, so she could only hope for Xiao Sanjin to help her should something go wrong. Master has been with you all along. Before Fox Fairy could contact Xiao Sanjin, he appeared beside Bai Yu like a ghost. Xiao Sanjin had been watching over Fox Fairy and Bai Yu, anticipating that they might encounter trouble with the Cold Ice Sect's disciples, but he never expected to witness Bai Yu's breakthrough to the Golden Core stage. Master, I entrust this to you. Bai Yu, the esteemed Demon Emperor, felt an inexplicable sense of relief when she saw Xiao Sanjin, who was only at the chi refining stage. Rest assured and condense your core. Your master is here for you. Though Xiao Sanjin said this, he was uncertain inside. First, he had no experience with Golden Core breakthroughs. Second, even Bai Yu, the Demon Emperor, found this issue troublesome, and he feared his meager cultivation of level 55 chi refining would not suffice. Master, junior sister Yu's spiritual energy is diminishing. What should we do? Fox Fairy warned. Seeing Bai Yu on the verge of falling into demonic possession, Xiao Sanjin was at a loss and could only turn to the system. System, how can I help Bai Yu? System, Bai Yu is too bloodthirsty, as she can only fall into demonic possession and cultivate demonic chi. What will be the final outcome if Bai Yu falls into demonic possession? System, she will become a villain, a stepping stone for the child of fortune, and eventually be slain by him. Damn system, I asked, how can I help Bai Yu? Don't change the system. After a 2-second pause, Xiao Sanjin realized the system had led him astray. The system was silent for a moment before replying. The shop has a heart entry card for sale. The host can use it to enter Bai Yu's inner world and face the inner demon together. However, failure may cost the host his life. I advise you, damn host, to think twice before acting. Xiao Sanjin opened the system shop and saw the heart entry card cost exactly 200 luck points. Without further thought, he bought it. Holding the card in his hand, he hesitated. He had taken Bai Yu as a disciple only because she met the system's conditions for accepting disciples, with no other reason. If he entered Bai Yu's inner world to fight the inner demon with her, he might lose his life, which would go against his original intention, wouldn't it? But regardless of his initial intention, Bai Yu was now his disciple. Could he stand by and watch her fall into demonic possession only to be killed by the child of fortune one day? Xiao Sanjin sighed. He was never cold-blooded enough to be a proper villain. Sienna, if I don't wake up, remember to take good care of yourself. Xiao Sanjin gazed affectionately at Fox Fairy, then took Bai Yu's delicate hand, interlacing their fingers. The moment their fingers locked, the heart entry card vanished between their palms, and the demonic chi from Bai Yu instantly enveloped Xiao Sanjin. Time passed unknown. Xiao Sanjin appeared before a simple, unadorned village where smoke rose from chimneys, dogs barked, and cocks crowed, and streams and mountains formed a picturesque scene. Children played at the village entrance, and an old man sold candied hawthorns, a true picture of peace and prosperity. Xiao Sanjin immediately spotted a lively little girl. For the little girl was none other than a younger version of Bai Yu. Xiao Sanjin bought a stick of candied hawthorns and offered it to her. She blinked her bright eyes and said, "Brother, thank you, but mother said I shouldn't accept things from strangers." Brother is not a stranger. I know your name is Bai Yu. How can someone who knows your name be a stranger? Brother knows Yu's name, so brother isn't a stranger. The candied hawthorn is delicious. Yu wants more. Xiao Sanjin held Bai Yu in his arms and bought several more sticks of candied hawthorns, leaving her lips covered in the sweet fragrance. Brother, look. Fire is falling from the sky. Xiao Sanjin looked at the sea of fire in the sky, which seemed capable of incinerating everything, and felt his scalp tingle. One finger shatters mountains and rivers. One finger breaks the void. Even as Xiao Sanjin unleashed his two strongest strikes, they crumbled in an instant before the sea of fire. Soaring flight. Xiao Sanjin leaped into the air only to watch helplessly as the village was engulfed by the sea of fire. Father, mother, Xiaohua. Gone. All dead. Bai Yu wept bitterly in Xiao Sanjin's arms until she fainted. A day later, with a scream, she woke up crying from her dream. Sanjin Jej, my father is dead, my mother is dead, everyone in the village is dead. Now only Yu is left alone. Sobbing again and again, fainting repeatedly, the once chubby Bai Yu grew thinner day by day, until she was nothing but skin and bones, breaking Xiao Sanjin. Months later, Bai Yu's health slowly recovered, but her face never again wore an innocent smile. Sanjin Jej, Yu has to go. The strong ones from the Earth Demon Palace say, I am very suited to their cultivation techniques, so I must go to the Earth Demon Palace to cultivate. Yu must take revenge. Xiao Sanjin wanted to persuade her not to be consumed by hatred, but he could not bring himself to speak. Having never walked in another's shoes, how could he urge forgiveness? 10 years later, Xiao Sanjin remained the same youthful lad, while Bai Yu was cloaked in demonic qi and covered in wounds. Sanjin, they say the Earth Demon Palace is a demonic sect, an evil cult. They slaughtered all its millions of followers. The palace is piled with bones and blood flows like water. They are so cruel, Yu is so scared. In Xiao Sanjin's arms, Bai Yu shed 2 streams of bloody tears until she went blind. Though Xiao Sanjin's heart burned with anger, he lacked the power to act. 3 years later, Bai Yu's sight was restored, and she resumed her path of cultivation and vengeance. 100 years later, to avenge herself, Bai Yu slaughtered an entire sect of 10,000 people, becoming the common enemy of the righteous path and forced to. A millennium later, Bai Yu discovered that the one who burned the village and destroyed the Earth Demon Palace was the Heartless Emperor. 5,000 years later, Bai Yu attained enlightenment through slaughter and was titled the Nine Nether Demon Emperor. On the day of her coronation, Bai Yu alone with her blade struck such fear into the hearts of the Heartless Palace that no one dared to fight. She forced the Heartless Emperor, who was in seclusion, to emerge early and face her. That battle was a breathtaking clash, shattering mountains and rivers, darkening the heavens and the earth. In the end, Bai Yu was no match for the Heartless Emperor and perished, her body even chopped up and fed to the dogs by the Heartless Palace. Yu. Seeing Bai Yu dismembered, Xiao Sanjin's heart ached, as if twisted, and 2 lines of tears streamed unbidden from his eyes. At the same moment, the space around him collapsed, leaving him floating in a void. Trapped in an endless expanse of pitch-black darkness, Xiao Sanjin was as insignificant as a speck of dust, as if he could never escape the gloom in his life. Drip drip. In the dark void, Xiao Sanjin followed the trajectory of his own tears as they flew away, and he saw a glimmer of light. With light came hope. Following the path where his tears flew, Xiao Sanjin lost track of how long he had walked. Perhaps 10 years, perhaps a century, or even longer. The tears drifted into a village with curling smoke and landed in the hands of a 5- or 6-year-old girl. Gazing at the tear in her palm, the lively and adorable little girl burst into a downpour of tears. Yu. Xiao Sanjin tentatively called out. The little girl abruptly looked up and threw herself into Xiao Sanjin's arms. Sanjin Gij, I want to eat candied hawthorns. All right, Sanjin Gij will buy them. Amid the fragrant aroma of candied hawthorns, the little girl's delicate form gradually grew larger. Her chest swelled into towering peaks, her once short legs became slender and long, and her rosy little face transformed into one of breathtaking beauty. Yu. Xiao Sanjin started to speak, but his mouth was sealed by a pair of soft crimson lips. This kiss seemed to span from the revival of all life to the end of time. Bai Yu gazed tenderly at Xiao Sanjin and said, Sanjin Gij, in this life my heart was filled with vengeance, leaving no room for you who accompanied me for 5,000 years. If there is a next life, when my hair grows long enough to touch my waist, will you marry me? Humans are not made of wood or stone. Who can be devoid of emotion? Even if it was an illusion, it was still 5,000 years of companionship. Perhaps because he was within Bai Yu's heart, influenced by her emotions, Xiao Sanjin, as if possessed, replied with a single word. Yes. Bai Yu smiled a radiant and sincere smile. In the 5,000 years Xiao Sanjin had accompanied her, he had never seen such a sweet expression on her face. At the same time, the village with curling smoke vanished, and Xiao Sanjin and Bai Yu appeared in a flower garden. The garden was a riot of color, with myriad blossoms in full bloom, butterflies dancing lightly, and birds pairing up. Sanjin Gij, the Yu of the past, only had hatred in her heart. The Yu from now on will only have you. Until the seas dry up and the rocks crumble, I will love you forever. With that, Bai Yu impetuously kissed Xiao Sanjin's lips. Now Xiao Sanjin was troubled. How many times would this damn Bai Yu kiss him before she stopped? As if sensing Xiao Sanjin's feelings, Bai Yu released him. Sanjin Gij, you don't belong here, do you? Xiao Sanjin was startled. Bai Yu could actually perceive this. Remarkable. But he wouldn't admit it out loud. Sanjin Gij, don't be afraid. Whether I am the bloodthirsty Nine Nether Demon Sovereign, or the lively and sweet Bai Yu in the future, I will only... Looking at Bai Yu's face full of tenderness, Xiao Sanjin wanted to ask if she had gone mad. But he dared not, fearing that if he dared to refute, she would make him stay here forever. A graceful lady is a gentleman's pursuit. Yu's willingness to marry Sanjin Gij is Sanjin Gij's blessing. Xiao Sanjin extended his strong arms and pulled Bai Yu into his embrace. Bai Yu enjoyed Xiao Sanjin's gentleness for a long time before saying, Sanjin Gij, you've been here long enough. Let me take you to meet someone. With a single step, the scene shifted, and Xiao Sanjin and Bai Yu appeared on a lush green grassland. Not far away sat a youthful and beautiful girl, but her body was shrouded in dense demonic energy. Bai Yu. Which one is the real you? Xiao Sanjin looked at the mature Bai Yu before him, then at the demonic energy-shrouded girl Bai Yu, his face full of questions. Sanjin Gij, don't be puzzled. I am the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign, also the Bai Yu of the past, and moreover Bai Yu's inner demon. The girl before you is the Bai Yu of this life. Damn it. Xiao Sanjin stepped back a few paces. He had been with Bai Yu's inner demon for 5,000 years. This was the decisive and ruthless Nine Nether Demon Sovereign, would she just slice him up with a single blade? Sanjin Gij, are you afraid? The Nine Nether Demon Sovereign stared at Xiao Sanjin with a faint smile. No, not at all. Xiao Sanjin lied through his teeth. Seeing Xiao Sanjin's awkwardness, the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign smiled gently. Sanjin Gij, you accompanied Yu for 5,000 years, and I have never seen you in such a state. Seeing it today, I realize that Sanjin Gij is just an ordinary person after all, not the mysterious existence that even I, upon attaining the Tao and becoming an emperor, could not see through. Had the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign spied on him? Why was he completely unaware? A strong sense of crisis arose in Xiao Sanjin's heart. He was still too. Sanjin Gij, you knows you are different from ordinary people. Your mystery is far beyond what the emperor realm can fathom. But no matter who you are Yu Sanjin Gij. To you, accompanying me for 5,000 years may be just a chapter in your life, but to me it has been my entire existence. So in this life Yu will always be with you, never leaving nor forsaking you. After speaking, the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign flicked 3 drops of tears from her slender jade-like fingers. Xiao Sanjin naturally recognized his own tears, but wondered what the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign intended to do. As the tears seeped into the young Bai Yu's body, the demonic energy that had enveloped her suddenly diminished, then converged on her left side, while her right side gradually began to accumulate spiritual energy. Finally, the demonic energy and spiritual energy achieved a state of equilibrium, and above Bai Yu's head a dual-colored golden core of black and gold began to slowly form. Seeing that Bai Yu was out of danger, the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign looked solemnly at Xiao Sanjin and said, Sanjin Gij, Yu is leaving. You must remember your promise. When my hair grows long enough to touch my waist, marry me. Before Xiao Sanjin could say anything, the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign merged with Bai Yu, and Xiao Sanjin was expelled from Bai Yu's heart. Within the Nine Heavens sect, Xiao Sanjin slowly opened his eyes and exhaled a heavy breath of turbid air. Now he finally understood why the system had said that entering Bai Yu's heart would be a matter of life and death. Because the scenes within Bai Yu's heart were all at her whim. Master, are you alright? Seeing Xiao Sanjin open his eyes, Huxiener quickly stepped forward to ask. I'm fine. Xiao Sanjin said he was fine, but he was still shaken. If he hadn't built a good relationship with the Nine Nether Demon Sovereign from the start, and without the guidance of those tears, he might have been trapped forever in Bai Yu's inner demon. Huxiener, how long was your master in slumber, and did anything happen during this time? Master, you slept for half a day. During this time, junior sister, Yu's demonic energy grew stronger at first, but just half an hour before you woke up it suddenly decreased, and retreated to her left side. After balancing with the spiritual energy on her right, Yu began to condense her golden core. However, junior sister, Yu's golden core is strange. Half gold and half black, unheard of. Huxiener's account matched what Xiao Sanjin had seen in Bai Yu's heart, allowing him to breathe a sigh of relief. Since Bai Yu was out of danger, Xiao Sanjin no longer needed to hold her delicate hand. If she woke up and found him touching her, she might come at him with a big knife. But when Xiao Sanjin tried to let go, he found his hand firmly clasped by Bai Yu. What's going on? Had this girl woken up? When Xiao Sanjin looked at Bai Yu's pretty face, he met a pair of lively big eyes. Sanjin Gij. Bai Yu called out affectionately, ignoring whether Huxiener was nearby, and directly hugged Xiao Sanjin. Before he could react, she pressed her soft crimson lips again. Startled, Xiao Sanjin finally came to his senses and pushed Bai Yu away. Disobedient disciple, are you trying to attack your master? A sly gleam flickered across Bai Yu's face. Third Jin brother, you wouldn't possibly devour me clean and then refuse to acknowledge it, would you? Xiao Sanjin glared at Bai Yu in exasperation. Wicked girl, I haven't done anything to you, don't you dare frame me. Then trouble master to tell me himself, during the inner demon tribulation, how many times did you hold Yu? And how many times did you kiss Yu? Xiao Sanjin's face darkened and he barked sternly. Bai Yu, stop this nonsense at once, or he'll spank your bottom. As long as third Jin brother can bring himself to do it, go ahead and spank. Bai Yu, with utter disregard for decorum, directly thrust her bottom toward Xiao. Faced with Bai Yu's shameless antics, Xiao Sanjin was utterly helpless. If she were afraid, he could still intimidate her, but with her being as thick-skinned as a dead pig, unafraid of scalding water, what point was there in striking her? Yu, although during your inner demon tribulation, I did hold you. Oh no, I held was not you, but the Netherworld Demon Emperor, so don't try to frame me. Third Jin brother, the Netherworld Demon Emperor, is an inner demon, yet also Yu. I participated in every experience you shared with the Netherworld Demon Emperor. This, Xiao Sanjin was left speechless and could only say, I suddenly recall there are urgent matters. Oh, let's discuss our affairs another day. Having spent 5,000 years with Bai Yu's inner demon, Xiao Sanjin knew her temperament like the back of his hand. Reasoning with her was futile even if he had Watching Xiao Sanjin flee back up the mountain in disarray, a smile blossomed on by Yuyu's face. She had lived a solitary life in her previous incarnation. In this life, it would be wonderful to have someone like Xiao Sanjin as her Dao companion. Junior sister Yuyu, what happened between you and Master? I feel like he's somewhat afraid of you. Husiena looked puzzled. Bai Yuyu said mysteriously, Senior sister, you might have to call me mistress from now on. Junior sister Yuyu, what happened between you and Master? I feel like he's somewhat afraid of you. Husiena looked puzzled. Bai Yuyu said mysteriously, Senior. Then Bai Yuyu recounted to Husiena her experiences with Xiao Sanjin within the inner demon world, embellishing certain parts. After listening, Husiena expressed deep sympathy for Bai Yuyu's past life experiences. But when she heard that Xiao Sanjin had agreed to marry Bai Yuyu, her expression turned extremely sour. That damned Xiao Sanjin hasn't even married me yet. How dare he agree to marry Bai Yuyu? That won't do. Yuyu Master has some serious issues. He often talks nonsense, so his words can't be trusted. As if afraid Bai Yuyu wouldn't believe her, Husiena recounted Xiao Sanjin's deeds over the years with embellishment and only picked out the shameful ones. Bai Yuyu was taken aback after hearing it all, but she quickly let it go because in her inner demon tribulation, Xiao Sanjin was a very mysterious person who would say cryptic, incomprehensible things that was nothing major. Senior sister, regardless of what kind of person third gene brother is, Yuyu loves him, and in this life, I will only marry him. Husiena was utterly speechless. All she had said to Bai Yuyu seemed to have been in vain. If this girl was hell-bent on marrying Xiao Sanjin, then who would she marry? She had raised Xiao Sanjin herself. How could she let Bai Yuyu have him so easily? Yuyu, to tell you the truth, actually, third gene and I were betrothed in childhood. Only Bai Yuyu and Xiao Sanjin knew what happened in the inner demon tribulation, and whether she and Xiao Sanjin were betrothed was known only to Husiena herself. At that time, she could just make up an excuse to fool Xiao Sanjin, and wouldn't he become her child husband? What? Senior sister, are you sure you're not joking? Bai Yuyu's face was full of disbelief. Yuyu, how could senior sister possibly deceive you? If you don't believe me, we can go confront Master face to face. Fine, let's go ask Master. Nine Cloud Mountain was not large, and since both Husiena and Bai Yuyu were at the Golden Core stage, they quickly flew to Xiao Sanjin's third gene brother. Senior sister says you and she were betrothed in childhood. Upon hearing this, Xiao Sanjin, who was in meditation, nearly lost his Dao heart. He had been betrothed to Husiena as a child, and he didn't even know about it. Husiena, don't join Yuyu in her nonsense. When was I ever betrothed to you as a child? Xiao Sanjin walked out of the room and stared at Husiena in exasperation. Xiao Sanjin, before you entered the Nine Cloud sect, that old fool said the future junior brother would be Siener's child husband. Later, when you joined the sect, you naturally became Siener's child husband. That was the old fool's personal promise. What? Xiao Sanjin, are you trying to defy the old fool's words? Husiena was throwing caution to the wind, lying without a hint of a blush, speaking as if it. Xiao Sanjin was half convinced and asked suspiciously, words are empty, do you have any proof? Husiena feigned anger and said, Xiao Sanjin, you're something else, actually asking me for proof. Then let me ask you, if you didn't think you were my child husband, why would I have raised you with such hardship since I was 12 years old? Xiao Sanjin had no rebuttal, but why hadn't he ever heard that old fool mention this matter? But considering that old fool's unreliable nature, Xiao Sanjin couldn't rule out the possibility that he had found a child husband for Husiena. But if that were the case, wouldn't Husiena become his fiancée? Alas, what a sin. He had only helped Bai Yuyu through an inner demon tribulation, and now he had two fiancées. How could this be resolved? Husiena, can we call off the childhood betrothal? Xiao Sanjin tested the waters. Xiao Sanjin, you dare say that again? Husiena's jade hand had already rested on the Junyu's sword, as if she would strike Xiao Sanjin down if he dared to say call it off again. Xiao Sanjin stepped back a few paces, then looked at Bai Yuyu and said, Yuyu, you also know that what I said during your inner demon tribulation doesn't count. With a clang, the great blade was drawn, and Bai Yuyu cleaved the stone stool in front of her with one stroke. Third gene brother, my great blade is rather parched for. Damn it, his senior disciple threatened him, and now his second disciple was also threatening him. Did he as their master have no dignity left? Fine, you two are something else, both forcing your master to be your Dao companion, are you? You both think your master is easy to bully, rebellious wretches. I. Xiao Sanjin repeated I for ages, but couldn't muster a single harsh. What can you do? Are you going to kill us both? Husiena and Bai Yuyu said in unison. Faced with the two women's marriage ultimatum, Xiao Sanjin was powerless to refute. But he could make them back off. Two rebellious disciples, I'll tell you the truth. I have an enemy 10,000 times stronger than an emperor. If you're not afraid of being swatted to death, feel free to stay by my side and try it. Husiena didn't believe Xiao Sanjin's words at all. This fellow hadn't left Nine Cloud Mountain in 10 years. Where could he have an enemy? Xiao Sanjin, don't you have a lamer? Bai Yuyu, however, smiled radiantly and said, Third gene brother, Yuyu believes your words, but no matter what, Yuyu will stay by your side, unwavering until. Xiao Sanjin and Hu Xianer both stared at Bai Yu in astonishment. Was this girl serious? Bearing their gazes with composure, Bai Yu stepped forward and linked her arm with Xiao Sanjin, saying, "Third Gene brother, if you're worried that your enemy is too powerful and might implicate Yu one day, don't be. Yu has died before him, not afraid of death. But I lived alone for 5,000 years in my past life. I fear loneliness, and I fear a future without you by my side." In both his lives, Xiao Sanjin had never had a girl express her love to him so directly. Faced with Bai Yu's assault, he was completely defenseless. You're too young. Well, let's discuss this when you're older. Has Third Gene brother promised to marry Yu in the future? Bai Yu pecked Xiao Sanjin on the cheek, her face brimming with happiness. Yu, when your hair reaches your waist, let's talk about marrying you, alright? If not for the threat of the heavenly Tao, Xiao Sanjin would have been eager to agree to marry Bai Yu immediately, for after 5,000 years of companionship, deep affections had long been rooted between them. Bai Yu was displeased and turned around to show off her jet black lustrous long hair. Third Gene brother, see that? Yu's hair reaches her hips. Xiao Sanjin shuddered. How could Bai Yu's hair be so long? But a gentleman's word is his bond. Naturally, Xiao Sanjin wouldn't let himself break his promise. With a single burst of spiritual energy, Bai Yu's hip-length hair was cut off at shoulder level. Yu, look, your hair only reaches your shoulders now. It's still a long way from your waist. Seeing her fallen locks, Bai Yu knew full well that Xiao Sanjin had Xiao Sanjin, you cut off my hair. He'll chop you to pieces. Knowing he was in the wrong, Xiao Sanjin naturally didn't argue. Instead, he pulled Bai Yu into his embrace. Inhaling the pleasant scent of the young girl, he took a deep breath. Yu, give your master a little more time. Once I have the strength to protect you, will you marry me? Sanjin giggled, but Yu feels you already have the strength to protect her now. Xiao Sanjin gently stroked Bai Yu's delicate face and said, be good, don't push me. Bai Yu was sensible and knew when to yield. She hummed in agreement, accepting Xiao Sanjin's words. Seeing that Xiao Sanjin had personally promised to marry Bai Yu, Hu Xianer could no longer hold back. Xiao Sanjin, you agreed to marry junior sister Yu, but what about me? As she spoke, Hu Xianer's face was full of anticipation, and a slight sweat broke out. Xiao Sanjin glanced at Bai Yu in his arms, fearing she might object to his relationship with Hu Xianer. Bai Yu smiled sweetly, extricated herself from Xiao Sanjin's embrace, took Hu Xianer's hand, and said, Sister Sienna, you mustn't bully Yu in the future. With this simple sentence, Bai Yu made her stance clear. Since he couldn't escape the bonds of beauty, why struggle in vain? Sienna, on the day I marry Yu, I will marry you as well. Hu Xianer's suspended heart finally settled. Fortunately, she had fabricated a childhood betrothal. Otherwise, she wouldn't have secured Xiao Sanjin today. Remember your words. If you dare break your promise, I will die before your eyes. Hu Xianer searched for words, but found nothing to threaten Xiao Sanjin with, so she had to resort to threatening her own life. Do you think I'm a fool to let a beauty like you slip away, eh? If you've been foolish for 10 years, who knows if you'll be foolish for a lifetime? Words were too pale and feeble, so Xiao Sanjin simply proved it with action. He walked over to Hu Xianer, lifted her chin, and fiercely kissed her crimson lips. Though inexperienced, Xiao Sanjin quickly breached Hu Xianer's defenses, greedily savoring the sweet nectar in her mouth. Suddenly attacked by Xiao Sanjin, Hu Xianer was at a loss. Only when she couldn't breathe did she blush and push him away. Xiao Sanjin, you haven't married me yet. I don't think you can take advantage of me. Hu Xianer tightly pressed against her full snowy bosom, fearing that if she let go, her racing heart would leap out of her chest. How can kissing one's fiancée be considered taking advantage? Xiao Sanjin grinned mischievously, knowing Hu Xianer was thin-skinned and shy, so he teased her. Hu Xianer buried her head deeply, not daring to look at Xiao Sanjin or speak. Xianer, can you lower your head any further? Aren't you afraid of suffocating your... Hu Xianer shot Xiao Sanjin a glare. Was he complimenting her on her towering snowy peaks? But this was too embarrassing. You rascal. Spitting in disdain, Hu Xianer shyly ran into her thatched hut. Unlike Hu Xianer, who was bashful and cautious, Bai Yu jumped straight into Xiao Sanjin's arms and said, Sanjin Gidge, let's go make a baby tonight. Xiao Sanjin nearly bit his tongue. What was all this? Although he and Bai Yu had both lived 2 lives, they were still too young now. Wasn't having a child a bit... Yu about having a child, I think we can talk about it in 10,000 or 8,000 years. Sanjin Gidge, Yu is unhappy. You don't want to have a child with Yu. How do you want her to be left alone in an empty room? Xiao Sanjin was about to explain when a booming voice came from the sky. Bai Yu, if you don't get out of Jiuxiao Mountain immediately, I will turn your Bai family into a river of blood. Bai Yu's delicate body trembled. She had already experienced the pain of losing her parents once. That heart-wrenching feeling was something she truly did not want to endure a second time. Leaving Xiao Sanjin's embrace, Bai Yu flew straight to the mountain gate. Father, mother, grandfather. Everyone close to Bai Yu was bloodily seized by the disciples of the Hanbing sect with swords pressed against their necks. Bai Yu's parents had even had an arm severed, looking utterly miserable. Demonis, you've finally shown your face. I thought you would hide on the mountain forever disregarding your family's fate. Han Emo stared at by Yu gnashing his teeth. If this woman hadn't killed the Hanbing sect disciples besieging Jiuxiao Mountain, he wouldn't have suffered the lash upon returning to the sect. You don't worry about your father or the family. Go back up the mountain. As long as you live well, your father will be content. No sooner had Bai Pujuan spoken than a sword slashed off his remaining arm. Wretch, learn to talk. You should beg for help. Beg your daughter to save you. After severing Bai Pujuan's arm, Han Mo's fury was still not quelled. He stabbed Bai Pujuan in the thigh. Father! Bai Yu cried out involuntarily and flew directly out of the range of the 9-bend Yellow River formation. Bai Yu, you fool. Ignoring his own pain, Bai Pujuan scolded Bai Yu. Demonis, you finally come out. Han Emo flew behind Bai Yu, cutting off her retreat. Han Emo, harm befalls not the family. Release my clan and I, Bai Yu, will submit to your will. Demonis, the only value of your family was to lure you out of Jiuxiao Mountain. Now that you're out, they are useless. Han Emo raised his hand, signaling the Hanbing sect disciples to kill the Bai family. Han Emo, you scoundrel. Bai Yu wanted to save them, but she was outnumbered and outmatched. Just as the Hanbing sect disciples were about to swing their swords, a powerful aura suddenly locked onto them, freezing their bodies in place. Then a series of pop sounds rang out, and their bodies exploded into a mist of blood. This sight terrified Han Emo, who immediately rushed to the side of Eld. Then he warily looked at the sky and said, "Who is it? Who dares to ambush the Hanbing sect's people? Do you have a death wish?" Han Mo's question received. Instead, a white-clad figure suddenly appeared beside Bai Yu. You go check on your family. Leave the rest to me. Earlier, when the voice called from the sky, Xiao Sanjin had hesitated for a moment, a step behind Bai Yu. He hadn't expected her to be cornered with no way out. Thank you, Sanjin Gij. Bai Yu landed beside Bai Pujuan at a loss. She didn't even dare touch him, fearing that her touch would cause him pain. Yu, my good daughter, don't cry. Your father isn't dead, yet is he? Bai Pujuan endured the excruciating pain and comforted Bai Yu. Father, it's all my fault for bringing this calamity upon you. Bai Yu was filled with self-blame. If she hadn't attacked the Hanbing sect disciples, the sect wouldn't have targeted the Bai family. Good daughter, what nonsense are you talking? To see you break through to the golden core at such a young age, your father would die without regret. Bai Pujuan's eyes were filled with relief. With Bai Yu's monstrous talent, as long as she lived, the Bai family had hope. Father! Bai Yu fell to her knees with a thud before Bai Pujuan. Good daughter, what are you doing? Don't blame yourself. Go back to the mountain quickly. The Hanbing sect has a nascent soul cultivator here. A nascent soul cultivator. Bai Yu looked at Xiao Sanjin and said, Sanjin Gij, help Yu hold off the Hanbing sect's nascent soul cultivator. Yu wants to handle the rest herself. Bai Yu wished to personally take action, and Xiao Sanjin naturally would not interfere. He merely locked on his Su Taishang, the soul nascent soul stage cultivator present, and warned, if you dare to move a single step, you die. Who was Su Taishang? As the supreme elder of the Cold Ice sect and a great cultivator at the early nascent soul stage, how could he be threatened by Xiao Sanjin, a mere chi refining cultivator? Boy, what gives you the audacity to be so disrespectful to me? Why don't you crawl over here and apologize? Su Taishang released the pressure of his early nascent soul cultivation, bearing down on Xiao Sanjin like a mountain. Xiao Sanjin's expression remained impassive as he merely uttered a single command, kneel. The originally hovering Su Taishang suddenly changed countenance, plummeting straight down his legs, sinking deep into the earth. Boy, who exactly are you? Within the Yongzhou region, there is absolutely no one like you. Xiao Sanjin was far too powerful. Even facing their own old sect master, Su Taishang had never sensed such terrifying pressure. There wasn't before, but now there is. Xiao Sanjin exuded an overwhelming dominance. Boy, do you know that I am the supreme elder of the Cold Ice sect. If you harm me, the Cold Ice sect will fight you to the death. There's no need for the Cold Ice sect to fight me to the death. I will destroy the Cold Ice sect myself. Hey boy, you do have some strength, but if you think you can touch my Cold Ice sect, you are far from enough. Enough prattle. Xiao Sanjin slapped the air from a distance, directly knocking Su Taishang unconscious. Seeing their own supreme elder so easily subdued, the fighting spirit of the Cold Ice sect members instantly vanished. Senior brothers, run. Someone shouted, and the Cold Ice sect members immediately scattered in all directions to flee. You hurt my clan and still think you can leave. Bloom, flower of the netherworld. The lotus beneath Bai Yu's feet was no longer a single shade of black. It was half gold and half black, appearing extremely. As the petals scattered, all the fleeing members were slain, with only Han Mo left alive. At this moment, Han Mo was covered in wounds, one of his thighs severed, presenting a ghastly sight. Han Mo, explain yourself. How did you know I was a member of the Bai family? For half a month, Han Mo and his group had not moved against the Bai family. It was impossible for them to suddenly launch an attack. He'll talk. It was Qing Yunzi of the Qing Yun sect who approached my Cold Ice sect members, saying that if we captured your Bai family members, you would voluntarily leave the protective formation of the Nine Firmaments sect. Qing Yunzi. A murderous intent radiated from Bai Yuyu. Enchantress, no fairy, can you spare me? I did nothing, nor did I harm anyone from your Bai family. Bai Yuyu brought her blade down, severing one of Han Mo's arms, and said, if I told you now that I did nothing, would you believe me? I believe. If the fairy is not satisfied, you can cut off my other arm as well. To save his life, Han Mo embodied the term true petty man to perfect. Your shamelessness disgusts me. With one stroke, Bai Yuyu cleaved off Han Mo's head. Third Jin brother Yuyu wants to kill one more person. Do as you please. Knowing that Bai Yuyu's anger was not yet spent, Xiao Sanjin naturally wouldn't stop her from killing Su Taishang. Bai Yuyu released her great blade, which flew directly into Su Taishang's heart. Third Jin brother, don't let his nascent soul escape. Bai Yuyu was only at the early golden core stage and could not prevent Su Taishang's nascent soul from fleeing. Don't worry, he won't get away. Xiao Sanjin grabbed the air, and a massive hand of spiritual energy instantly crushed Su Taishang's nascent soul. Third Jin brother, my clan members are wounded and maimed. Do you have a way to heal them? Bai Yuyu looked at him with eager anticipation. Unable to help the Bai family herself, she placed all her hope on Xiao Sanjin. Xiao Sanjin felt somewhat troubled. The minor returning pill in the system shop could indeed regenerate severed limbs, but it cost 600 luck points each. He currently had no luck points at all, and simply couldn't afford it. Just as Xiao Sanjin was about to apologize to Bai Yuyu, the system's lowly voice suddenly rang in his mind. Stupid host, are you foolish? Didn't you obtain an emperor-grade low-level technique, the joyful art, earlier? Since you don't intend for your disciples to cultivate it anyway, why not use it to exchange for luck points? Can the opportunities of the Child of Fortune be exchanged for luck points? Xiao Sanjin was astonished. Stupid host, some opportunities of the Child of Fortune are useless to you and your disciples. If you can't exchange them for luck points, what's the point of seizing them? To store them in a warehouse. System baby, you've come just in time. I love you to bits. Xiao Sanjin placed the joyful art into the system shop and directly exchanged it for 300 luck points. He then bought 2 minor returning pills and 20 healing pills. Although it cost 520 luck points, Xiao Sanjin didn't feel a pang of regret and directly handed the pills to Bai Yuyu. Yuyu, your parents need to take the healing pill first. Only after their injuries have somewhat recovered should they use the minor returning pill, otherwise their bodies won't be able to withstand the pill's potency. As for your other clan members, the healing pill alone will suffice. After receiving the pills, Bai Yuyu immediately distributed them to the Bai family members. They didn't stand on ceremony and took them on the spot. Seeing their condition improve, Bai Yuyu breathed a sigh of relief. She threw herself into Xiao Sanjin's arms and said, Third Jin brother, thank you. Xiao Sanjin gently tapped her nose. He too had feared that Bai Yuyu would go mad if she lost her loved ones again. Fortunately, everything was still in time. Silly girl, you are already your third Jin brother's Dao partner. There's no need to say such distant words. Bai Yuyu's heart was filled with sweetness. Xiao Sanjin's willingness to hold her in front of the Bai family members was his way of announcing their relationship to them. After taking the healing pill, Bai Pujuan and his wife's complexion improved greatly. It was estimated that within 3 days they would be able to take the minor returning pill and undergo limb regeneration. Yuyu is master, truly your Dao partner. Bai Pujuan probed. Bai Yuyu's face flushed crimson. No matter how unrestrained her nature, being held by Xiao Sanjin in front of her father still felt somewhat embarrassing. Bai Yuyu tried to leave Xiao Sanjin's embrace, but he held her tightly, and she couldn't break free. Old Bai, as you can see, Yuyu is indeed my Dao partner. As he spoke, Xiao Sanjin pulled her even closer. Third Jin brother, ease up a bit, Yuyu can hardly breathe. Feeling her push against him, Xiao Sanjin loosened his hold slightly, but still didn't let her leave his embrace. Bai Pujuan couldn't help but want to give Bai Yuyu a thumbs up for having Xiao Sanjin so thoroughly wrapped around her finger. Unfortunately, he had no hands left to type 666. Yuyu, since you have become Master's Dao partner, you must work hard and strive to bear him a child soon. Your mother was already pregnant with you at your age. Xiao Sanjin massaged his forehead. Bai Pujuan was truly Bai Yuyu's biological father. His manner of speaking was completely in line with hers. Father, don't worry about Yuyu's affairs. Focus on recovering from your injuries, and then we'll go slaughter the Qingyun sect together. Yuyu, why wait for me to heal to slaughter the Qingyun sect? Let's go today and raze it to the ground. Of course you and Master will do the fighting, and he'll be in the back shouting 666. Xiao Sanjin stared at Bai Pujuan. His father-in-law was quite interesting, and no wonder he had raised a daughter like Bai Yuyu. Master, why are you staring at me? I'm a cripple. If you and Yuyu don't take action, am I supposed to do it? Unable to argue with Bai Pujuan, Xiao Sanjin could only look at Bai Yuyu in his arms and ask, Yuyu, what do you think? Bai Yuyu gritted her silver teeth and said, let's listen to my father. Today we'll go and cut down those dogs of the Qingyun sect. Qinjiunzi had already reached the great perfection of the Golden Core stage, and Xiao Sanjin naturally felt uneasy leaving Bai Yuyu to face him alone. Thus he accompanied the Bai family as they departed from Jiuxiao Mountain. Before the gates of Qingyun's sect by Yu Yu's greatsword, empowered by spiritual energy, had extended to 30 meters in length. Blade of the Netherworld. With a single strike, she not only shattered the sect's plaque, but also cleaved the gatekeeping disciples into dust. Who dares to trespass into my Qingyun sect and harm my disciples? Within the sect, 4 figures soared out on their swords, one of them clad in a blue robe, none other than the sect master Qinjianzi. People of the Bai family. Qinjianzi instantly recognized by Pujuan and by leeching among the crowd, for they were renowned golden core experts within Jiuxiao City. Hard to miss. But now Bai Pujuan had lost both arms, bereft of his former glory. Dismissing this armless cripple, without a second glance, Qinjianzi fixed his gaze on Bai Liqing and demanded, "Brother Bai, what is the meaning of this from your family?" Bai Liqing stepped forward, glaring at Qinjianzi with fury. "Qinjianzi, you two-faced snake, who plays the saint in public and the demon in private, how dare you feign ignorance? Do you have the audacity to claim that the Bai family's impending purge by the Hanbing sect has nothing to do with you? Nothing to do with your Qingyun sect?" Qinjianzi cast another glance at the pitifully disfigured Bai Pujuan and burst into loud laughter. "Ha, Bai Liqing, since your family has already found out, I'll drop the act. I confess, it was my handiwork that brought the Hanbing sect's purge upon you. So how heavy are your losses? Has that little demoness of yours kicked the bucket yet?" Bai Liqing, seething with rage, was about to soar into the sky to battle Qinjianzi when a delicate hand held him back. "Grandfather, leave those below the golden core stage to you. They'll handle these 4. Bai Yu fixed her gaze on Qinjianzi and declared, "You treacherous cur, open your dog eyes wide and see clearly. Am I the demoness you speak of?" The Bai family's demoness. Qinjianzi was astonished. Why was Bai Yu still alive? Shouldn't she have been slain by the Hanbing sect's envoys? Had the Hanbing sect failed? Impossible, utterly impossible. The Hanbing sect was one of the few second-rank sects in Yongzhou, and this time they had even brought a nascent soul elder to Jiuxiao City. How could they have blundered? Scanning the crowd and failing to spot Xiao Sanjin, Qinjianzi breathed a sigh of relief. Though Bai Yu still lived with Xiao Sanjin absent, her survival was insignificant. The Bai family was doomed regardless. "Demoness of the Bai family, I know not how you still stand here, but it changes nothing. From this day forth the Bai family shall cease to exist in Jiuxiao City, and my Qingyun sect shall be its sole overlord." "You're quite the bluffer, aren't you? Overlord. Watch me cleave this so-called overlord with one strike." The 30-meter greatsword swung again, aiming straight for Qinjianzi's head. Is this blade a profound tier weapon? Concluding that Bai Yu's weapon was indeed of profound rank, Qinjianzi's face lit up with glee. Today he would not only annihilate the Bai family, but also claim a profound tier treasure. A truly splendid affair. Qinjianzi unleashed a surge of spiritual power, shattering Bai Yu's blade aura before closing in on her. "Demoness, a profound tier weapon is wasted in your hands. Hand it over to me. You old scoundrel, dreaming of taking my blade. How audacious." Bai Yu leaped into the sky. Early golden core stage. "Excellent, excellent. Demoness, you continue to surprise me. So young, wielding a profound tier weapon and having broken through to the early golden core stage. You must harbor a great secret. How wonderful. Once I slay you, your secrets shall be mine." Qinjianzi gazed at Bai Yu with greed, as though beholding a peerless treasure. "Your lecherous eyes disgust me, you rogue. Netherworld blossom bloom." The lotus beneath Bai Yu's feet dissolved into 1,000 petals, surging toward Qinjianzi and his sect members with deadly speed. Most of Qingyun's sect's disciples, caught off guard, had their throats slit by a single petal and perished on the spot. "Demoness, that technique of yours is impressive too. Hand it over." Azure Cloud Talon. A stream of spiritual energy flowed from Qinjianzi's palm, forming a massive cyan eagle's claw that lunged at Bai Yu. The Netherworld Blossom, being a group targeting skill, was powerless against the enormous claw. Bai Yu had no choice but to retract the blossom, gripping her greatsword with both hands as she roared, "Blade of the Netherworld." A colossal black gold blade aura extended from the sword, slashing fiercely at the oncoming claw. The shockwave from their collision sent Bai Yu crashing to the ground, while Qinjianzi merely staggered back a single zhang. The disparity in strength was plain. Moreover, Qinjianzi had 3 golden core cultivators backing him up. Deciding to conceal himself no longer, Xiao Sanjin emerged from the crowd and wrapped his arm around Bai Yu's slender waist. How could he allow that old bastard Qinjianzi to bully his woman? While holding Bai Yu, Xiao Sanjin struck a palm toward Qinjianzi and his cohorts. "Sect Master Xiao, spare me. I was wrong." Recognizing the attacker as Xiao Sanjin, Qinjianzi was seized with terror and immediately begged for mercy, but it was too late. With a single palm strike, all beneath it were reduced to bloody pulp, including Qinjianzi and the 3 golden core experts behind him. "Yu, your master has eliminated your opponents. You won't hold it against me, will you?" How could Bai Yu blame Xiao Sanjin? Instead, she clung tightly to him, planting a gentle kiss on his handsome face. Brother Sanjin worried that Yu couldn't handle them, so he took them out. For such a brother Sanjin, I love you too much to ever blame you. Kissed by Yu Yu in front of the Bai family, Xiao Sanjin's face flushed crimson. Yu Yu, there are people around. We need to maintain some decorum. Huh, people. I don't see anyone. Xiao Sanjin's lips twitched. Wasn't this girl blatantly lying through her teeth? Weren't all these people from the Bai family? I'll forget it. If Bai Yu a young woman didn't care, why should he? The two embraced for a while before Xiao Sanjin sensed something amiss. Why weren't the Bai family members pursuing the fleeing Qingyun sect disciples? Instead, they were charging into the sect grounds. Damn, these people had their eyes on the sect's treasures. Yu, can we hold each other when we get home? Otherwise, if your family loots all of Qingyun sect's wealth, we'll be eating grass from now on. Hearing this, Bai Yu immediately released Xiao Sanjin. She had no desire to eat grass. She wanted the lion's share of Qingyun sect's fortune. The two of them dashed into the sect in perfect sync, beginning to sift through the rubble. A yellow-grade mid-tier longsword worth 100,000 gold coins. Pity it's shattered. A yellow-grade high-tier protective jade pendant worth 300,000 gold coins. Also broken. Gazing at the multitude of ruined treasures, Xiao Sanjin's heart ached with regret. If only he had struck more lightly. Why did he have to destroy the sect's buildings? But alas, regret came too late. After a thorough search, the group turned the sect's ruins upside down. Though most treasures had been destroyed by Xiao Sanjin's palm, they still reaped considerable gains. Xiao Sanjin stood out the most. While others clutched one or two items, he dragged a burlap sack as massive as a small hill. Brother Sanjin, what are you doing? Yu, your master has acquired quite a few treasures. Come take a look. Xiao Sanjin opened a sack, revealing a pile of bottles and jars before everyone. Was this the same formidable figure who had obliterated the Qingyun sect's estate with a single slap? He looked more like a scavenger. And the key point was, not only did he scavenge, but he also flaunted his finds in front of others. How were they supposed to feel? Even Bai Yu couldn't help but blush. Brother Sanjin, where is your spatial ring? Why don't you store these things inside? Spatial ring? What spatial ring? Wasn't everything supposed to be carried in sacks? After a moment, Xiao Sanjin remembered that this was the Nine Heavens continent, not Earth, and changed the subject. Yu, your master, is actually a family-oriented man. Whenever I find treasures, I always entrust them to my wife for safekeeping. So I'm giving all these to you to look after. Really? Even though they were just a pile of worthless bottles and jars, hearing Xiao Sanjin say this made Bai Yu's heart feel as sweet as honey. Of course it's true. If you don't believe me, give these to old Bai as my bride price for marrying you. Bai Pujuan was about to retort that this heap of trash wasn't even fit to be a bride price for his daughter, but then he saw Bai Yu wave her delicate hand, and the bottles and jars flew into her spatial ring. Brother Sanjin, we don't need a bride price between us. Once my father recovers from his injuries, he'll ask him for a dowry. Bai Pujuan's mouth twitched. Bai Yu truly was his wonderful daughter. Not only did she refuse to give him the bottles and jars, but she also wanted a dowry. Absolutely not a single cent. A dowry, that's a great idea. We must ask for plenty. I think the spatial ring on your grandfather's hand is quite nice. How about giving that to you as part of your dowry? Everyone else had a spatial ring, but Xiao Sanjin didn't. He wanted one too. Otherwise, how embarrassing would it be to carry a sack around in the future? Brother Sanjin, I can take anything from my father, but not from my grandfather. He's already so old. How can you bear to take his spatial ring? Seeing Bai Yu's refusal, Xiao Sanjin lost some interest. Meanwhile, Bai Pujuan, standing among the crowd, was burning with rage. Bai Yu, why do you always target your father? Do you believe he'll beat you to death? Beat me? You'd need hands for that. Unable to contain himself, even without arms, Bai Pujuan still had his legs, and was about to kick Bai Yu, but someone else kicked him flying instead. You scoundrel, you dare hit my precious granddaughter. Believe he'll break your legs. Bai Liqing stood tall and proud, cursing at Bai Pujuan, whom he had just kicked, without any consideration for the fact that Bai Pujuan was still disabled. You old fool, you kicked me for this unfilial daughter. Just you wait. Just you wait. Bai Pujuan stammered, unable to finish a single sentence. Wait for what? Get the hell home and heal your wounds. Frustrated, Bai Pujuan leaped onto his flying sword and soared toward the Bai family estate. Only after Bai Pujuan had flown far away did Bai Liqing turn to Xiao Sanjin and say, grandson-in-law, don't mind that unreliable Bai Pujuan, but his daughter Bai Yu is gentle, considerate, virtuous, and kind. Xiao Sanjin massaged his forehead. Bai Yu gentle and virtuous. Did Bai Liqing think he had just met her yesterday? Still, he wouldn't embarrass the old man. Grandpa Bai is right. Yu is a good girl. Good eye, grandson-in-law. Come, let's you and I go to the Bai residence for a drink. Grandson-in-law. Brothers. Xiao Sanjin was utterly confused by Bai Liqing's chaotic way of addressing him. Seeming to notice Xiao Sanjin's bewilderment, Bai Liqing added, as cultivators, we shouldn't fuss over such trivial details as titles. Alright, I'll take the liberty and call you big brother. Before Xiao Sanjin could finish his sentence, Bai Yu stomped hard on his instep. Brother Sanjin, do you think it's not enough for Yu to call you master? Do you want her to call you grandfather? Although it didn't hurt much, Xiao Sanjin still grimaced in exaggerated pain. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yu, I won't presume anymore. They'll call him Grandpa by. Only when Xiao Sanjin addressed him as Grandpa by Yu. Ha ha, grandson-in-law, you're hopeless. Your wife isn't even married to you yet, and you're already afraid of her. Yu glared fiercely at Bai Liqing. Old fool, I see your beard is quite long. Bai Liqing was so intimidated by Yu that he dared not speak. After all, Yu's reputation as a little demoness was well earned. How many times had she already trimmed his beard? You don't scare Grandpa Bai like that. Forget about the beard. I think the spatial ring on his hand is quite nice. It would make a fine dowry. Bai Liqing immediately covered his spatial ring, leaped onto his flying sword, and sped toward the Bai residence. Grandson-in-law, the Bai family is hosting a grand feast for you today. Be sure to come. After some thought, Xiao Sanjin decided to go to the Bai residence. First, because the Bai family had survived a calamity, and Yu surely wanted to gather with them. Second, he wanted to acquire a spatial ring there, making it easier to carry goods in the future. As Xiao Sanjin had expected, upon returning to the Bai residence, Yu had a wonderful time, with everyone almost bursting into tears in their embraces. He also successfully obtained a spatial ring with an internal space of 10 cubic meters from the Bai family. After the banquet, since Bai Pujuan claimed there were no extra rooms left, Xiao Sanjin had no choice but to follow Yu to her boudoir. During Yu's inner demon tribulation, her room had been devoid of any color but black. Now, besides black, there were many other hues, giving Yu a truly youthful aura. Brother Sanjin, Yu is going to bathe now. You mustn't peek. Yu walked behind the screen, undressing as her light robe slid down. Even through the screen, Xiao Sanjin could faintly discern her not-so-perfect figure. Damn it, testing a cadre with this. Which cadre could endure? Xiao Sanjin swallowed hard, quickly shut his eyes, and silently recited the heart-calming eternal ice and cold, all things remain still, the heart should be calm, and the mind tranquil, gazing upon my solitary spirit and mind unite, and the breath follows. Xiao Sanjin recited for a long time before finally suppressing the fiery desires within him. But just then a fair hand landed on his shoulder. Brother Sanjin, Yu is done washing. Would you like to bathe too? Xiao Sanjin opened his eyes and saw a large expanse of fair skin beneath the black gauze dress Yu wore. Though the snowy peaks on her chest were not towering, they were beginning to take shape. This caused the fiery desires he had just suppressed to surge again. If he remained unmoved at this moment, he would truly be worse than a beast. Xiao Sanjin no longer held back. Determined to be a proper beast, he scooped Yu up in his arms and headed toward her embroidered bed. Suddenly lifted by Xiao Sanjin, even Yu felt a flicker of panic. Brother Sanjin, what are you doing? What else can your master do? The flames you've stirred up, you must extinguish them. Xiao Sanjin tossed Yu onto the bed and tore off her dress with a crisp rip. Last night the spring wind and rain graced the small building as falling petals bloomed, welcoming the essence of spring. A night of clouds and rain made Xiao Sanjin understand what it meant. The spring night is fleeting, and the day rises high. From now on, the monarch will no longer attend the morning court. If Yu hadn't begged for mercy in the end, Xiao Sanjin would never have let it go. Yu, you're not good enough. You claim to be the reincarnation of the demon emperor, yet you couldn't hold out for a single night. Yu shot Xiao Sanjin an annoyed glance and retorted, do you think everyone is like you, appearing human on the surface, but inherently a fierce beast? Xiao Sanjin chuckled and proudly pulled Yu into his embrace. Feeling her delicate body as soft as if it had no bones stirred a multitude of emotions within him. He had never imagined that the first woman he would encounter on the Jiuxiao Continent would be Yu, the one he had sworn he would never marry. Truly a twist of fate. Ding ding, the system detects that the host has successfully captured Yu, rewarding you with a 10-star harem gift pack. One small world secret realm for the sect. PS to be manually summoned after the host returns to the sect. Cultivation 5 levels. The system has automatically integrated it, and your current cultivation level is Chi Refinement level 60. Dog system, there's a reward for finding a partner. That's right. Congratulations to the host for discovering another method to enhance your cultivation. I hope you continue to work hard and strive to overturn the heavenly Tao of this realm and reach a higher world. Dog system, what do you mean? A bad premonition arose in Xiao Sanjin's heart. Isn't my meaning clear enough? Right now you are nothing but an ant. I've already reached Chi Refinement level 60, which is equivalent to a great cultivator in the early stage of the integration realm. How can you call me an ant? Are you mistaken? How could I be mistaken? The host is indeed an ant at Chi Refinement level 60. Xiao Sanjin felt his mindset collapse. After all his hard work to reach Chi Refinement level 60, he still turned out to be an ant. Forget it. After all, cultivation can't be rushed. It's more important to spend some tender moments with the beauty in his arms. Have you rested well? Let's explore the profound truths of life again. Brother Sanjin, it hurts, please don't. Xiao Sanjin immediately purchased a healing pill from the system, and fed it to Bai Yu, followed by another day and night of labor. Brother Sanjin, it's all your fault. It's been almost 2 days without going out. What will the clan think of me? I'm so embarrassed. Bai Yu buried her head in Xiao Sanjin's embrace, looking reproachful. We merely went into seclusion to cultivate. What have we done wrong? Why blame me? Xiao Sanjin feigned innocence. Ha, scoundrel. After taking everything from me, you claim nothing happened. Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? Should I tell the clan that we have already consummated our marriage? Brother Sanjin, sometimes I really want to beat you to death. Bai Yu gritted her teeth, wishing she could swallow Xiao Sanjin whole. Xiao Sanjin gently caressed Bai Yu's delicate face and intimately escorted her out of the boudoir. As the two of them stepped out, they saw a graceful figure in white gliding towards them on a sword, accompanied by a girl in a green dress. The moment Bai Yu recognized the girl in green, her expression darkened instantly. The girl was none other than Zhu Wuqing, Bai Yu's sworn enemy for 5,000 years, and the main culprit behind the near destruction of the Bai family. Zhu Wuqing, you are not welcome here. Please leave immediately. Though Bai Yu appeared calm on the surface, she had indeed issued an eviction order to Zhu Wuqing. At this moment, Zhu Wuqing, having regenerated her severed arm, wore her usual cold and proud expression. Faced with Bai Yu's unkind tone, she frowned slightly, but did not turn to leave. Instead, she gracefully stepped in front of Xiao Sanjin and bowed. Disciple Zhu Wuqing pays respects to master. Xiao Sanjin felt a headache coming on. He knew that Bai Yu and Zhu Wuqing would eventually have a confrontation, but he didn't expect that day to come so quickly. Now both women were his disciples, with Bai Yu being his woman. The conflict between the two of them, even if not completely resolved, should not be allowed to escalate. Wuqing, there's no need for such formality. In the future, you need not bow when you see me. Thank you, master. Though Zhu Wuqing had bowed to Xiao Sanjin as her master, deep down, she still held on to the pride of an empress. It made her feel conflicted to keep bowing to Xiao Sanjin. Yu, a guest should be treated as such. Since your junior sister Wuqing has come, how can you send someone away without allowing them to say a word? Moreover, she is brought here by your senior sister Sienna. Bai Yu also realized that her emotions were somewhat out of control. She walked over to Sienna, took her delicate hand, and said, Sister Sienna, no matter what happens between Wuqing and me today, it has nothing to do with you. Please don't think too much about it. Sienna nodded helplessly. The grievances between Bai Yu and Zhu Wuqing were indeed beyond her ability to meddle in. Moreover, with Xiao Sanjin present, she believed he wouldn't want to see his two disciples fighting. Zhu Wuqing, since Brother Sanjin said, I didn't give you a chance to speak, then I will give you this opportunity. Please finish what you want to say quickly and leave here. Aside from those days at Jiuxiao Mountain, Zhu Wuqing had never endured such humiliation. Time and again she was met with cold shoulders from Bai Yu, and she could no longer hold back. Bai Yu, do you really think I enjoy coming here? If it weren't for your Bai family almost facing extermination because of me, even if you used a flying dragon to chase me, I wouldn't come to your Bai family. Wuqing, speak quickly or get lost. Bai Yu had never been fond of Zhu Wuqing, and hearing such words only fueled the fire of anger in her heart. Fine, I'll leave. As if this empress enjoys staying in this barren place. Zhu Wuqing turned angrily and began to leave. Zhu Wuqing, stop right there. Bai Yu, you should say less. You two are really out of line arguing in front of your master. Do you have any regard for me? Come with me. Xiao Sanjin led Bai Yu and the other two women to an empty room. To prevent eavesdropping, he even cast a barrier around them. After doing all this, Xiao Sanjin turned to Bai Yu and Zhu Wuqing and said, now that we have privacy, you two need to clearly explain what's happening today. Seeing that both women remained silent, Xiao Sanjin's tone grew heavier. What's wrong? Weren't you both shouting loudly just outside? Now why are you both mute? Bai Yu's eyes turned red instantly. Is this the man she loves? How could he scold her because of someone else? But aside from shedding tears, Bai Yu did not take any further inappropriate actions. Zhu Wuqing, however, drew her sword and pointed it at Xiao Sanjin, saying, Xiao Sanjin, you saved my life and have grace towards me, but that does not give you the right to dictate to me. Xiao Sanjin's expression darkened in an instant, and he sternly said, Zhu Wuqing, you've gotten bold, haven't you? Just after recovering, you dare to draw your sword. What? Do you think you are capable now? Do you want to spar with me? Even though he had sensed Xiao Sanjin's fury, Zhu Wuqing remained unafraid. Xiao Sanjin, why can't I draw my sword against you? Do you think that just because you've become my master you can act arrogantly before me? Yeah. In essence, Zhu Wuqing still believed that Xiao Sanjin's mere qi refining stage cultivation was unworthy of being her master. Ungrateful disciple, it seems you haven't comprehended a single word I told Sienna to relay to you the other day. Since that's the case, then kneel down and ponder again. A wave of golden core stage aura surged from Xiao Sanjin toward Zhu Wuqing. Relying on her residual imperial might, Zhu Wuqing managed to remain unfazed under the pressure of the golden core stage. Is this all you've got? And you dare to try and boss me around? The moment Zhu Wuqing's taunt faded, Xiao Sanjin's aura shifted to the nascent soul stage and moments later to the spirit transformation stage. Zhu Wuqing's once calm face flushed crimson and beads of sweat as large as beans emerged on her forehead. Still holding on. As expected of the former Heartless Empress, Xiao Sanjin's aura shifted again, directly ascending to the void refinement stage. The instant his aura changed, Zhu Wuqing could no longer stand steady and fell to her knees with a thud. Though she had been an empress in her past life, after reincarnation her imperial body was lost, and her imperial might was nearly depleted. Surviving the pressure of the void refinement stage without perishing was already her limit. Xiao Sanjin, weren't you only at chi refining? How do you possess the pressure of void refinement? When Zhu Wuqing uttered these words, Hu Xianer and Bai Yuyu both stared at Xiao Sanjin in shock. Previously they only knew Xiao Sanjin was stronger than them, but never realized he was this much stronger. The void refinement stage, let alone being invincible within Yongzhou, even in Gantang Prefecture there were fewer than 5 such cultivators. What's the matter? Aren't you the Heartless Empress? Can't you even withstand the pressure of the void refinement stage? Who says I can't? I can still endure. The moment Zhu Wuqing's words fell, Xiao Sanjin's aura shifted again, this time to the harmony stage, as if even the earth itself would crumble under such pressure. Now Zhu Wuqing could no longer even maintain her kneeling position. She spat out a mouthful of blood, her entire body pressing flat against the ground. A cracking sound of bones emanated from within her, as if her delicate form would turn to ashes in the next instant. Harmony stage. This time, it wasn't Zhu Wuqing who spoke, but Bai Yuyu, who had been silently weeping on the side. This was utterly unbelievable. A 16-year-old at the harmony stage. What kind of monstrous prodigy could achieve such a feat? Xiao Sanjin only released his harmony stage aura for a few seconds before lowering it back to void refinement, fearing he might accidentally kill Zhu Wuqing. Although Zhu Wuqing now held no value for Xiao Sanjin. Xiao Sanjin was not one to discard his tools after use. His targeting of Zhu Wuqing today was solely to make her face reality and to earn a bit of respect from this so-called cheap master. Disciple Zhu Wuqing admits her fault. I should not have doubted my master's strength. Please, master, withdraw your pressure. Seeing Zhu Wuqing yield, Xiao Sanjin, disciple Zhu Wuqing admits her fault. I should not have doubted my master's strength. Please, master, withdraw your pressure. Seeing Zhu Wuqing yield, Xiao Sanjin did not press further, for she was still his disciple. Zhu Wuqing, in cultivation, one must first cultivate the heart. Without a grateful heart, what path are you even cultivating? Wuqing acknowledges her mistake. Wiping the bloodstains from her lips, Zhu Wuqing felt a flicker of fear toward Xiao Sanjin, for she was unsure if the harmony stage was his true. What I want from you is not a mere verbal admission of fault, but genuine repentance and correction. As for your drawing your sword against me today, I will let it slide. But remember, I hope nothing like this happens again. Wuqing understands. Since you understand, then tell me the original purpose of your visit here. Though Zhu Wuqing deeply disliked Bai Yuyu's demeanor, she still said, Master, this disciple has come specifically to apologize to second senior sister. Xiao Sanjin looked at Bai Yuyu, who turned her head away, and said, I don't accept it. Zhu Wuqing looked helplessly at Xiao Sanjin, hoping he could mediate. Yuyu, your junior sister Wuqing has apologized to you. Can't you grant your master some face, and forgive her? Of you scoundrel, how dare you ask me for face? Xiao Sanjin could subdue Zhu Wuqing with strength, but not Bai Yuyu, for she was already his woman, and he could not bring himself to use forceful means on her. Somewhat awkwardly, Xiao Sanjin walked up to Bai Yuyu and pulled her directly into his embrace. Scoundrel, don't touch me. Though Bai Yuyu struggled, it was no amount of words could compare to a kiss. Xiao Sanjin lifted Bai Yuyu's chin and pressed his lips firmly against hers. Zhu Wuqing was dumbfounded. Was this the same Nine Nether Demon Emperor who had killed without mercy? Being held and kissed by a man. Was she hallucinating? But recalling Xiao Sanjin's mystery and power, Zhu Wuqing quickly let it go. After a moment, Xiao Sanjin released Bai Yuyu, who turned her head away and said, Scoundrel, don't think kissing me means I'll forgive you for yelling at me. Yuyu, I wasn't yelling at you, I just didn't want you to argue with your junior sister. As the senior sister, you should have the bearing and magnanimity of one. Then apologize. Alright, I was wrong. Yuyu, won't you stop being angry with me? I'll forgive you this time. But if you dare yell at me again, I'll ignore you forever. Yuyu, can you accept your junior sister Wuqing's apology now? Fearing Bai Yuyu's anger, Xiao Sanjin tightened his embrace slightly. Compared to the sweetness of the moment, Bai Yuyu gradually let go of past grudges. Fine, as long as Zhu Wuqing calls me master's wife, I'll forgive her. Which I can apologize, but don't delude yourself into thinking I'll call you master's wife. Even though Zhu Wuqing knew Bai Yuyu's words were true, she could never bring herself to address her former rival as such. How is that excessive? I am now third brother's woman, and you are his disciple. Why can't you call me master's wife? Have you married my master? If not, I won't acknowledge it. At most, I'll call you senior sister. If you call me senior sister, I won't accept your apology. I've already apologized. Whether you accept it or not is your problem. Is this what you call an apology? There's no sincerity at all. Seeing Bai Yuyu and Zhu Wuqing bickering, Xiao Sanjin breathed a sigh of relief. Their ability to quarrel indicated that the relationship had eased considerably. With time, they would surely turn conflict into harmony. Alright, stop arguing, you two. I plan to go and destroy the Hanbing sect. Do you want to come? Upon hearing this, Bai Yuyu and Zhu Wuqing immediately stopped quarreling and said in unison yes. On the winding official road, a carriage jolted forward unsteadily. However, the one driving the carriage was not a coachman, but a breathtakingly beautiful girl in a green dress. Master, why don't you use your divine powers to take us directly to Yongzhou? Why must we ride this broken carriage? We've been traveling for 10 days and still haven't arrived. It's so annoying. The green-dressed girl driving the carriage complained, voicing her grievances to the youth inside. The youth adjusted his sleeping position, resting his head more comfortably on a jade-white beautiful leg before saying, Wuqing, driving allows you to witness the myriad facets of human life. Only by witnessing them all can your Tao heart become unbreakable. Zhu Wuqing pouted her red lips. She, the exalted empress of heartlessness, was reduced to driving a carriage for Xiao Sanjin. If anyone who knew her in the past were to find out, where would her dignity be? If not for the divine grade technique, the supreme heartless art, that Xiao Sanjin had imparted to her, she would have long since betrayed her master. How could she endure such bullying? He even claimed that driving was for cultivation. Why didn't Xiao Sanjin cultivate himself? Every day, he just lay on by Yuyu's like sleeping. It was infuriating. Wuqing, even though you're driving, don't forget to improve your cultivation. These past days, your senior sister Fox Immortal has already broken through to the great perfection of the Golden Core stage. Your second senior sister Bai Yuyu has also advanced to the mid-Golden Core stage. You are the only one who hasn't been making progress, still at the late Foundation establishment stage. If she couldn't defeat Xiao Sanjin, Zhu Wuqing would surely kill him. She had been driving and cultivating simultaneously, and in just 10 days her cultivation had advanced from early Foundation establishment to late Foundation establishment. What more did he want? Master, then let second senior sister drive, and I'll enter the carriage to cultivate. I guarantee my breakthrough speed won't disappoint you. Then can your thigh be a pillow for your master? Xiao Sanjin didn't show favoritism among his disciples, but the problem was Zhu Wuqing wasn't willing to use her thigh as a pillow for him. Master, I think I'm better suited for driving. Every time Zhu Wuqing recalled the fiery gaze Xiao Sanjin fixed on her, she didn't want to be near him. Because in the days they had spent together, she had already learned that Fox Immortal and Bai Yuyu were both Xiao Sanjin's women. She had no intention of becoming another member. She really wondered what had come over Fox Immortal and Bai Yuyu that they were so devoted to this rogue master. Wuqing, you chose to drive yourself. You can't blame your master for being unfair. Xiao Sanjin continued to rest with his eyes closed, savoring the beauty before him. Master will reach Yongzhou in about 10 li ahead. Should we attack the Cold Ice sect directly or proceed with a gradual plan? Fox Immortal had returned from scouting but didn't land on the carriage. Instead, she continued flying on her sword as she too disliked the carriage's bumpiness. Gradual plan. After 10 days in this carriage, I'm exhausted. Let your master just annihilate the Cold Ice sect with a single slap. The reason Xiao Sanjin had chosen to travel by carriage was that he had hoped to pick up a disciple or kill a child of fortune along the way. But after the entire journey, he had found nothing. He couldn't help but feel somewhat irritated. Master, you've been lying down all day. How can you say you're tired? Junior sister Wuqing has been driving for 10 days and has— Fox Immortal's words had barely faded when Zhu Wuqing said, Senior sister, I am tired. Xiao Sanjin also took the opportunity to add a jab. Sienna, I told you your junior sister Wuqing was tired, but you wouldn't believe it. You had to hear it from her own mouth. Honestly, you're fellow disciples, yet you lack even basic concern. Master, you're becoming more and more shameless. That's not what you said earlier. If she hadn't grown accustomed to Xiao Sanjin's shamelessness, Fox Immortal would have struggled to suppress the urge to beat him up. Master, regarding the Cold Ice sect, Sienna suggests a gradual approach. Spare the good, kill the evil. Annihilating the sect with a single slap would inevitably lead to the slaughter of innocents. Moreover, since junior sisters Yuyu and the others seek revenge, I believe it would be more beneficial for them to do it themselves. It would help solidify their Tao hearts. Xiao Sanjin suddenly felt Fox Immortal's reasoning was sound. After all, he was the master of Bai Yuyu and the other two girls, not their enforcer. Having transmigrated to the Nine Heavens continent and suffered for 10 years, he intended to enjoy life from now on. Otherwise, he would be unworthy of all the transmigrators in history. Sienna, since you already have a plan, you shall lead the operation against the Cold Ice sect. But let your master correct one of your views. In this world, there are never simply good or bad people. Everyone just has different standpoints. Fox Immortal and Bai Yuyu were not particularly moved by Xiao Sanjin's words, but Zhu Wuqing's heart was stirred with turbulent waves. In her past life, she had always considered herself righteous. Hearing Xiao Sanjin's words today, she realized that so-called righteous and demonic paths were merely labels assigned by people like themselves. Who could truly say what was right and what was wrong? Master, we're almost at Yongzhou. Your disciple suggests we first visit the Blazing Fire sect, and then, Sienna, you don't need to report your decisions to your master. At that moment, Xiao Sanjin was communicating with the system about whether there were any geniuses suitable to take as disciples or any children of fortune to kill within Yongzhou. He had no time to entertain Fox Immortal. Sienna thanks Master for his trust. Fox Immortal felt a surge of gratitude, believing it was a sign of Xiao Sanjin's trust in her. Annoying host, you keep asking questions. Aren't you tired? If there are children of fortune, can't you just use your 6 paths Immortal Wheel Eye? What did I give it to you just for show? In this tiny Yongzhou, you still want to recruit more disciples. Do you think geniuses with 9-star or 10-star aptitude are as common as cabbages? Can they be found just anywhere? Annoying system, why are you so fierce? I only asked you a few questions. Is that any reason to get angry at your host? Annoying host, were those just a few questions? You asked the same question thousands of times. Bickering with the system had become a daily routine for Xiao Sanjin when he was bored. As his interaction with the system deepened, Xiao Sanjin began to suspect that the system wasn't an intelligent machine, but a real person. But he dared not voice this suspicion, fearing the system might really slap him to death. Fortunately, his quarrels with the system hadn't been entirely fruitless. At least he now knew there were no disciples to recruit and no children of fortune to kill with. Ding ding. Detected a 9-star aptitude genius disciple Li Xiaoxiao within the Blazing Fire sect. Special physique, verdant with spirit body to be awakened. It is recommended that the host take her under your tutelage. Damn, was this a joke? Xiao Sanjin really wanted to smash the system. He had been asking all along whether there were any geniuses suitable as disciples in Yongzhou, and the system kept telling him no. Now it suddenly said there was a candidate meeting the recruitment criteria. Had it been fooling him all along? Annoying system, don't you have an explanation? Where did this disciple who meets the recruitment criteria come from? What? Annoying host, are you doubting this baby's ability? Aren't you asking a rhetorical question? Annoying host, this Li Xiaoxiao was just sent back to Yongzhou. That's why she wasn't detected earlier. Is that really the case? Xiao Sanjin remained skeptical. Annoying host, you've changed. You actually doubt this baby's words. This baby is very sad. While Xiao Sanjin was still arguing with the system, a voice suddenly came from ahead. This is the Blazing Fire sect. Halt all who approach. Husianer stepped forward, slightly cupping her hands. We are from the 9 Heavens sect. Today we have come to the Blazing Flame sect to discuss a partnership with your esteemed. The disciple guarding the mountain gate glanced at Husianer, then at the carriage behind her, a look of disdain spreading across his face. Any faction with even a shred of strength would not use a horse-drawn carriage for travel. Even the most destitute would use a foundation establishment stage demon beast to pull their cart. For these people arriving in a horse-drawn carriage to delude themselves into thinking they could negotiate a partnership with the Blazing Flame sect. Were they certain their heads weren't filled with rocks? Go on, get lost. The Blazing Flame sect has no interest in partnering with your 9 Heavens sect. Can you speak for the Blazing Flame sect? Husianer asked, her delicate brows furrowing slightly. No, but I know. Before the gate disciple could finish, a blade light flew from within the carriage, directly shattering the mountain gate of the Blazing Flame sect. Immediately after, the members of the Blazing Flame sect saw a young girl dressed in a black dress and a black gauze veil fly out from the carriage. Since you cannot speak for the Blazing Flame sect, go find someone who can. Bai Yu's style was entirely different from Husianer's gentle tone, leaving the Blazing Flame sect members utterly bewildered. This girl had such audacity, daring to destroy the mountain gate of the Blazing Flame sect. One must know that in the past few centuries no one had dared to act insolently before the Blazing Flame sect's mountain gate. Especially in recent years, after the sect leader's daughter Li Xiaoxiao had joined the 3-star Force the Sea Flame sect, the Blazing Flame sect status had risen considerably. Little girl, you dare to destroy our sect's mountain gate? Just wait. Before the gate disciple could finish, another gate disciple slapped him on the head. Are you out of your damn mind? Didn't you see she can fly? She can fly. That means she's at the golden core stage, you know. Is that someone a pathetic foundation establishment stage loser like us can afford to offend? The disciple, who had just been about to rebuke Bai Yu, immediately shut his mouth. Damn, that was too terrifying. He had nearly gone to meet his ancestors. But still, this woman was something else. Clearly, as a golden core expert, she could fly on her sword, yet she insisted on riding in a carriage. Wasn't that just tricking people? Beautiful fairy, please wait a moment. This humble one will go fetch the steward in charge of the mountain gate to see you. Those who guard the mountain gate, though low in cultivation, still possessed a bit of discernment. Although Bai Yu was merely a young girl, she had the cultivation of the golden core stage. What did that imply? It meant that Bai Yu likely had a major force backing her. There's no need for you to invite Steward Yang. This old man will handle this matter. An old man in a red robe descended directly before the Blazing Flame sect members. Upon seeing the arrival, the disciples of the Blazing Flame sect cupped their hands and said in unison, "Greetings, Grand Elder." The Grand Elder of the Blazing Flame sect did not respond to the disciples, but instead looked at Bai Yu and said, "Miss, this old man, is Li Yi the Grand Elder of the Blazing Flame sect? Dare I ask the young lattice name and the purpose of your visit to our sect?" Even though Bai Yu had destroyed the mountain gate, Li Yi dared not confront her, for he feared provoking a force that the Blazing Flame sect could not afford to offend. "Oh, so it's little Li. Your granny here hasn't come for anything much. I just wanted to chop down the mountain gate to remind you that an honored guest has arrived. As for the actual business, I don't know. Ask my senior sister." Li Yi's mouth twitched uncontrollably. He was a man who had lived for 200 years, yet he was being called Little E by a young girl. How could he bear this humiliation? "Dare I ask the young lady, who is your senior sister?" Bai Yu pointed at the somewhat bewildered Huxiener. It was only then that Li Yi looked at the woman in white, standing by the carriage, whom he had been ignoring all along. He was immediately shocked. This woman actually possessed the cultivation of the Golden Core Great Perfection stage, and her aura was even stronger than his. Damn it, just where had these monstrous talents come from? "Dare I ask, miss, what is the purpose of your visit to our Blazing Flame sect?" "My name is Huxiener. I have come to the Blazing Flame sect today to discuss the matter of annihilating the Freezing Ice sect." Li Yi was greatly astonished. What? This woman wanted to annihilate the Freezing Ice sect. It was utterly shocking. "Miss Xiener, please be careful with you. The Freezing Ice sect is the most powerful force within our Yong province." "The most powerful? I thought it was one of the 3 major powers." Huxiener asked. "Miss Xiener must not be from these parts, correct?" Huxiener nodded. Seeing this, Li Yi explained, although the Freezing Ice sect, the Blazing Flame sect, and the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion are all 2-star forces within Yong province, the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion generally does not involve itself in the conflicts between the powers of Yong province. As for our Blazing Flame sect, if not for the fact that our sect leader Li Tong's daughter had joined the 3-star Sea Flame sect, we would likely have been destroyed by the Freezing Ice sect by now. Oh, why is that? Because in addition to possessing 7 nascent soul cultivators, the Freezing Ice sect also has a living ancestor at the Divine Transformation stage. Our Blazing Flame sect, on the other hand, only has 5 nascent soul cultivators. Huxiener was momentarily stunned, but recalling that Bai Yu had once said Xiao Sanjin possessed the strength of the Harmony stage, she immediately felt relieved. A mere Divine Transformation stage is nothing to fear. "I'll ask you this, does your Blazing Flame sect wish to annihilate the Freezing Ice sect? Do you wish to claim the Freezing Ice sect's territory?" Li Yi was dumbfounded. From Huxiener's tone, it seemed she did not place a Divine Transformation stage powerhouse in her eyes at all. Could it be that she still had a hidden... But why had he never heard of a figure like Huxiener within Gontang Commandery? Could this woman be a disciple of some reclusive, great sect? With this conjecture in his mind, Li Yi did not dwell on it further. "Miss Xiener, this matter is of great importance. I am not in a position to decide. I must trouble you to move to another location and meet with our sect leader Li Tong." "All right." Huxiener flew on her sword to the side of the carriage, following it as it slowly advanced. Seeing this, Li Yi was greatly alarmed. If even Huxiener was only flying beside the carriage on her sword, could it be that there was an even greater figure inside the carriage? Li Yi immediately became agitated. "Miss Xiener, please proceed slowly. I will go notify the sect leader to come and welcome you." Huxiener was baffled. Was the hospitality of the Blazing Flame sect so thorough? They were even going to have the sect leader come out to greet them personally. A quarter of an hour later, Huxiener and her group arrived at a massive square paved with marble. At this moment, the square was already filled with rows upon rows of Blazing Flame sect disciples. At the forefront stood 5 cultivators with powerful... These 5 were none other than the Blazing Flame sect's 5 nascent soul powerhouses, Li Tong, and the 4 supreme elders of the Blazing Flame sect. Behind Li Tong stood a pale-faced, disheveled young girl with a generous figure. Who else could this girl be but Li Tong's daughter Li Xiaoxiao? However, Li Xiaoxiao was now extremely weak, as if she might perish at any moment. When they saw the carriage that Li Yi had mentioned entering the square, the members of the Blazing Flame sect immediately spoke, in unison, "Welcome, Fairy Xiener, to the Blazing Flame." Huxiener was at a loss, having never faced such a grand reception before. As if sensing her stage fright, a large blade flew out from within the carriage. With a sharp clang, it left a 30-meter-wide crater in the marble-paved square. "Is this all the people your Blazing Flame sect can muster to welcome us? Where is your sincerity for cooperation?" Bai Yu immediately established dominance over the Blazing Flame sect members as soon as she appeared. A profound, great high-tier weapon. Seeing the blade inside the crater, the Blazing Flame sect members swallowed hard. A profound, great high-tier weapon. The entire Blazing Flame sect didn't even possess one. And this young mistress had just casually tossed one out. Wasn't she afraid someone might snatch it? "What are you staring at? Haven't you seen a profound, great high-tier weapon before?" Bai Yu waved her hand, and the large blade flew back into her grasp. "To be honest with you, Fairy, we truly have never seen a profound, great high-tier weapon." Li Tong's old face flushed red as he spoke the truth. Bai Yu didn't know how to retort. After all, he was still a sect leader in front of so many Blazing Flame sect disciples. She had to save him some face. No need to be envious. When your blazing flame sect grows stronger in the future, you will naturally have the chance to obtain profound grade high tier weapons. For now you should first welcome my Sanjin Gij as he descends from the carriage. Was the VIP inside the carriage about to alight? The entire Lihua sect was in a frenzy. What kind of person could it be to make by Yu a proud daughter of heaven call him big brother? Everyone fixed their gazes on the carriage. The moment the curtain was drawn they shouted in unison, welcome great master to the Lihua sect. Except for the snow on your shoulders, who in this world deserves to wear white? A young man in white robes with distinct facial features stepped out of the carriage, a refreshing sight to behold. The female disciples of the Lihua sect screamed loudly. Does big brother need a personal maid? Am very close fitting, so close that you'll know my depth, and you little vixen, you think you can be big brother's maid. Scram. Big brother, let me be your maid. I promise to give you 3 little monkeys in 1 year, 10 and 3. Big brother, come to my room tonight. I guarantee you'll experience a different kind of earthly delight. The fervor of the Lihua sect crowd made Xiao Sanjin's heart swell with satisfaction. So this was what it felt like to be the center of attention, to be adored. How wonderful. If not now, when would he show off? Xiao Sanjin released the aura of his chi refinement stage, raised his right hand, and said, Lihua sect minions, you've worked hard. As soon as Xiao Sanjin's words fell, the lively scene fell into dead silence. What was going on? The crowd's reaction was off. Shouldn't they be more excited that he greeted them? After a moment, someone finally couldn't help but whisper. Is this the VIP the sect leader told us to welcome? How is he only at the chi refinement stage? Damn it, chi refinement counts as a VIP. More like a VIP of eating shit. And I was thinking of bearing his children. Don't hold me back, I'm going up there to kill this bastard. A mere chi refinement, and he's showing off. The murmurs darkened Xiao Sanjin's face. What was wrong with, hadn't every cultivator among billions gone through the chi refinement stage? Just as Xiao Sanjin was about to lose his temper, a voice like a nightingale reached his. This humble, maidenly Xiao greets you, sir. Following the voice, Xiao Sanjin saw a girl with delicate features, skin as white as snow, and a pair of towering snowy peaks before her, slightly bowing to him. A childlike face with. Xiao Sanjin couldn't help but swallow. With such proud snowy peaks, this girl probably couldn't see the road when walking. It must be very hard. Perhaps he should help support them from now on to ease her burden. The taunts and insults of the crowd instantly ceased to matter to Xiao Sanjin, for in his mind, he already had images of caring for Li Xiao. As if bewitched, Xiao Sanjin walked straight up to Li Xiao. Miss, do you need a Dao partner? I can arrange for you to meet your child next year. It wasn't that Xiao Sanjin had been possessed by a lecher, it was that since his one encounter with Bai Yu, she had been busy cultivating and wouldn't let him touch her. This left Xiao Sanjin, who had just tasted the pleasures of intimacy, feeling listless and wasting away, longing to discuss the origin of life once more with the beauty. Sir, this humble maiden has just suffered a great calamity. My Dantian is destroyed. I'm afraid I must disappoint your kind intentions. While on a sect mission, Li Xiao was ambushed by a scoundrel who destroyed her Dantian and crippled her meridians, leaving her unable to cultivate for the rest of her life. When the Haiyan sect learned of Li Xiao's misfortune, they not only failed to punish the culprit or find a way to restore her Dantian and meridians, but also cast her back to the Lihua sect, leaving her to fend for herself. Today, Li Xiao heard from Li Tong that a VIP would be visiting the Lihua sect, so she came to try her luck, hoping the VIP might have a way to heal her. But the person she saw was not a VIP, but a lecher at the chi refinement stage. A destroyed Dantian is nothing. Just have my child. Xiao Sanjin was cut off by Huxiener. Mastermind your image. Xiao Sanjin snapped back to reality, feeling slightly embarrassed. Damn it, why had he lost control just now? It was all by Yu's fault. When he got the chance, he'd make sure she couldn't get out of bed. Xiao Sanjin straightened his clothes, putting on an air of a righteous man, and said, Li Xiao, take me as your master, and I won't just repair your Dantian and meridians, it'll also help you easily achieve the Tao of the great emperor. Li Xiao stared at Xiao Sanjin as if he were an idiot. This man was nothing but good looks. If Xiao Sanjin had said he could repair her Dantian and meridians, she might have believed him. But telling her she could achieve the Tao of the great emperor, was that something a sane person would say? Among the crowd, besides Xiao Sanjin sizing up Li Xiao, Huxiener was also sizing up the former. Because Huxiener knew that so far Xiao Sanjin had only taken 3 disciples, the reincarnation demon emperor, the reincarnation female emperor, and herself, the celestial fox immortal body. All 3 had 10-star talent. Now that Xiao Sanjin suddenly wanted to take Li Xiao as a disciple, this Li Xiao was likely not simple either. If Xiao Sanjin could recruit her, she might become a valuable asset when they faced enemies in the future. Just as Li Xiao was about to refuse Xiao Sanjin's invitation, Huxiener suddenly flew before her. Li Xiao, I advise you not to refuse my master's invitation, or you will regret it for life. Li Xiao's pupils dilated as she stared at Huxiener. Fairy, what did you say? This rogue. This gentleman is your master. Yes, he is my master. Seeing Huxiener confirm it, Li Xiao was shaken. The former was a golden core great circle prodigy, someone her own father had to treat with respect. Would she lie? But no matter how she looked at Xiao Sanjin, he seemed utterly unremarkable, just an ordinary chi refinement cultivator. What made him worthy of being Huxianer? Master, do you still want to take a disciple? How can you take one without showing your strength? Huxianer reminded him. Xiao Sanjin finally came to his senses. Indeed, Li Xiaoxiao was a disciple of a 3-star force. Why would she take a chi refinement cultivator as her master? A powerful pressure instantly filled the entire marble square. Those who had just insulted Xiao Sanjin found themselves specifically targeted, forced to prostrate and spit blood. Li Tong and the 4 supreme elders of the Lihua sect were also pressed to the ground. It wasn't that their strength was on par with the disciples, but Xiao Sanjin wanted them to know that he was the strongest person in Yongzhou. Although Li Xiaoxiao felt no pressure, the scene before her made it clear that Xiao Sanjin was terrifyingly strong. If she didn't take such a peerless powerhouse as her master, she would regret it for the rest of her life. Disciple Li Xiaoxiao pays respects to master. Ding ding, congratulations to the host for successfully taking Li Xiaoxiao as a disciple. Reward 1 9-star disciple recruitment gift pack. Greenwood Spirit Fruit 1 note used to awaken the Greenwood Spirit Body Divine Grade Cultivation Technique Vitality of all things 1 Cultivation Level 3 layers. Cultivation level automatically fused. Host's current cultivation is Chi Refinement Layer 63. System, I take 1 disciple, and you only reward me with 3 layers of cultivation. Host Li Xiaoxiao is only 9-star talent. By rights, she's not even worth a divine grade technique. Giving you 3 layers is already a favor from this baby considering our good relationship. Don't be ungrateful. At least he didn't lose out, Xiao Sanjin thought to himself. System, do you have a way to restore Li Xiaoxiao's dantian and meridians? This baby has recommended the optimal plan based on the host conditions. Please go to the shop to purchase Greenwood Spirit Liquid. Xiao Sanjin opened the system shop and saw that a single drop of Greenwood Spirit Liquid cost 200 fate points. He was furious. Damn, system, Greenwood Spirit Liquid is way too expensive. And 1 drop won't cure Li Xiaoxiao, will it? Correct. At least 10 drops are needed. 10 drops. I only have 24800 fate points total, and you're telling me I need 10 drops at 200 each. Where am I supposed to get that many fate points? And you call this the optimal plan? Do you even know what optimal means? Don't be angry, host. Anger is bad for your health. This baby hasn't finished speaking yet. Greenwood Spirit Liquid and the Greenwood Spirit Body are almost of the same origin. You just need to divide 1 drop of Greenwood Spirit Liquid into 3 parts and add it to Li Xiaoxiao's bathwater. After she absorbs it, channel the vitality of all things technique, and her body will generate its own Greenwood Spirit Liquid. Once enough accumulates, restoring her dantian and meridians will be a piece of cake. Hearing the system's explanation, Xiao Sanjin suddenly understood. But taking Li Xiaoxiao as a disciple was a huge loss for him. Forget it. Consider it expanding the sect's numbers. Master. Master. Seeing Xiao Sanjin ignore her for so long, Li Xiaoxiao thought her kneeling had been too slow, displeasing him. Coming to his senses, Xiao Sanjin noticed Li Xiaoxiao staring at him and realized he had lost his composure. Xiaoxiao, no need for formalities, rise. Though Xiao Sanjin said this, the fervor in his eyes did not diminish in the slightest. Seeing Xiao Sanjin's unabashed gaze, Li Xiaoxiao murmured softly, Master, if you can help Xiaoxiao repair her dantian and restore her meridians, allowing Xiaoxiao to avenge her great hatred, Xiaoxiao. Xiaoxiao will devote the rest of her life to you. Xiao Sanjin's eyes instantly brightened, and he asked with a righteous air, Who is the enemy? The 3-star force Haiyan sect. Very well, I will surely avenge this for you in time. With all members of Lihua's sect present, Xiao Sanjin could not blatantly demand Li Xiaoxiao's pledge of herself. Master, can you lift the pressure? My father and the others are struggling. The moment Xiao Sanjin lifted the pressure, Li Tong, without even wiping the sweat from his brow, rushed before Xiao Sanjin. He bent his knees to kneel, but Xiao Sanjin used spiritual energy to hold him up. Who was Li Tong? The future father-in-law Xiao Sanjin had acknowledged. Letting his father-in-law kneel to him, Xiao Sanjin's moral integrity had not decayed to such an extent. Old Li, what are you doing? Unable to kneel, Li Tong could only plead with his eyes, Sir, I beg you, help Xiaoxiao. As long as you can let her cultivate again, I, Li Tong, will willingly serve you like a beast of burden for the rest of my life. Old Li, there's no need for you to say this. Since Xiaoxiao has already become my disciple, I will take responsibility for her future. Thank you, sir. Li Tong's heart bloomed with joy. Yesterday, the moment Li Xiaoxiao was sent back by the people of Haiyan sect, his mind was in turmoil, filled with anxiety, and he knew not what to do. No need for thanks. Now arrange for a room, several bathtubs, and an ample supply of clean water. I am going to repair Xiaoxiao's dantian and restore her. Li Tong had originally thought that Xiao Sanjin would need a long time to prepare before he could help heal Li Xiaoxiao. He was overjoyed to find that Xiao Sanjin could do it immediately, and he swiftly carried out the task Xiao Sanjin had assigned. Old Li, regarding the matter of dealing with the Hanbing sect, you can discuss it with my senior disciple Huxianer. But before I emerge from seclusion, do not engage in direct conflict with them. Yes. Facing Xiao Sanjin, Li Tong behaved like a subordinate. Yet he felt no shame, for Xiao Sanjin was powerful enough. Xiao entered the room. Once they were inside, Xiao Sanjin used spiritual energy to seal off the entire room, preventing prying eyes. After doing this, Xiao Sanjin instructed Li Xiao to enter the bathtub. Though she hesitated slightly, her pretty face blushing with shame, she still undressed and stepped into the water. Xiao Sanjin wiped his nosebleed. Li Xiao's naked form was truly arousing. He wondered how the girl had developed at 17. Her snowy peaks were already magnificent, and her figure was curvaceous. After reciting the heart-calming mantra more than a dozen times, Xiao Sanjin finally suppressed his inner demonic fire. He then took out the verdant wood spirit fruit and handed it to Li Xiao, saying, "This fruit is called the verdant wood spirit fruit. Eating it will help you awaken the verdant wood spirit body." "Master, do you mean I can awaken a legendary special constitution?" "Yes, otherwise with your talent you wouldn't have only reached the golden core early stage at 17. Li Xiao was stunned. Was reaching the golden core early stage at 17 so poor? Before her dantian was destroyed, she was considered a genius of the master. This disciple believes that with my 4-star aptitude, reaching the golden core early stage at 17 is already the limit. Your aptitude was indeed 4-star before, but after you awaken the verdant with spirit body, it will reach 9-star, and your speed of breaking through realms will advance by leaps and bounds." "What?" Li Xiao was deeply shocked by Xiao Sanjin's words. Heavens, a 9-star aptitude was a legendary talent. "Don't be so shocked, it's just a 9-star aptitude. Quickly consume the verdant with spirit fruit." Li Xiao's heart surged with emotion as she wolfed down the fruit. Had the pit not been somewhat choking, she would have swallowed it whole. After consuming the fruit, all of Li Xiao's pores opened wide, rapidly expelling tiny black substances. A quarter of an hour later, the impurities within Li Xiao's body were fully expelled. Her pores slowly returned to normal, but the once clear water in the bathtub had become thick and viscous, emitting a foul stench. "Master, the water is so dirty. Can I get out?" "Yes, move to the other bathtub." Caring not whether Xiao Sanjin was watching or if he would see her naked body, Li Xiao jumped straight into the second bathtub. After cleansing herself, she entered the third one. Unable to bear the stench himself, Xiao Sanjin moved the 2 used bathtubs out of the room. "Xiao, I will now teach you a cultivation art. You must reach the initial stage of mastery in the shortest possible time." "Very well." Xiao Sanjin pressed a finger to Li Xiao's brow, transmitting the technique, all things creation. Though Li Xiao did not understand what a divine grade technique was, she did not ask, instead quietly contemplating the mysteries of all things creation. Time passed second by second, and she sat motionless in the tub like a meditating monk. A day passed in the blink of an eye. Li Xiao finally opened her beautiful eyes, brimming with excitement. "Master, I have cultivated all things creation to the initial stage. The speed at which I absorb spiritual energy now feels 100 times faster than before. But it's such a pity that my dantian cannot store spiritual energy, and my meridians cannot support its circulation." "Xiao, do not fret. I have something that can help you repair your dantian and restore your meridians. However, the process will be very painful. It depends on whether you are willing to endure this suffering." "Master, as long as I can recover from my injuries, I can bear any hardship and endure any pain." "Good. Then follow my instructions." Xiao Sanjin took out a drop of verdant wood spirit liquid and divided a third into the bathtub. The clear water instantly turned to deep cyan, and wisps of green vapor floated above the surface. "The substance I have placed in your bath is called verdant wood spirit liquid. Now you need to draw this liquid into the location of your dantian. But remember, you must only absorb it, not refine it." This disciple understands. As Li Xiao began to absorb the liquid, Xiao Sanjin activated his 6 paths immortal wheel, eyes needing to closely monitor the condition within her body. As the verdant wood spirit liquid passed through her shattered meridians, it would cling to them, causing a slight burning pain. But Li Xiao only furrowed her delicate brows slightly before peeling the liquid from her meridians and continuing to transport it to her dantian. This kept happening, causing her brows to knit into a furrow. 2 days passed in a flash, and the entire drop of verdant wood spirit liquid was finally absorbed by Li Xiao. "Xiao, activate your verdant wood spirit body and all things creation. Turn the liquid within you into 10 drops before refining and absorbing it." Xiao Sanjin reminded her from the side. The moment both the verdant wood spirit body and all things creation were activated, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth surged wildly towards Li Xiao in a vortex. At the sight of her shattered dantian, the single drop of verdant wood spirit liquid slowly split into 2 drops, then 3. The entire process was slower than a snail's crawl, truly agonizing. It took a full 3 days for Li Xiao's dantian to accumulate 10 drops of verdant wood spirit liquid. Having met the conditions for absorption, Li Xiao did not hesitate. She rapidly circulated the 10 drops throughout her body, allowing them to repair her dantian and meridians. At the same time, Li Xiaoxiao's entire body began to writhe wildly, her expression horribly contorted. Master, it hurts. The always resilient Li Xiaoxiao showed her vulnerability before Xiao Sanjin for the first time. System, is there a way to ease Li Xiaoxiao's pain? There is, but the current host is incapable of it. Xiao Sanjin's heart trembled. The feeling of wanting to protect someone but being powerless was truly frustrating, and it intensified his urgent desire to become stronger. Master, it hurts so much. Faced with Li Xiaoxiao's repeated cries, Xiao Sanjin could only clench his fists. Master, it hurts. Help your disciple. I'm scared. Scared I won't make it through this. Seeing Li Xiaoxiao's skin turning red, then purple, and her body trembling violently, Xiao Sanjin could no longer hold back. He stripped off his clothes and jumped into the bathtub. Xiao, fear not, your master is here. Feeling herself embraced by Xiao Sanjin, Li Xiaoxiao's terror slowly dissipated, for in the depths of her heart, Xiao Sanjin was omnipotent. Though her fear had diminished, the pain racking Li Xiaoxiao's body had not lessened in the slightest, nearly causing her to grind her teeth to powder. Master, may Xiao Xiao. The moment Xiao Sanjin finished speaking, Li Xiaoxiao sank her teeth into his shoulder, which was not particularly broad. Despite the dull ache, Xiao Sanjin did not even furrow his brow, instead carefully observing the condition within Li Xiaoxiao's body. As Li Xiaoxiao's neat, tiny rice-like teeth embedded themselves into Xiao Sanjin's flesh, a small amount of his blood flowed into her body. Initially, Xiao Sanjin did not notice that his blood could ease Li Xiaoxiao's pain until he saw a red substance mingling within her meridians, soothing the distortions caused by the green with spiritual liquid connecting them. Out of curiosity, Xiao Sanjin traced the source of the red substance and soon discovered it originated from his own blood. Deciding to test it, Xiao Sanjin cut his wrist and guided Li Xiaoxiao's small mouth to it, allowing her to drink his blood. Before long, Li Xiaoxiao also realized that Xiao Sanjin's blood could alleviate her suffering, and she began to suck greedily, her twisted form gradually returned. Feeling no more pain, Li Xiaoxiao opened her beautiful eyes. Seeing Xiao Sanjin holding her naked body, she tried to escape, but the moment she moved, a heart-wrenching pain shot through her. Li Xiaoxiao understood instantly that she couldn't leave Xiao Sanjin. His embrace was merely helping to ease her torment. Blinking her lovely eyes, she fixed her gaze on him, and her heart began to pound fiercely. This rogue master of hers, though unreliable at their first meeting, had been truly good to her since she became his disciple. Lost in thought, Li Xiaoxiao uncontrollably extended her fair jade-like arms and tightly wrapped them around Xiao Sanjin's waist. At that moment, she felt an unprecedented sense of security. As if with this man by her side, she had found her very heaven. Sensing Li Xiaoxiao's change, Xiao Sanjin rejoiced inwardly, knowing that from then on he would hold a place in her heart. Half a day passed in a flash. Seeing that Li Xiaoxiao's dantian and meridians were fully restored, Xiao Sanjin said to her, who was curled up like a kitten, Xiao, your injuries are completely healed. You can let go of your master now. Really? After uttering those 3 words, Li Xiaoxiao immediately bit down on Xiao Sanjin again and slowly began to suck his blood. Still sucking. If you keep this up, your master will be drained dry. Xiao Sanjin pried Li Xiaoxiao's head away, then took a healing pill to restore his blood, and it doesn't hurt anymore. My dantian and meridians are restored. Li Xiaoxiao was overjoyed, yet her jade-like arms remained tightly wrapped around him. Xiao, since you're better, let go of your master. After having his blood sucked for half the day, Xiao Sanjin felt utterly drained. Master, my limbs are numb. Could you carry me out and help me dress? Li Xiaoxiao's fair face blushed crimson, even redder than the setting sun, making one want to take a bite. Alas, I suppose I owe you this. Xiao Sanjin said with resignation, lifting Li Xiaoxiao out of the bathtub. As he dressed her in her robes, she suddenly murmured, Master, don't you want to do something to Xiaoxiao? Xiao Sanjin naturally understood what Li Xiaoxiao meant, but having lost so much blood today, he had no energy left. Another day. Hearing this, Li Xiaoxiao's tears burst forth like a breached dam, streaming down her cheeks. Xiao, why are you crying? Xiao Sanjin asked, Master, is it because you've seen Xiaoxiao's body and found it not as perfect as you imagined, so you don't want me anymore? If that's the case, how can Xiao ever face the world? Who would be willing to marry a girl whose own master has seen her naked? Xiao Sanjin had thought she was crying over something else, but it turned out she was worried he wouldn't take responsibility for her. Xiao, your master is depleted in both blood and chi today and lacks the vigor to share the pleasures of love with you. Another day I will surely show you what paradise. Li Xiaoxiao lowered her head deeply and whispered, Master, will you truly make Xiao your woman? For a lifetime. Rest assured you belong to your master for this life, and only to your master. A smile bloomed on Li Xiaoxiao's face, and she generously spread her arms, allowing Xiao Sanjin to dress her. After she was fully dressed, Li Xiaoxiao conjured a wisp of spiritual energy on her fingertip. Master, I feel my spiritual energy is different from others. It contains both the aura of destruction and vibrant life. Master, could this be green with spiritual energy? In theory, since you've awakened the green with spirit body, your spiritual energy should be green with spiritual energy. But its quality is clearly superior. Xiao Sanjin knew that the mutation in Li Xiaoxiao's spiritual energy was due to her drinking his blood. Since he possessed the heaven-envied chaos body, his blood was extremely overbearing. Having consumed so much, the benefits Li Xiaoxiao gained were self-evident. However, Xiao Sanjin had no idea to what extent Li Xiaoxiao had been transformed. Damn system, can you tell what Li Xiaoxiao's spiritual energy is? System, this baby doesn't know what her spiritual energy is either. It's not recorded in the myriad realms. Xiao Sanjin was overjoyed. Anything the system didn't know had the potential to become a trump card against the system and the heavenly Tao in the future. Master, my spiritual energy's quality is higher than green with spiritual energy. That's wonderful. Forgetful of her dignity, Li Xiaoxiao gave Xiao Sanjin a smacking kiss on the cheek. Because the higher the quality of one's spiritual energy, the greater their future achievements. Congratulations. Xiao Sanjin offered his sincere felicitations. He, Master, should congratulate himself because Xiao is yours, so everything of Xiaoxiao's is yours. Xiao Sanjin gently tapped her delicate nose and led her out of the room. Seeing the door open, Li Yi, who had been waiting outside, stepped forward. Just as he was about to report the events of the past few days to Xiao Sanjin, he sensed the formidable aura emanating from Li Xiaoxiao. Xiao, your injuries are healed. Thank you for your concern, Grand Elder. Not only are my injuries healed, but my cultivation has also leaped from the early golden core stage to the late golden core stage. A blessing in disguise, I suppose. What? Xiao, you're at the late golden core stage. Li Yi was dumbfounded. Even though the Lihua sect was a 2-star power, few of its elders had reached the late golden core stage. Yet Li Xiao, a mere 17-year-old girl, had achieved a realm that many could not reach in a lifetime. That's right, Li Xiao said smugly. Excellent. Then come with me to the Yongzhou martial arts arena at once. What are we going there for? Li Xiao asked, puzzled. There's no time, I'll explain on the way. After urging Li Xiao to head to the Yongzhou martial arena, Li Yi turned to Xiao Sanjin and said, Master Fairy Xianer and Sect Master Li Tong request that you come to lend your presence as soon as you emerge from seclusion. Naturally, Xiao Sanjin would not refuse Hu Xianer's suggestion. Along the way, through Li Yi's explanations, Xiao Sanjin and Li Xiao came to understand the situation. It turned out that in recent days, after the Cold Ice Sect's Sect Master Han Rini broke through to the nascent soul stage, the sect, now boasting 2 such powerhouses, grew ambitious and sought to unify the entire Yongzhou region. However, as the various factions were too far apart to attack one by one efficiently, Han Rini demanded that all notable forces in Yongzhou bring their top combatants and prodigies to the Yongzhou martial arena to discuss unification. Any who refused would face a joint assault by the Cold Ice Sect's 2 nascent soul experts. Even one such cultivator was more than any force in Yongzhou. Left with no choice, the major powers complied with the Cold Ice Sect's demand and gathered at the arena. Yet opinions were divided and disagreements rife. Some supported the Cold Ice Sect's unification of Yongzhou, while others opposed it. Regardless of their stance, everyone needed to display their strength, lest their worth be unknown. Direct battles between the top combatants were out of the question, as no faction could afford such losses. Ultimately, the assembled forces agreed to hold sparring matches. The competition was divided into 3 tracks: Qi Refining Foundation Establishment and Golden Core. The first 2 tracks were for the prodigies of each faction, while the Golden Core track had no restriction other than that participants must be at the Golden Core stage. When Xiao Sanjin and his companions arrived at the Yongzhou martial arena, 300,000 to 400,000 people had already gathered, split into 3 camps. The first camp supported the Cold Ice Sect's unification, numbering over 200,000, as the sect's 2 nascent soul experts made unification seem in. The second camp opposed unification, led by the Lihua sect with roughly 120,000 to 30,000 members. The third and neutral faction, headed by the Celestial Secrets Pavilion, was smaller with fewer than 80,000. Before even joining a camp, Xiao Sanjin could feel the tension crackling in the air. Each camp exuded nearly 20 formidable auras, each representing a nascent soul expert. Within the Cold Ice Sect's camp, one particularly overwhelming presence stood out, that of Han Rini, the sect master. In this arena, where Golden Core cultivators were as common as dogs and nascent soul experts walked in droves, the arrival of Xiao Sanjin and his group went unnoticed. It was only when Xiao Sanjin entered the Lihua sect's camp that its members registered his presence. They held this formidable figure in deep reverence and wished to bow, but Xiao Sanjin's voice reached their ears, bidding them to remain quiet. Understanding that he was their ultimate trump card, they acted nonchalantly, as if Xiao Sanjin were merely an ordinary Qi refining cultivator, keeping his true power hidden. Master, you've finally emerged from seclusion. Without you, Xianer felt insecure. Hu Xianer approached Xiao Sanjin, a hint of grievance in her tone. Xiao Sanjin, however, was less attuned to her tone than to the shock of her aura. Early nascent soul. How in the world had this girl cheated to advance so swiftly? Sienna, your cultivation. Noticing his attention, Sienna swelled with pride. Master, I haven't let you down, have I? While you were in seclusion, I successfully broke through to the nascent soul stage. Impressive, right? Remarkable. Xiao Sanjin gave her a thumbs up. Of course, look whose disciple I am. After a moment of triumph, Sienna turned to Li Xiaoxiao beside him. Congratulations, junior sister, on your full recovery. Li Xiaoxiao bowed slightly to Sienna. Xiaoxiao pays respects to senior sister Sienna. Without Sienna, she would never have so easily become Xiao Sanjin's disciple. Sienna had in a way made this possible. Toward this benefactor, Li Xiaoxiao maintained proper courtesy. We are sisters, no need for formality. Also, your father asked me to tell you that he is overjoyed to see you spirited again and wishes he could come to congratulate you in person, but he cannot leave his post right now. Li Xiaoxiao looked at Li Tong at the front of the crowd and smiled. Her father was truly good to her. Even when her dantian was shattered, he never thought of giving up on her. Sienna were Wuqing and Yu. Xiao Sanjin had been at the arena for a while, but hadn't seen the two girls. Master, both junior sisters joined the prodigy competition to better seek revenge. Junior sister Wuqing is at the great perfection of the foundation establishment stage and entered the foundation establishment track, while junior sister Yu is at the late golden core stage and joined the golden core track. Master need not worry about them. If they face danger, Sienna will handle it. Knowing Xiao Sanjin disliked trouble, Sienna had arranged everything. Thus Xiao Sanjin only needed to sit back and watch the show. Li Tong, is there any point in continuing? Out of your 50 qi refining disciples, 45 are dead and 5 severely injured. I advise you to be sensible and lead your followers to submit to the cold ice sect. Han Rennie sneered, staring at Li Tong with a mocking grin. Li Tong clenched his fists. He hadn't expected the cold ice sect's disciples to be so formidable. Just 5 of them had swept through his 50 prodigies. Sect Master Li, the gap between us and the cold ice sect is too vast. Perhaps we should agree to submit. Behind Li Tong, some were already wavering. Li Tong suddenly released the full pressure of his great perfection nascent soul aura. From now on, I don't want to hear another word about submitting to the cold ice sect. Anyone who says so will be an enemy of the Lihua sect. As Li Tong's words fell, Han Rennie let out a cold laugh. Hehe, Li Tong, do you think you can still threaten anyone without the backing of the Sea Flame sect? Li Tong's face turned ashen, and those behind him, no fools, quickly caught the implication. Sect Master Li, what does Han Rennie mean? Li Tong remained silent, unsure how to explain. Hehe, Li Tong, speak up. How else will they know how hypocritical you are? Han Rennie drove the knife deeper at the opportune moment. Sect Master Han, do you know something? Please enlighten us. If Li Tong is a hypocrite, the Mad Blade sect will withdraw from the Lihua alliance and join the Cold Ice sect. The speaker was Kuang Yi, the sect master of the Mad Blade sect, a mid-nascent soul cultivator. His sect also had 2 early nascent soul grand elders. All things considered, the Mad Blade sect was a considerable force. Haha, since sect master Kuang asks, he'll tell you the truth. Li Tong's daughter Li Xiaoxiao, while on a sect mission, had her dantian shattered and meridians destroyed by my son Han Feng, reducing her to a cripple. When the Sea Flame sect's higher-ups learned of Li Xiaoxiao's condition, they expelled her from the sect. So now even if the Lihua sect is annihilated, the Sea Flame sect won't lift a finger. Meanwhile, my son Han Feng, with his exceptional talent, has been accepted as a personal disciple by the Sea Flame sect's Grand Elder. Sect Master Li Tong, am I speaking the truth? Han Rennie pressed his advantage, leaving Li Tong speechless. Li Tong's silence confirmed the truth for everyone. Li Tong, I never thought you were such a hypocrite and a petty man, to hide such a major incident from us. And I considered you an ally. Pa, you're trash, unworthy of being my ally. The Mad Blade sect hereby withdraws from the Lihua alliance and joins the Cold Ice sect. With someone taking the lead, the wavering factions quickly followed suit. The Wolfhead gang withdraws from the Lihua alliance and joins the Cold Ice sect. The Bull sect withdraws from the Lihua alliance and joins the Cold Ice sect. As more and more factions withdrew, the crowd behind Li Tong dwindled. Faced with this crisis, Li Tong grew frantic. Fortunately, at that moment, a voice like a nightingale carrying the aura of a late golden core cultivator reached every ear in the arena.